Throw gang, we are joined by the Baron of the Byline, Prince of the Profile, Raja of the Review. He don't curate the vibe, he edited it. Cancel the digital subscription because he only getting paper. You op-ass, he popcast. Birthing arts and leisure classics, that's that C-section. Must be a dom because y'all sub for him. His pen is like erotica, smooth like Brandy and Monica. Doesn't booze or smoke, Chronica. Brain like Encyclopedia Britannica. He got the most rap tees per capita. Every article a movie like the Angelica. The name rings off like a hedgehog named Sonica. Esoteric John, you know he's copping duh. We got New York Times pop music critic Jon Caramanica. John, how the hell are you?
I want to give you so many smooches right now.
How many stars on that?
I'm gonna go 3.75.
Ooh, is that better than Drake?
Oh,
Wait, is that the Hanukkah song?
Yeah.
Adam Sandler? Okay.
I know we're not trying to, make it political or anything.
No, absolutely.
topical. Topical.
No one said put on your yarmulke.
The name rings off like a hedgehog named Sonica.
Yeah,
which is Sonic's sister.
Do you have?
Oh, really?
No, I have no idea.
Do you ever behind the scenes the writing of those? Like, do you have what's the doc like? You have a note. You guys share notes. This is
I knew
totally a
for-
one-man production.
Yeah, I
All
knew for
him.
a few days.
Lawrence. You're
Unless
as
he's
surprised
like,
as I
I
am.
don't know, dude, you got anything? And then it's like,
The best is when people are like, yo, Lawrence, I love your intros. Which is going to happen a lot where they're like, oh my God, Lawrence, I love what you said about Olivia Rodrigo and Zach Bryan on that episode of Throwing Fits.
Yeah, I will say, when I was on FU,
a previous podcast endeavor that shall not
we
be
do not
named that
speak
just
of,
got named.
and forgive me.
That's fine.
Forgive me.
It stands for fuck you.
Yes. when I potted with you in a prior life.
Yes.
So many people came to me afterwards and genuinely assigned credit to me for something that Lawrence said, which I would say 3/4 of the time, great.
Yeah,
Lawrence,
thank you.
Quick, rapid fire, funny, hilarious. 1/4 of the time,
Guilty by association,
yeah,
judged by who you know.
please, please.
Please save my job.
Yeah, I can hear the difference so clearly.
To me, I
Right?
also can hear it clearly, but
I'm closing my eyes right now. And I'm
exactly.
stereo surround sound, baby.
Twins
Yeah.
here. Anyway,
Speaking
what
of
a joy and a blessing.
We're so
thanks
happy to
for
have
coming.
you. It's crazy that this is the first time you've been on TF.
I feel like I'm spiritually on here monthly.
Thank you for pulling up with 5 beverages.
Yeah. Well, 2 outs
On your diva shit.
Yeah, so we got Mexican Coke, we got the orange and beet juice, the 2 genders.
This is the
here.
real This is the real drink champs.
Yeah.
This
It
is
is
Barbie and
absolutely-
Oppenheimer of beverages, dude. Yeah.
You're the final boss of drink
And
champs.
then what's in the fridge right now?
So we have a large size Martinelli's.
Yeah,
we got like a
family size.
size but,
Yeah.
for all the dogs.
He's a growing boy, dude.
That's, we got what else? We got
Smart
a La
water.
Cologne, a smart water, and a La Cologne in case I need a
caramel La Cologne.
Caramel in case I need a hit halfway through. Look, here's the thing. There's no Dunkin' right here.
There is on Manhattan and
That's a
Nassau.
little-
you
little
run
too
on
far.
Dunkin'?
I do run on Dunkin'. Me and Affleck.
What's your Dunkin' order?
So it's a large iced latte, almond milk, 2 Splenda. Incredibly savage. Like if you watch if you watch Deluxe, you can see it like the ice melting in real
Yeah,
time.
it's third mic.
Yeah. It's, oh my god. So anyway,
Dunkin' coffee underrated.
yeah,
by
Dunkin'
by
coffee-
coffee snobs.
I don't believe that you should have to
Great
have
hash
super
browns
fast.
too, dude. I love those little hashes.
Yeah, they come like a little moist right out.
wake
but
up
like
wraps.
let them stiffen up. a
Okay.
touch.
Let them congeal. The wake up wraps
Hey,
are
yo,
my
hey.
the wake up wraps are my go to at Dunkin'.
Yes.
Food wise.
egg whites,
Egg, yes, true.
spinach.
Yeah.
No,
Wake
it's
up.
just like a fucking piece of American cheese,
Oh.
a tortilla, and like a piece of ham and an egg.
Sounds phenomenal.
It's great.
Yeah.
Make them at home all the
Dunkin',
time.
We'll take a Dunkin' break halfway through.
We're gonna be here for 6 hours.
Yeah, we really are.
If
I
the
truly,
previous show had
when
like,
you guys
caused
asked me
anything-
if I had a hard out, I mean, as if I would ever schedule something on the back end of talking to y'all.
Well, you just woke up, right?
I did just wake up. Honestly, I
woke up like
I-
this.
I woke up, I picked an outfit, and I rolled out
It's
the door.
4 p.m.
Yeah.
What time do you go to bed typically?
This has been a stressful couple weeks. I feel like I've been getting to bed at like 4:30. But
God
I would say
damn.
Which is late or early?
for me, that's on the late. Like usually, I would say between 2 and 3.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
like, I would sleep like 2 and 3 to like 10.
Okay.
But like the last 2-3 weeks, for whatever reason, I don't know.
4:30 to
my
noon?
inner clock's going.
Up geeking hard. He's a real vamp.
Yeah, it's real opium hours. 4:30 to like 11:15.
Okay. And why is that? Is Twitter just fucking extra going
Honestly,
crazy?
I do feel on some level I'm playing catch up. I don't know. Like, do you guys feel like at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, you're like, there's no more culture I can consume for the day?
That's when I throw on True Detective season 2. Baby.
Okay. I wish I had that ability to like soothe my brain, but like I'm always just like, what if I just watch 90 more minutes of TikTok? Like, what if I just?
I see.
Like, what if I just like? There's
Yeah.
got to be something else.
You're like,
out
give
there.
me more. Give me
More
another
Susie
shot
Pe-
of poison.
Yeah, more Susie Pesto stories.
What's
Like,
your
let's go.
screen time?
Oh Jesus.
24
Do I
hours a
have to
day?
look?
You
I-
can.
we?
If
Can
you
we?
want to perjure yourself, let's do
of
it.
course. I genuinely don't know how to do this. That's my screen time is so much that I actually refuse to learn how to.
The screen broke. It just vaporized.
How do I look?
You go to
settings, or you just
okay.
do
no,
it-
you
Do a search.
Oh, okay.
Go like that. Search. Yeah.
you just go to the
And then
left.
screen time. Let's see.
Well, he's only been up for a half hour.
How the fuck do I find screen?
Here, all right. So you go to the home screen, go to the left, and then scroll down, and it's right there. We can all do our screen times. I'm at 4 hours and 6 minutes.
You don't get the alert on Sundays like your screen time has gone up.
Why?
Disabled? Honestly, probably for the best.
like,
You broke
did I
screen
break
time, bro.
screen time?
Yeah, no, his phone says cooling down.
Yeah,
It's that.
I regret
Screen time will resume when iPhone returns to normal
Yeah.
temp.
Wow.
What's your most used app? Is it TikTok?
Yeah, it's probably TikTok. Let's see.
about
New
your-
music discovery platform, TikTok.
I mean, it's the only relevant thing. I
What's-
use YouTube a little bit more now that we have like a YouTube show. I feel like I pay attention to what's happening on YouTube.
What's your New York Times app usage?
I
there an app?
use it for news. I do use it for news.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I get
liberal
prompted to download the app every time I read an article just in browser. And I'm like,
do you
I'm
read?
good.
Do you read articles?
Yours?
He looks at the pictures.
Yeah.
that's-
What was the song that we were talking about earlier this week? With the not
Like it,
Chavs,
just like that. The
Yeah.
Chavra.
Magic on the Mic, Houdini.
Oh, yeah.
That shit. Do you like that or you don't
No,
like that?
I don't enjoy that.
Oh really?
Do you
I like that one.
it a
I like
lot.
that one TikTok.
Right.
But
Oh,
I
the
don't
guys
really,
like doing
yeah. But I don't like the
Rev up the
song.
Bugatti. Hey, hey.
If I encountered that song in the wild, audio only, I would absolutely not
Oh,
enjoy
damn.
it. But like as sort of theater, yeah,
Right.
it's
Right.
good.
Do you use TikTok as a
Theater of the
music discovery
mind.
app?
Yeah, for sure.
What was the last like banger you found on there?
Like where he would go back and listen to
Honestly,
it
like
as a
We're
song.
like,
the
fuck with this.
Aaliyah's interlude, the Aaliyah core girl, the sped up record.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what the name of it is.
Thought you were
But
a critic,
to me,
bro.
that's something that I feel like I encountered in the wild as audio, and then like within a few minutes, I pieced it back to the TikTok version.
Oh.
and then
To the
sort of
moment
like
of
you're building
inception.
a world.
Yeah.
Like the thing about TikTok that a lot of people haven't figured out, but I think someone like her has figured out is how to make a sound that travels on its own independently. But if you want a person like one of us to narrativize it and like build a story around it, it actually does do that work, but it also functions totally independently.
Hearing a TikTok song like the full version on like the radio or playlist, whatever, it's like seeing your teacher outside of school or something. It's fucking weird.
What?
Very
What's
strange.
going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This motherfucker wears shorts? What the hell?
You're real?
Also, especially that's true when the part of the song that's the TikTok part is like 90 seconds into the song.
Oh, right.
Because like
Yeah.
you'll be hearing a song and you're sort of like, I don't even really fuck with this record. Like this is annoying. And then you're like, oh,
Houdini!
Yeah, the
he
Stockholm
did it.
Syndrome hits,
Yo,
but it
you
takes
did-
90
yo,
seconds.
You did that, and then
Yeah.
Okay, skip.
Okay. Well, John,
Put on Jadakiss.
we're so happy that you're here. Long time coming. We have so much to talk about. But let's just get right into the fit that you rolled out of bed 30 minutes ago and threw on. And the choice for you is if you want to start top down or bottom up.
No, we don't start either way. Well, first of all, you have people, first of all, you have people in socks in James's home.
Yeah.
So
This is Lawrence's office.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Forgive
this
me.
is
I don't
a
mean
shoes
to
off
give
office.
yes, I don't mean to give
Yeah.
too much
You
sauce
can start with
away.
the sneaks, obviously.
No,
as
no,
is.
no. I want to start with the pants.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
Is this the hero John of the fit?
Yeah.
LV double knees, embroidered, floral embroidered.
Who-
Virgil era.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got these from Vincent 4G.
Oh, shout out Vince, dude. Damn, dude.
This is
How much he's run you?
Oh, yeah, dude.
I normally don't want to ask, but you gotta
Come
ask.
on, bro. More than his screen time.
yeah. How about just throw a number out and I'll go like this or this.
Over under $5,000.
Woo!
Shut up, dude. Stop
A
it.
little under.
All right.
A little
All right.
Oh,
All right.
Lord.
You're getting better with your spending habits, buddy.
Yeah. Get better. This is
They're sick.
I mean, I love them. They fit perfectly. The thing is, with Virgil era stuff, like there are a few key things that I felt a kind of like visual emotional attachment to.
What, like the Wizard of Oz sweater? Like,
if you have that for
you wear the
if you have that
sneakers.
for under 1,500, let
as
me
Vince,
know.
bro.
Yeah. You wear the sneakers all the time.
I do wear the sneakers all the time, like the first LV trainers.
Yeah.
I have 2 other pairs of the LV trainers in sort of various degrees of decay, but the green ones
Degrees
are
of
super beaters.
roasted and
The green
toastedness.
ones are beaters. This, when I first saw, I was really, really drawn to, but the store in Soho did not have my size, and there wasn't one in the system. And then during the time that I was spending with Vincent, they just showed up in the atelier.
Wow, how serendipitous.
Yeah, they showed up in the atelier.
Hope dreams do come true.
And I was like trying to like calculate like if I was going to make money for the story, because it's not technically in my, like, I get paid extra to do a styles.
Oh,
piece.
interesting.
Because I'm
Oh.
not tasked to that department.
I didn't know that. Okay.
When
wonder
you
you
freelance
didn't-
within the paper, like you are paid by the other
Gotcha.
section.
you get paid by the word count? Is that why
It is sort of. Is that why my
ALD
pieces do
articles
writing?
are wrong?
Once
No, 'cause I
upon
was
a
working
time,
on it for a decade.
I stumbled upon Vincent middle name 4G Seller.
The clothing was
Period.
very, 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 very
Yeah.
good.
This shit motherfucking
just call it-
slapped.
Slaps.
I had to
Let's
be-
call it a lump
not a
sum.
letter count, but
in
yeah,
the spirit of, let's call it a lump sum. But I was thinking about how much I'm making, which is not that much.
Is that how your brain works? Are you like, yo, what money's coming in? Then
If
that
it's
justifies the
going to
money
be
going
really
out?
expensive? No, in my mind, I think I roughly know per month like what I can spend
Okay.
without ruining my
Your
bank
life?
accounts. Yeah, but like for something like this, I was like, do I have to sell?
I
something?
wonder if
Yeah.
these were custom for like a certain rapper because it's like,
They're-
a rare size.
They're really, really, really beautiful. And,
They are. You didn't get them tailored? They're just right off the rack.
No, they're right
onto
off
the,
the
onto the ass.
Yeah,
Damn,
straight
perfect.
to
to
butts,
cheeks, baby.
straight to eeks. So those to me are very special,
Piece de
and that's what I want to
resistance.
start with.
Okay.
Are you going to start collecting like the Pharrell era LV, or are you like a
I
Virgil
think
purist?
I would rather have like 2 or 3 of the good Pharrell Chanel things right
Oh.
now. Like to me, the multicolor loafer, not the mule,
Yeah.
but like the multicolor full loafer. Maybe a pair of the glasses in the right.
piece.
Yeah, like
Wait, like
maybe.
the Tiffany teardrop pearl joints?
No, I actually do like those. But no,
You
I'm
got
talking
$1
about the
million
spectacles,
lying
like,
around?
the round
Yeah,
spectacle
yeah.
ones.
the Chanel. Yeah.
But like I'm waiting. Like I'm not sure that there was a standout single piece from that first runway show that
The
I
Speedy
think
probably
that's gonna
in a primary color.
Well,
but
I mean, again, do you
that
have
might be
multiple $1,000s?
Well, you just got to write an article.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's all you
That's
gotta
a-
do.
One article, one Speedy. That's how I think of it.
That's the exchange rate, dude.
But I mean, if there's something beautiful, yeah. But to me, I think there's still like a couple of Virgil things. I actually brought a wish list that at some point during this episode I'm going to read. So if
Just
anybody has them,
of all Johns or just of
all jobs, no, things I
Virgil?
want,
Okay.
like things
Okay.
I want that if someone's listening.
You're gonna like
I'm gonna,
use this episode as a classified section.
Cheers.
Okay,
Wow.
good for you, dude.
All right.
I mean, shit, dude. Flaunt it if you got it.
Has anybody
People
done that?
have been like I think
Actually,
like
yeah,
Luke might have said something like, "Oh, if anyone's got X, holler at your boy."
Lorenzo, the son of Massimo Osti, he was talking about his Grail, and someone was like, "Yo, I have it."
See,
And
that's
then
what
they-
I'm
and
hoping
then-
for.
Right?
Yeah, and then they started like corresponding.
And did they get it? Did he actually get it?
I think they corresponded before, and it didn't work out. But he's like, "Hey, I'm open, like reopening correspondence again."
Yeah, let's
Like a
negotiate.
hinge conversation or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
here's
make
my
a deal.
rose.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I saw you on the pod.
Yeah.
I was thinking about you. I thought I'd reopen the line.
Yo,
of
you up?
Discord. Yeah.
Dear John,
All right, what else we
So
wearing?
okay, this is Missoni. I went through a period
Vintage?
I went through a period like maybe like just before the pandemic, like 2018, 2019, where I just bought like Missoni shirts constantly.
Is it Jonah Hill?
Is that what it was?
Was he wearing Missoni?
Was I
I think so.
unknowingly influenced by it? By John Hill?
maybe.
I mean,
Yeah.
Okay, I
one
didn't
of
know.
you're just one of many, a statistic at that point.
Damn, I hate to be a victim.
New, so you walk in the Missoni store and you're just like, point me to your shirts.
No, I mean, to me, I would go on. There's like a few European websites that sell secondhand,
Oh, I see.
and I would like find individual things, but like the measurements are in centimeters. Like who even knows? I'm just drop them in the mail. We'll figure it out when they show up. And so I just sort of was saddled with like 15 Missoni shirts of varying.
That is so many.
Missoni
shirts, what?
shirts, and I've been letting them go occasionally.
okay.
But like this one like fits me well.
Yeah.
It's like heavy enough. It kind of
It
works as an outer
doesn't
shirt.
look like. I mean, I
It's
see
not-
the tag
yeah,
naturally,
yeah.
but it's
It's-
kind of like
it's
that.
different.
That it's the rare low
It's the
key
RR,
Missoni.
it's RRL Missoni. It's like it's, and I feel like this, your plaid's coming.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like this energy.
Plaid's
is
about to
probably-
come
It's the
back.
season.
Hey, man.
Unfortunately, and I really dislike plaid, but this is kind of a good compromise for
I
me.
think there's a lot of bad plaid, but
plenty of
plaid
bad
done
plaid.
right.
Buffalo check is disgusting.
Yes, no,
and you
don't
should
do
not
that.
wear it if you are listening in on the fence.
What about the white tee? What's the Jon
yeah.
Caramanica white tee of
Okay,
choice?
so this
it's not a
actually-
white tee.
It's not a total white tee. Okay, so I am hard to purchase gifts for, I'm told.
Most
clothing
John's
wise.
enthusiasts are.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my girlfriend got this for me for my birthday. This is a Earthlink radio.
Wow.
Earthlink is, if anyone has had the misfortune of emailing me.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, we're aware.
Earthlink. I have had the same email address
Bizarre.
since 1997.
Would you like to give out your email on the show?
Okay, no. If you know, you know. So I've had the same email address. I literally have to pay, no lie, $13 a month.
Why do you do this to
You're a
yourself?
psycho.
Because I
Think of how many
I want-
LVs fucking
Yeah,
pants
dude.
you could buy.
True. One pair of pants if I just get a Gmail.
Your email budget is cutting into your Missoni budget,
Yes,
dude.
not no.
Every time I email him, I'm like, there's no way this actually
There's
goes
no
through.
HR. And yet, there I am.
That's the best email address where someone's like, "Oh, this is bouncing back," and it's like, "Nope, this man paid, so it doesn't."
that goes right
So it's an
here.
Earthlink internet
It's
show.
an Earthlink internet radio show
Wow.
T-shirt from
Oh, the
1998.
old internet radio.
Yes.
Yeah,
So somehow she found a piece of merch of the thing that I care
Shout
about.
out Bay, she fucking
Yeah,
nailed it.
That I did not have. What else?
Socks, shoes.
Sock shoes.
Socks, Henrik Vibskov.
Oh, fancy. Fancy boy.
Henrik, if you're listening, go back to the original sock construction, please. The newer sock construction.
He fell off.
It's like
Ooh, he
technically
needed
better.
to hear that.
It's like I'm sure the design nerds think it's better, but the
Right.
actual like wearability of the old ones are much better.
Yeah, Dye
Sock wearability.
Dye
Big
Workwear
facts.
has a 34 tweet thread about this. And
Shout out Derek.
Yeah, dude.
Shout out Derek.
Yeah.
What else?
Good
Shoes.
luck in court with Ron DeSantis, bro.
Genuinely, I mean, tell me you didn't have that thought about Ron DeSantis.
No, he's wearing
Yeah,
lifts.
no,
1
it's-
billion,
yeah.
obviously, dude.
like when he walks. It's
he was just on a podcast where the guy was like, okay, so I just bought you some Ferragamo loafers. Please put these on. He's like, oh, I can't accept gifts.
No.
He's like, you, bro.
Are you
you can't
serious?
accept gifts.
Yeah.
You're just like Ron DeSantis for real.
I think that a lot. Okay.
The shoes?
Our shoes, which are in the hallway, and hopefully will still
Thank
be
you.
in the hallway.
Oh, are they pray? You can like bring him in and just
No,
leave him by
it's
the
okay.
door.
I'm on Monier 3s.
Ooh, wow. Okay.
Almost sneaker of the year last year.
Really, truly, I don't really wear 3s that much anymore. But I thought just like a very, very patient.
You
patiently
used to
designed
be
suit.
exclusively a Black Cat 4 guy.
Black Cat 4 still have.
But you
10,
finally,
12
we grow
pairs.
every day,
called
people.
growth.
That's true. Also, like when you switch from like the 511s to the 505s, then the Black Cat 4s like become a little bit weird.
Sure, I get it. Okay.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
complicated. The calculus.
It's a dominoes thing, you know.
really is.
It's, you
The
know, one
pant
thing
shoe
plays into
interaction is
another.
very
Yeah.
important.
That is true.
And then ALD draws.
Oh, nice. Dude, honestly, some of the best, speaking of socks, like ALD socks, ALD draws.
I actually haven't tried the socks.
Socks are
Really
fantastic.
good.
Yeah.
Right.
You got Teddy on the Giro.
Yeah.
The Giro. What about this fucking leather?
Oh, yeah.
bro?
Oh yeah.
This thing is like
Okay. So that's a Wilson's, like from the 90s, I think. I got it. All right. So I was in Phoenix for opening night of the Eras tour.
Okay. Of
And I
course.
stayed for a week on vacation in that area. And
oh,
there
not
was a
because you had to
day-
like type up your eras. Like
No, that was right
To
away.
afford the
but I just
Wilson's
was like-
jacket?
I just had like a few days, so like we took some time. We
Nice.
rented a house, and there was one day that I had an afternoon free, and I'm googling for like consignment stores.
Yeah.
and I wish I could remember the name, but it literally is like the gentleman's consignment. Like it is the most.
it was a strip club.
Milady vintage in the front, right in the front and in the back. And I went, and many things in the store were not good. There was a lot of cheap stuff, a lot of golf gear, as you might imagine.
Sure, yeah.
in that
Welcome
part
to
of the
Zona,
country.
baby.
On the sort of outerwear rack, there's like 3 ski jackets in this. And I was like, who's wearing this in Phoenix? Number
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Only 50
Or a
bucks.
ski jacket
Or a ski-
also. That is sitting there, yeah.
Only $50. But the leather obviously reminds me so much. And we were talking about the Stussy pants that you posted recently in that category.
It looks like
What
some of our legacy shit or
It
something.
looks like
I was gonna say,
our
or
legacy, it looks
Margiela.
like, or Margiela, or
Yeah.
what Angelo does. I have that like pullover thing that Angela did.
Oh,
the 2 or 3 years ago, the Gerald Levert type thing.
Yeah.
It reminded me a lot of
Shout out
that.
Forrest Designs.
Literally fits perfectly. $50, insane.
Damn.
Strong recommend.
Done deal.
Wilson's leather.
Yeah. Leather shopping in fucking Phoenix. That's
leather.
$50 is like the most that anyone has ever paid for a leather jacket in that state. Dude.
When you're
That's
traveling,
crazy.
are you always like just like where's the nearest consignment? Where's the nearest vintage store? I need to just.
I
Where's the
have
Jones?
on my phone. I have notes on my phone for every major American city with lists of stores.
Well, can you sell that? Can you sell access to that?
Yeah, you should.
No, but the New York
Patreon?
Times should have me do that. Like,
Trickle it out so you can charge a lump sum for
my
as a
God.
series.
How many
as a
pairs
series.
of pants can I get
Yeah.
out of it?
Yeah.
Stella, if you're listening.
Yeah, Stella. First of all, should we say hi to Stella?
Hi, Stella.
Hi, Stella.
Hi, Stella. Stella threatened to show up with like a pizza delivery midway through this.
Little Zaw?
Could happen. Could happen. We'll see what happens around like
Yeah.
4:45, 5 o'clock.
Okay.
That could happen. But she sends her love.
All right.
But yeah, yes, I do. Like, and I try to have like it's accretive.
What's the because you travel all the time for work? Like, what's the maybe most underrated region or city in America where there is like very slept on vintage?
I've had really good luck in Dallas.
Okay,
There's
Makes
decent
sense.
money,
Yeah.
and then
Oral
but there's
money.
not-
Yeah.
yes, but not maybe loads.
You
want to
go where
as we
old
would
guys
think.
have died.
Yes.
Yes.
There used to be a spot in Nashville.
old guys.
That unfortunately closed during the pandemic. I think there was like a lawsuit or something. I can't remember. I was Googling it. But it was called, I can't remember what it was called. But I used to buy crazy Saya. Like crazy, like
Really?
like
Yeah.
sport coats for like $190.
Yeah,
like
some widow
like
doesn't even know what she's flipping.
Like
Yeah.
I have like a sale, like basically that color blue on your Nalgene, like
Okay.
that color blue.
Oh, wow.
Zip up jacket, $200.
Damn.
Like and they did the smartest thing that I think any resale store could do was if you buy a jacket, they'll say, "Oh, this is seller number 403. Do you want to look at what else seller 403?"
Wow, 'cause it's like
gave
your
us?
sizing,
It's
right?
your
Yeah,
size
that's
and maybe your
crazy.
taste. So
I've
That's
never
Southern-
heard of that. That's genius.
And
Southern
you could
hospitality
get
right there.
email updates. Like if 6 months later,
Yeah.
that person drops off another bunch of stuff, you'll get
Oh, wow.
notes.
His
with
twin
photos.
brother died. Let's go,
Took
dude.
him out.
Yeah.
Took him out. That I thought was the smartest thing I've ever seen a resale person.
Did you
resale
get
store.
hooked back? Were you addicted
Every-
to seller 403?
Yeah, no, there were like 2 or 3 sellers that I was like extremely
Keep me
locked in
posted.
with. Yeah, exactly. You're feeling
Yes,
sick?
email updates, please.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're feeling under the weather. Oh, okay. You got laid off. That's
You lost your factory
Oh,
job.
no.
I'm sorry. You shouldn't have gone union.
Shout out all the distressed sellers out there.
yeah, seriously.
Fucking carpet bagging 101.
Grind harder.
Grind harder and sell me your pieces at 80% off.
Yeah.
But that store, I wish I could remember the name, but like it was so
This was in
back end.
This was in Smashville?
It was.
Okay.
And it was like in a strip mall, like not on the main stretch of like not downtown, not in the mall,
Right.
like not where the Louis store is, like not that, like just like on a strip mall. Like,
There's a Louis store in Nashville?
yeah.
I guess
Bro,
that
there's
makes
huge
total
Louis.
sense.
Shout out
Yeah.
my girl at the Louis. First of all, my best Louis friend for a long time was one of the clerks at the Louis store in Nashville. And so anytime I needed something, I wouldn't call New York and I wouldn't go in the local store. I would call Nashville because no one's asking for that stuff in Nashville.
Man, that's a personal shopper at LV Nashville.
I wonder why the Virgil Louis stuff didn't do that well in Nashville.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is, you want tips. Hey, kids.
Hey.
You want tips on how to get the pieces
Listen
that you
up.
want.
Damn,
Make
dude.
friends at brand name stores in non-coastal cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, in off-brand.
Especially if you're a fan of
metropolitans.
brands that have black designers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
interesting. Damn, dude.
Wow. Really, you're going there.
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah.
And
Cheers.
you know what? That was Lawrence that said that. That was Lawrence that said that.
Anything, I just want to
That
say,
was the Cookie Monster.
I just want to say for the record, if anything happens on this podcast that someone is offended by,
Yeah.
Oh, bro, I'm here to be a fall guy, dude. 100%. That's what they paid me
you're
for.
like the scrub daddy of offense. Yeah, I'm going to show you
basically.
soak it all up.
Scrub Daddy Schlossman. You
And I'm
know
the,
it.
and I'm the pink stuff.
I think that's a
okay.
complete fit check, drink check.
What about the bag?
Oh.
What was the tote bag? Also,
that's
you
the-
have
that's
other
the-
clothes?
Yeah. So I have to do something. I have to do something that requires me to get dirty later. So I brought a change of clothes.
Dirty
Cena,
jobs.
Cena showing Bushwick?
Yeah. You going to a
The
rave?
bag is the Procel Air Force One, like I think it was
hell
the
yeah.
Friends
Shout
and
out,
Family
Brian.
pack.
Oh, did you get that for free?
I pay my money.
Okay, all right.
Pay my
Jesus
money.
Christ.
But
Sorry,
that's
I'm
I
fucking
think the
Scotch
tote
Bonnet.
bag that came at the same time,
Okay.
which is to me like the shape of the tote bag, really really good, really sturdy.
I'm in love with
Holds
the
up.
shape of toads.
But yes, I do have. There's some Levi's 569s in there. That's a Cabela's like store brand overshirt.
Oh, you're doing a full wardrobe change before you have to get down and dirty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to know what these activities
Actually,
are.
I should take your pants.
Yeah,
put
you
it with
could
the
go
Cabela's.
Yeah,
Go
dude,
into the
Yeah,
woods.
you look like a lone wolf shooter, dude. Or just any guy in
Any guy
Brooklyn,
literally
honestly.
lives within 3 blocks of me. Come on.
All right,
Do
fit
you
check.
talk about your neighborhood at all, or do you not want people to be able to find you?
People know. If people wanted to, they could triangulate my position just based on like context clues. But like we talk about Greenpoint, I'm kind of still in like the Polishy part of Greenpoint.
Yeah,
though,
you
not
talk,
like the.
he's been talking. You talk about like your various mongers that you have. So I
Yeah.
feel like again, people could easily John Lennon you if they wanted to.
If they wanted
But
to,
we're
yeah.
so beloved that nobody wants to kill us
No, who would want
or even
that?
hurt us.
Yeah. I've had people like.
What if
there
you
was-
want to hug you?
hug me, baby?
Yeah.
Like, that's why they call me the pink stuff. Fit check complete.
Drink check complete.
Right?
Yeah, this
Two
is
gen-
sober
two
drink
gender,
champs.
Sober drink check.
Right.
Yeah.
2, 3 in the 3
Yeah.
on deck.
Right.
What
Okay.
are y'all drinking?
Diet Pepsi and Greenpoint's finest.
Diet Pepsi?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
prefer
loves-
to Diet Coke.
I don't get it. It's so
It
weird.
tastes
to me.
better. I can't go back to Diet Coke. I'll do it
Better
in a
than
pinch.
what?
Diet Coke.
What about Coke Zero? What
I
about
don't know.
Cherry Coke Zero?
No.
That was my real.
I know,
I couldn't
that was-
find it. I went to
It's rare.
Is it?
No,
Wait.
no.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted diet.
no,
No, Cherry Coke Zero.
Cherry
not
Coke
Diet.
Oh,
Zero.
sorry.
I went to the bodega by me that has like all the sodas, and I can only find normal Cherry Coke, and I'm like, we'll keep it.
Yeah, no.
Keep
Cherry
it a
Coke
stack with
Zero.
the,
If you run up on like a 20 ounce at
Yeah.
a bodega, that's
They had Diet Dr. Pepper Cherry.
that's an enema.
What's your
That
goat?
will
What's your
flush
goat soda?
The Goda.
you. Okay, so here's the thing: you can't really find it.
Oh, if you know, you know.
Here we go.
No. But okay.
Oh, it's because it's Fago.
No. First of all, Fago Peach. Come on, Fago
Damn,
Peach,
dude.
legendary.
Damn, he's mixing out that medicine, bro.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
A peach
Okay, but
muddy.
do you guys ever drink Mr. Pibb?
Yeah, of course.
So
No.
Mr. Pibb to me,
It's a southern thing, right?
It's southern, but also when I was young,
That's a Pepsi product.
it is, but it's not distributed widely. You can get it at some Chipotle's. Better Chipotle.
If Dr. Pepper dropped out of med school, he would
yeah.
be Mr. Pibb. Yeah,
Mr.
yeah,
Pibb is
we
at your
got it.
Chipotle. The price of rent is going up.
That's true. Not no. So,
Wait, so
when,
okay.
when I was a kid, every summer we used to go to Cooperstown for the Baseball Hall of Fame induction. This was like my first real passion, like as a fan. Was
Your first
was
nerd.
baseball.
Your first nerddom.
First nerddom.
Yeah.
And so we used to stay at this absolutely terrible like roadside motel. Just like really awful, the only affordable one in the area. And they had, even then, this is the 80s, they had a vending machine which like felt like it was from like the early 70s.
Like Reagan had put crack in it. One of those.
I mean it was the thing. Might have been
Yeah,
the thing
you don't
that
know this?
inspired that. It was that old.
Yeah. You don't know that urban legend?
Wait, I'm trying to pull up on one, bro.
That's how Reagan spread crack in the hood.
in the vending machine.
In the vending machines, yeah.
And they had Mr. Pibb, and I remember when I first saw it, I was like upset that it wasn't the other soda.
Right.
But then I fell for it. And I
So it's like a
genuinely-
nostalgic Proustian rush factor for you.
Yeah, but also I do think on a fundamental level, it's a little bit better than Dr. Pepper.
Interesting.
Yeah. Cherry Dr. Pepper, on the other hand. I mean, literally, you can clean anything with that. You can clean your toilet.
does
with that.
taste
You
like?
can clean your pipes.
I
with
personally
that.
am a big Dr. Pepper guy, so I'll take them all.
But Mr. Pibb OG, that's your Goda.
I would love like
OG recipe.
Yeah, classic. Yeah, Mr. Pibb classic. That I genuinely like peach Fago. Honestly,
No, we believe you.
Yeah, I
dude.
know you.
It's
believe
just an
it.
absurdly
You're like
specific
the thing
answer.
is, it's not that we think you're lying.
Yeah,
It's
no.
that we think you're ridiculous.
No, we're laughing at you.
Yeah,
No.
totally fine. Yeah.
Okay.
And this is fine. Like for the corner, this is
I
fine.
love a Mexican
Yeah,
Coke, dude.
this
all
is totally
day.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah. But like I used to drink a lot of 0-calorie soda, and then I started drinking this, and I was like,
oh, this is not real
But then
Back
you
on the
like lie
rail.
to yourself, yeah, because it's real, right? It's like it's real sugar.
Yeah, but it's healthy sugar.
Right. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
Mexican
God's-
Coke is good for you.
It's God's sugar.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this podcast. I want to dive right into the personal trauma. What's the latest with your book on Kanye?
All natural sugar spit tape.
Wow.
Yeah.
You couldn't have timed that better. That was
That's what I
incredible.
do, baby.
Yeah, he's known for his comedic timing.
Yeah. Okay. So that is still a thing.
Okay.
When
Yeah,
was
you
last
guys
time?
got a scoop here.
Yeah.
When was last time you touched pen to paper on this? And like, can you keep up? Can you keep up?
I think the trick. I'll answer those in opposite order.
Okay.
I think when I first said I was going to do the book and sign the contract, I understood that this was a story that didn't have an ending point.
Right.
It would go like this. It would go like this.
Yeah.
And I knew at some point I would have to cut it and say, well, whatever happens after such and such date.
And what year did you put pen to pad with the contract?
2021.
Okay.
Yeah. So I knew.
Yeesh. Talk about timing.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
And was this like starting from childhood
funny
up
joke.
to a certain point, or like?
Well, I never conceived of it as purely like a classic, like I interviewed your third grade teacher biography.
Who said you would never amount to anything.
Yeah, like I never really envisioned it like that. I always thought of it as a critical biography, which is to say, here's a person who's had tremendous influence across categories. How do we look at obviously his biography in literal terms, but also how do we talk about influence? How do we talk about what changed in his wake? How do we talk about how the things that changed in his wake in turn changed him?
Right.
So I always knew that it was never going to be like a strict like facts and
Timeline,
numbers.
blah, 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 yeah.
But I think to me, I thought the big challenge was going to be, like I said, like, it's doing this and you have to pick a point to stop. And is the point you pick a trough? Is it a peak? Is it somewhere in between? You have to write a book that anticipates, hey, I finished a book, I submitted it. It's not going to be in stores for, I don't know how long books take, 6 months, 12 months, whatever. You don't know what the temperature is going to be when the book comes out. So you need a book that...
Especially with this guy.
But you need a book that kind of could go either way.
Huh.
And obviously in the last 9 months, 12 months, this is... it's
A trough, I believe is the term. Yeah.
That's the clinical term. And so I've had to rethink, honestly, everything about the book. I've rethought the structure of it. I've rethought the subjects that get covered, like the sections that get covered.
Sure.
Everything that I felt committed to, I had to let go of.
Damn.
And it's not that there's writing that can't be used, but something that seemed like maybe super important in the first version of the book maybe is just footnoted or like half a page.
Scrapped.
Yeah.
So that's
And now the
thinking about it differently.
And now the Hitler section of the index is it's grown a bit.
Damn, bro.
You should end it. It's like, and then the doors of TMZ opened and Kanye walked in.
Oh, man.
Cut scene.
Yeah.
Fiend. Stay
Find
tuned
out
for
more
part
on
2.
next week's episode of
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z.
It's
Has that been really frustrating, or is it like an intellectual?
It was awful. No, it was awful. Like genuinely, like
Yeah, we feel for you.
Yeah, dude.
No, I appreciate that.
The fact that you're still
5 beverages can't heal that.
Your stay with itism is unparalleled.
I had like
He's
probably,
grinding harder.
Yes,
Not
that's true.
smarter. Just harder.
Tell my loved ones.
Yeah.
that I ground so
I had
hard.
about
Yeah, you
I
had
had
like 75% done and you're like,
no.
fuck.
I wouldn't say that, but like I was like I had enough done where I was like, fuck.
Damn.
Like
Oh, really?
and again, it's like refashioned, and there were about 3 months after the end of last year where I was just like, from my own perspective, like for me, like, do I want to wake up and do this? Do I want to wake up and think about this?
You were
Like,
like-
forget
yeah.
the subject for a second.
Yeah.
Like, I have to be a person who can tell the story and then go on a podcast and talk about it,
Sure.
and then put out a paperback version of it, and then maybe make a documentary. You know, it's like I have to be a person that feels okay with that. And so I had to take some time away from it, step back, and then rethink what the core of the story was. And once I kind of figured out what the core of the story could be in this moment, all the other stuff fell back into place pretty easily.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
It just took me a while. I would say it took 3 or 4 months
Like
of
removed.
detaching from the old idea. I mean, not that different from a relationship. It's like you break up with a person, you think,
Sure.
it's like you break up with a person, then you have to let go of the idea of the thing that thing was.
Right.
It took a few months to do that. And then once I could see it clearly and also talk to a bunch of people about it and say, hey, what if it was this? What if it was that? What's the direction? Once I found that, then it
Hit him with the
all
up
came
text.
together. Yes. No.
Was there a low? Like, what was the low point? Was it that time where you're like, I need to step back and like reevaluate?
I had a friend who texted me the day the Alex Jones thing came out, and I did not. And maybe I hadn't been on Twitter that, like, I don't know. I was maybe out, or I hadn't seen it.
You're
maybe
still catching up on your Alex Jones episodes. You're I get it.
Saving up for a road trip to Phoenix.
Yes, clogging the feed. I hadn't seen it. Maybe I'd seen like one throwaway tweet, but it's like the thing with Ye, there are so many things that happen, and there's so many Stan accounts and then counter Stan accounts. Like you kind of like you don't really know if when you're seeing it on Twitter if it's like
the cottage industry of
like
Kanye
this.
reportage.
Yeah, there's so much, and it's sometimes tough to tell the difference between a micro and a macro. But when I had like a very dear friend text me, I literally the text is, I should see it. I'm pretty sure it's just, I'm so sorry, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, what
that's
happened?
the one where
Like,
he's wearing the Ventma jacket and he's in a mask and he's just out of pocky. Yeah.
and I literally
That
was
doesn't really narrow it down.
No, I think, isn't that when he's just like whatever, he's just like, Hitler!
Yeah.
He's just like,
in a
with the
stocking
one
cap,
where
right?
even Alex Jones was like, hey, bro,
yeah. Yo, when Alex Jones is saying pump the brakes, brother.
breathe, fam. I got that text, and I'm like, oh, is it a friend? Like, did something happen?
Yeah.
Like, what's
Right.
going on? And I text back, and I was like, question, and then he sends me the link, and I'm like on my phone somewhere, and I'm like watching this, and I'm just like, I could feel myself melting.
Oh.
And seeing that happen and feel it's. Look, I'm a professional, like I'm a critic. Like I assess cultural product and phenomena for a living. That thing that day happened in two phases. Like the first phase was like watching that and be like, okay, what do I think about it? Like critically, what do I think about it? And then the second phase was like, the fuck?
Yeah.
like
Fucking my money up!
And when I went from the first phase to the second phase, that's when I knew I needed to take a step back because it wasn't neutral anymore.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Too close.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it just wasn't like
You made it about yourself.
it's been said before.
Yeah.
You're not the first person.
I mean, that's what
accused me
everyone
of
does
that.
with celebrity, especially now. It's like they just center themselves with any controversy. It's like, okay, well, this isn't about you. This man is having a public mental breakdown.
Yeah.
And also I think that there are, as reporters and critics, as podcasters,
As humans.
no, not as humans,
Okay.
just as podcasters,
As members of the media elite.
Subhumans.
But I think that there
Subhumans podcasters.
sometimes. But I think that there are like when you see certain things happening with someone who's clearly struggling, you should always like think twice before you like speak on the circumstance.
Sure.
Because you just couldn't possibly fathom what's happening psychologically, health-wise, etc.
That's why we didn't have you on when you were dealing with this Kanye meltdown.
Thank you. It's so generous of you to not be haranguing me. But when that happened, I realized that like this person seems to very clearly be going through an incredibly challenging time, but is also saying things that are just
Reprehensible.
horrific. Yeah, just and that's when I realized that like if I'm going to continue on this project,
Right.
it has to be shaped differently. It has to be motivated a little bit differently, and
flip
it
the
has
scripts.
to. I think it's possible to still write about a person of that level of success and fame and importance,
Yeah.
even if they're on a downswing.
Sure.
But you have to ask yourself. You have to look in the mirror and every day, as I'm sure you guys do every morning before you record this, and be like, "Why am I doing this?"
Every morning, every fucking hour, dude. On the hour.
If I asked myself that question,
We're
we would
taking
not
a
be doing
break
this
in
anymore.
30 so we can all look in the mirror and be like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
But I did have to give myself a little bit of space. Like, you joke about grind set. It's like, look, I've been working hard on this and other things for 20 years at this point.
Bro,
but you
yeah.
have to like stop and be like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing it? What am I
Yeah.
doing it for? And what do I want from it?
Am I Sisyphus? Have you had to like renegotiate your terms?
No. Like, you mean of the actual contract?
Like when
Yeah,
the book
because I'm
is
sure
due.
I'm sure you're like,
yes,
oh,
when
I'm
it's
gonna
due. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I need
It's like, oh, it's gonna be this, and that. Oh,
I
easy.
needed different. I needed the thing that I originally sold is not exactly the book that I'm writing now. And I had conversations with everybody so that everybody knows,
and they understand that.
I think that
things have changed.
Yeah, I mean, no one was
get it.
shocked. And to be frank, I mean, I was given a lot of grace by all the parties involved. Who were basically like, we trust, like,
Are you
you're
okay?
Like, you're the guy. Like, we trust it. Like, if you feel you can
John,
do it,
go
great.
with God.
Find God. Find Jesus.
I was like, I will call Lawrence.
Wait, so in terms of where we're at right now,
Yeah.
with the most recent expose in the New York Times, even though there wasn't a ton of new information there. But
worse for Adidas, frankly.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But a heavily reported thing that just came out. And then also knowing that there's new music on the horizon. How do you feel about Kanye? Do you smell a comeback? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you neutral?
I mean, like, spiritually I'm neutral, but I'm probably like bearish in reality. I think it's going to take a lot to...
Leaks sound good, bro.
You don't think he's going to come with fire and people just forgive him?
But here's the thing. Let's say it's a good to great Kanye album, like standalone, like none of this other stuff.
Right.
What is the path for Kanye to have a let's call it a chart success? What does that look like?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if the streaming audience is there at this level at this moment. I know there's still people who are extremely dedicated to him. And I also know that there are people who will just continue to listen to him, even if they think, he's a little sus. But like, we'll still listen to him because it's Ye. But like, is this going to get any radio play? You know, like,
but is that even important?
It's not that it's important. It's just that when I think of a successful Kanye album, we're thinking of albums that take over the discourse, take over the culture, are influential on a subsequent generation of musicians.
Yeah.
I think in order to do that, you need a kind of ubiquity that to me feels grander than just like the people who really fuck with me really fuck with this record. Or even this record's good and some people are like, maybe I should start fucking with me again.
Yeah.
But it's like, are we going to have Hot 97 hits or Z100 hits? I don't know what the meetings at radio stations are like, but it seems sort of unlikely that he'll end up on radio playlists.
Yeah, probably
He's not going to be doing the late night rounds.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. He'll be doing the Alex Jones rounds.
Have you been...
Okay, real question.
Yeah.
This chair, yay, would you do it?
1,000% are you joking
Yeah,
me, bro?
what? Yeah.
What? I just want to know.
He'd have to take his shoes off, but yeah.
Okay, well, he's barely wearing sock shoes now.
I'm not saying that
He's
I
wearing
like
sock-
when he
More than anybody.
Okay.
I think when you talk
Are you
about
putting the call out?
Yay.
yeah. Yo, GT, where you bang my line?
Yo, Gabe, if you're listening, we're available.
Yo, Tracy, bang my line.
Yeah.
When you say comeback though, it is like, yeah, like do you chart or is it like, is there a cultural forgiveness because he comes with so much heat he can't be denied and like, and then what does that even mean? Like, we let him back on Twitter? I don't know.
No, I mean, to me, cultural forgiveness is, it's an interesting concept because I don't think that there is anymore what I would describe as kind of like mass culture forgiveness. There's niche culture forgiveness or like scene forgiveness. I think a lot about, like Morgan Wallen, who is essentially like a fully reinstated member of the country music community, but is still kind of fundamentally excised from like the rest of polite society. But like Morgan Wallen's had the #1 album like half of this year.
Sure.
It's not like Morgan Wallen is, I mean, he may be suffering in some abstract way that we don't know, but on paper, he's doing quite well.
Oh, on paper, he's getting paper.
Yeah.
And it's totally possible that...
he brought in a whole new demo. His audience grew, dude.
You're not going to speak on that. But Ye, there may be a version of that for Ye, where like people are in certain worlds are willing to embrace him, willing to come back, or willing to make room for him. But I don't know if mass cultural forgiveness. I don't even know if that's a thing. Yeah. But if it's a thing, I don't know that he's primed for it.
I also think his fandom is so segmented now into like as a very anecdotal example, right? Lawrence and I were at a fucking rave in Bushwick, and he tried to
wait. What?
Talking to some
Let's problematize
talking
that.
to some like 25-year-olds.
It
was a corporate rave.
To be clear.
Which rave? Which
Grand
corporate?
Fashion Rave. Cash App.
Cash App.
Ex-Marshall Columbia, I believe.
It's a fashion week activation.
What were the scene? What were the kids dressed like?
The kids are dressed slutty.
Kids are dressed
having
awesome.
The best time in rock.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was life affirming.
Never seen so many male butt cheeks in my life.
Yeah.
But talking to some fucking mid-20s Zoomers, and
Full
Lawrence
Zoomers.
drops some Ye bars on them, and they're like, and he's like, "Oh, Kanye reference."
No.
And they're like,
They thought I was a genius, and I was like, "Wait, you don't know that I didn't come up with swagoo, literally."
Yeah.
That's what it was. Or whatever.
And so the segmentation or like the demarcation between like millennial fucking Ye and like up and Ye fans, and then like does Gen Z even fucking know who Kanye West is, or do they only know him as like the Kardashian husband slash
psycho
reality psychopath?
Yeah. This is a table of Generation Ye, and there's a lot of people that are born after that.
Are
and
you
do
calling
not
me
care.
young? Oh, you guys are so cute.
Yeah. I don't want to speak for James, and this is Lawrence talking, not John, but we had a conversation when things were extra bleak whenever last year, where I had the thought, and I said this on the pod, I was like, I feel like the best thing that could happen is, or no, not the best. What it felt like, I was like, this guy is going to die.
I've had that thought,
Right? Which is like maybe a lot of people have, but I was like,
I mean, I do think a lot of people have had it. It's
which is very dark.
But the way that he was in public for a certain stretch of time was certainly concerning.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like that's where we're at now.
No.
And so, look, that puts a period on this. But part of the reason the story, I think, is still interesting is because it still could move. Like, I feel like in the past it was pretty reliably like this, and now it's like this, right? And I'm not saying it's going to go up here, but this is a person who somehow, kind of like against all odds, still remains in the discourse. And so my hope is to be able to write a book that not only explains the backstory, but also maybe explains why, even in 2023 into 2024, why that still matters and why people are still fascinated for better and or worse. The book has to work if you still ride with him, and it has to work if you are fuck this guy. It has to tell a story that's I think relatable / approachable for both camps.
This isn't a dick riding 300-page stand-up account, obviously.
No. I mean,
You're capturing both the mania and the depression.
No, look, here's the thing. I think this is something that people generally don't understand about, like, critics, for example. Like, I'm a critic because I love things, and I have hopefully smart or profound things to say about them. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. But just because I'm critiquing a thing doesn't mean I'm coming at it from a point of hostility. And I think this is especially tough in the state. Yeah. Well,
everyone's just like, oh, fucking hater.
Yeah,
fucking hater.
I think the level of nuance around what criticism actually is meant to achieve, like kind of in the Twitter era, is really,
so,
really low.
Classic or trash?
Yeah. Shout out all the armchair fucking quarterbacks.
First of all, generally, if you have to ask, it's trash.
Yeah. Damn, boss.
But the thing is, I feel like even with someone as kind of complicated as this figure, I do think it merits nuanced, complicated, and challenging discourse. And I hope to bring that to the thing, even if you end up walking away from the book and being like, I don't totally agree with everything in this book or the perspective on it. But some people are going to think that. But I have to be at peace with that.
Last question on Kanye, because we are.
I had like 10 more.
No, whatever. Keep going.
No, if you want to ask, and then I just had one.
What do you think of the drip right now?
Let's get to the real shit here, dude.
Let's get the fuck. Are we doing fucking ass tops out and sneakers and
geeks out like Ben Slacken?
Yeah.
Okay. So so a couple thoughts.
Okay.
I should have been prepared for this question. I was not prepared for this question.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the last time you interviewed him for the Times, at least he was in
the Wyoming era.
Oh, okay. Well, the one before that was like the red fucking shiesty.
That's the Yeezus era. Yeah.
Yes, Yeezus era. Like that was, and that was just like fucking
unstoppable,
incredible. The photos, the interview, everything. But currently, where are we at?
Okay, so I'm really fascinated with the idea of the sock shoe as a kind of rejoinder to the Balenciaga era. Like swapping out hugeness for like aerodynamics.
Sleekness.
They did also have the sock runner. They kind of like
they did have the sock runner, but like with that sole though.
Yeah.
And also just
the
like
Nike Huarache
sole.
sole.
Have you ever in your life worn a sock runner?
No, dude.
No,
I'm
you
not
ever-
a baby.
No. So like a little slippy slip.
You're talking about like the scuba socks is whatever.
Whatever he's wearing. Yeah.
Scuba Steve's core.
Like I'm interested. Like I don't think the rest of the silhouette is totally fleshed out, and it does feel like that there's like a lot of like wrapping and Diane von Furstenberg wrapping and layering going on the top with like the tiny baby shoe. That doesn't totally. I'm not entirely. At peace with that.
It's not a very flattering male
He
silhouette.
looks like shit, dude. I don't know. Like
He looks like Danny DeVito's penguin.
But do you think?
Silhouette-wise.
But do you think that there's a possibility if you're starting?
Just silhouette-wise.
If you're starting with that footwear choice,
right?
Do you think if you're starting, is there a workable silhouette to build up from that?
Big ass coat.
You think totally no?
Big ass coat, bro.
Just a big ass coat and tiny
Well,
ass
actually,
heels.
it's like makes me think of the Vibram Five Finger, and like obviously Balenciaga has also done those, and it's like you see guys wearing them with like huge pants where you just get like the ugly little tip, and that's the
Just
look.
the tip,
but
baby.
the more you show, the worse it looks because aesthetically they are not pleasing, in my opinion.
No, I totally agree. But do you feel about these shoes the same way that you felt about like the first Balenciaga Triple S or whatever?
No, I thought that was like fascinatingly bad. These are just bad to me.
Oh, so, and I loved those shoes.
Yeah,
the original.
How many
Triple
pairs
S.
of Triple S's did you own?
I had two. I've sold them both. I had two. I sold
One to
them.
rock, one to stop.
Yeah, it's
Were you
true.
bummed when you learned that the guy that designed the Triple S Soul, I'm blanking on his name, it's some French shit, like that footwear designer, like
No,
denied
who
working
was?
with
What's
EA?
the guy's name again?
Like Denya, some shit like that.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
Sounds great.
Hackenberg or
I will
whatever,
say this:
whatever.
so when I went, you know who Real Genius is? Truly.
Demna.
So, sure,
Who? Sorry.
but when I went to Paris for the Pharrell thing,
Dan Bierendonk, is that what we're talking about?
Not Walter, no.
Oh.
No. When I went
Walt.
to Paris for the Pharrell thing, we walked through like the workshop, and Pharrell's like, these are the jewelry designers, and these are the pants people, and then we get to like the shoe corner, and there's like three guys in the back of the shoe corner, and I just like saw all their reference, like all the things they had, and I was like,
Yeah, that's
you
the
guys
now.
are just like spectacular.
Reference game crazy.
And I mentioned something there was something that I think actually is in the current LV season, which kind of looks like a baseball umpire shoe. Like it has that extra level of like on the top of the shoe, it has that like extra level of
Like
padding.
the A6 Auto 958 over there?
yeah, the flap. That's
Yeah,
a soccer
not
thing too, like where it's like the flap.
the pad on top, yeah.
Not no. And I was like, oh, it's like an umpire shoe. And one of them looks at me, and I don't know what European
Soccer,
language.
yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know what European
Baseball.
heritage he is, but in some accented English, he says, "Oh, umpire." And I was like, yeah, like a baseball
what?
umpire. And he like immediately like starts scribbling down the word.
Two
to, like,
Google later.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, so did you influence Pharrell's shoe designer into making a
Talk to
fucking
me
umpire
in
shoe?
fall, winter 25. I guess we'll
yes.
find out.
We'll get Vincent,
but anyway, those
we'll get
guys
Vincent
are
on the horn and have him hold you a pair in your
those
size.
guys, look, those guys are killing it, and like I follow one or two of them on Instagram now,
nice.
and everything they post, I'm just
Yeah.
like, God bless.
Sacre bleu.
My one final Kanye question is gun to head. What is your favorite Kanye record?
Like full album?
Yeah. I don't want some long-winded critical bullshit. Just say the fucking title. You can think about it. Mine's Yeezus. James.
Jesus.
Pablo or Yeezus.
Okay, great.
Pablo or Yeezus.
I think we can move off
right.
Ye now.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's get
After
off
an
Ye.
hour.
Let's get off
We
Ye.
really are doing. What's the longest episode you've ever done?
It might have been you. Well, also it's hard with like pandemic era into like live in person era when people actually have shit to do and not just like sit at home and twiddle their dicks and
I
all
have
day.
nothing to do.
Yeah.
Same, bro.
Yeah,
Let's keep
let-
it
no,
We
going.
have till 4:30 in the morning, I believe.
That's absolutely right.
This is literally the first question on the Run the Show.
Yeah.
Right. We just got through that.
So Kanye has an album coming out allegedly like seemingly this year, allegedly this year. The end of the year is on the horizon. Can you clue us in on what your favorite songs and albums of the year have been in 2023? I already know one of them's got to be Zach Bryan.
Yeah, you don't have to rank them, but just giving us an idea of
just throw some out
it's
there.
a little temp check on the best of from the goat brain.
Ashake? You guys are one?
Dude.
Yeah.
You like the fits? Or you think they're a little too much?
no,
Worked for him.
I mean, well, I don't want to. Nigerians get big fits off. That's like in their DNA. Like that's how you do it.
Like
I don't want anything else
like
from him.
okay,
personally
silhouette
speaking, as a white
and
man.
color, silhouette and color. Like,
Yeah, he goes crazy, and that song Palazzo is fucking. I love that,
That
jam.
album
With our
to
boy
me-
DJ Spinall.
Shout
Top boy.
out, yeah, shout out DJ Spinall, friend of
Top
the fucking
boy.
program, bro.
that album to
boy.
me is legitimately great.
He's so fire.
Wait, why didn't I not prepare?
Yeah, you had months. No, you
Well,
had-
it's
you
only
had 3 days.
November 1st.
No, but like I should have just have like a list of this. I have to look at our Podcast Deluxe,
right.
subscribe and like. Wait, when is this coming out?
next week.
Yeah.
We just got our own YouTube channel.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, we checked.
We just got our
Yeah.
youtube.com
I think we were
/podcast.
I think we're the 18th and 19th subscribers.
Oh,
well, because nobody.
so much.
I'm not trying to be a dick.
No,
Nobody knew it was-
no. We literally just got it yesterday.
Yeah.
What do you think of What do you think for all the dogs? Not in your best end list.
Your review
It's-
was great and perfect, in my opinion.
It doesn't solve a new problem.
The problem of what's eating Gilbert Drake?
Yeah, no, like it doesn't solve a new problem. Like I don't dislike it. It feels like moves I can largely anticipate, and my
It's like buying a third pair of LV trainers.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I have two, but
just-
I might need to hit the
Has
lock
it not
alone
been-
after that. Just
Her loss
back.
aside, it's been the same album since Views, right? Everything is this Views, Scorpion, Certified Lover Boy, and For All the Dogs. It's the same thing.
And the part of Drake that I really like, and I think keeps him so viable after all these years, even amidst like louder and louder complaints about the narrowness of his subject matter, he's an incredibly versatile rapper, both in terms of cadence and also his interaction with the beat. And when he tries a new style, whether it's working in an Afrobeats context, working in a drill context,
Or hopping on a song with Yeet.
let's call that a 7. But when he's working in a new context, he's mostly able to pay homage to the sort of originators of that sound and
source
style
material.
and add a little bit of very familiar Drakeness to
Yeah.
it. This album to me is the one where he does that the least. He's maybe like run out of runway of things to kind of like be
He's
in
run out of
discourse.
references.
Yeah, it does feel that way.
Mood board dry.
The Vulture ran out of culture? What the fuck?
Hey, yo.
But how good is Away From Home? I love that song. To me is awesome, dude.
Wait, I want to pull up.
Okay.
Do you have a list?
No, but I'm looking on our
So
our
I just
episode.
googled. I just googled best
let's-
albums 2023. If you want me to throw some out there, like Lana Del Rey had an album. I think it was early in the year, so people
fine.
maybe forget about that. 100 Gex.
Ooh,
10,000
100 gigs.
Gex.
So here's a few that we talked about on an old episode. I really think the Ice Spice EP was very, very good. Like genuinely, it's legitimately good.
do
I
you think of
can't
Drake?
believe I'm still fighting with people in like November of 2023
That don't
about
think she's the GOAT?
That don't think she's good. It's
Oh, just
bizarre.
good?
Just good.
Just admit you're a misogynist at that point.
Well,
I'm going to play this for them. I'm going to play this part for them.
Please.
To me,
The least misogynistic podcast on Apple Music.
it's definitely the first thing I think of when I think of you guys. But no, the Ice Spice EP to me is genuinely very good end to end. Peso Pluma.
oh, right.
Yeah.
Peso Pluma, very, very good album.
Is he good? Are the cartels still after him? What's going on?
Yeah.
I think there are certain cities he has been strongly
Green light?
discouraged
That's so
from
crazy, by the
performing in.
Damn.
Fucking Narcos, dude.
That shit is extremely real.
Yeah.
And there were, frankly, singers of earlier generations who died very young.
There's the
or
guy who
was-
got yopped because he performed. Right?
There's a couple.
Like a-
there's a couple.
Yeah, okay.
And probably more than we even know about.
That's also true. We don't know where the bodies are buried.
Sigur Rós put an album out? What the fuck?
In the country world, do you guys fuck with Bailey Zimmerman?
I only really know Zach Bryan. And then like that Rich Man North of Richmond song, which is a fucking banger.
It does slap.
The rich
Yeah.
man of
It
North
can
Richmond.
confirm.
The lyrics are a bit,
Yeah.
you know.
He would not approve of your diet.
No.
Why are my taxes paying for your soda?
So so I can have this, but not.
Oh,
this.
yeah, right. Organic
this,
beet, fine,
not-
but yeah.
You can buy the orange beet with your welfare checks, but not the Coke Zero or Mexican Coke.
if he in the one time that he was interviewed, he suggested that his issue was not with the people who are obese, but with the systems that are designed to keep those people hooked.
Oh, for sure.
on sugary
Okay,
foods.
he's the fucking immortal technique of the
I'm
Mason
just
Dixon
simply
line.
saying-
Like, come on.
I'm just simply trying to honor his truth. Okay.
did Little Debbie.
Yeah. So look, first of all, Oliver Anthony, come on Podcast Deluxe.
Yes.
Absolutely, and come on throwing.
Yeah. I mean,
don't know.
we fuck with that shit.
I love that song, but he a weird looking
I would like to
motherfucker.
I would like to sing in my parody
You want to do a
version.
beard care episode?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. He needs some oils. That's
Some
what he
Earl.
needs. Some Earl.
That song's really good. We did. I don't know if you saw, but on Deluxe we did a flight of Little Debbie snacks.
Oh, nice.
Because I'd actually never had a Little Debbie snack at all. And when he's singing about
moon
fudge
juice.
rounds,
Are you an Entenmann's man?
I am an very
Little Debbie
much
does
so.
He's
what?
an Entenmann.
He is.
Moon pies? Is that Lil Debbie's?
Fudge rounds is what he was singing
That's right,
about.
yeah.
And then we got like donut sticks and oatmeal some things.
They
And
make donuts and sticks now?
Who makes who makes the OG honey
pull
bun?
up with a donut stick.
Pull up with a donut stick.
So we did like a flight of Little Debbie snacks.
Saw Baby had projects this year.
I have not heard the Saw Baby Project, but I was listening to Pull Up With a Stick recently quite a bit.
So good.
Because of the
All-time
Noah
high.
Kahan song Stick Season. And I was like, this is not my favorite song about sticks.
right.
Saw Baby is.
I just put
Followed
Pull Up With a
closely by-
Stick on my IG story.
Yeah.
All I need is my close friends. It's fire.
Yeah. Followed only a second by Magic Stick.
What about
Also,
yeah.
also Sleepers, weirdly,
Yeah.
these Skrillex albums are
Really?
like legitimately very
with
good.
the rebrand where he like looks like he fucking went to a barber?
Yes. Yeah,
He looks like he just got a haircut.
Yeah, that rebrand where he got a haircut. Those albums are
He got the
extremely
Richard
good.
Spencer.
Are they
And
like
kind
are
of
they
came and went?
Are
but
they in the same vein of like
they're
shit?
like slightly more coherent in terms of the collaborations and the size of the songs. They're a little bit tighter, but they're basically inheritors of that style. I really was surprised.
What about I feel like 2023 is also the year of kind of like Gen X, like bands coming back and like Smashing Pumpkins had an album, Foo Fighters, fucking no?
Pass.
You're not a fan.
Pass.
These people just stay
Pass.
retired.
Okay.
The Blink album people like.
Pass.
Yeah?
Pass.
All right.
Pass. Not a real thing.
He's a Paso
Real.
Pluma.
We don't honor. We just don't honor it in my house.
But it's a real phenomenon.
No,
Like,
we
you're
don't honor it.
even-
In my
okay.
house, that's not real.
Yeah, you only fuck
In
with
this
the new
house,
shit.
we don't listen to fucking.
that's-
What's the new shit? We were joking. I was like,
Hard
yeah,
rock.
John's gonna come and be like, yo, you guys don't fuck with Milwaukee drill. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
mean,
new shit,
basically,
baby.
like
Boys.
V's. Like I just, you want to talk about V's or something?
Sure,
Like
what's V's?
No, like I feel like Detroit rap and Milwaukee rap.
nuts.
Like, look, Detroit rap and Milwaukee rap.
Babytron.
Yeah, shout out Babytron. King.
Also,
What about Scaring the Hose? Is that on your best of the year?
wait, what's scaring those?
JPEG
Danny Brown and
Mafia
JPEG
and,
Mafia.
and Danny Brown's collab tape. Do you know this, man? Damn, bro.
It legitimately is music that scares the hose. I'm not gonna lie. Like you put that on, the hose are scared.
You put that on these ELAC
Yeah,
speakers.
The hose are.
When you have folks over.
The hose are gonna go take the G train.
Yo, this is something that.
That's double trauma. That's absolute double trauma.
Are you an audiophile? We were debating about your home setup. No,
Not at
right?
all.
That's what we guessed. We're like, I bet you he's
Absolutely
not.
not.
Yeah,
Absolutely not. Like most of the music that I've ever cared about is not designed to be played on like the highest of hi-fi.
Right.
It's car speaker music.
Okay.
And obviously
Whip
like
test.
Whip
I've
test,
blown
yeah.
it. Like so an issue that I've had is I drive older cars. Like right now, my car's in the shop. I'm driving a rental. It's very strange to have like a totally functional setup and everything.
like,
But,
where's the fucking CD player?
Yeah, like
What the
literally
fuck?
everybody.
I don't have
everything
to
is
start
so
this with a
smooth.
screwdriver?
Like literally everything is so smooth. Like the screen of the radio, the
Crank
screen
it
of the
up.
radio is so vivid.
It's like driving an iPhone.
It really is. But my car is much older, and so
The big body.
I have in both the current older car that I drive and the prior older car that I had prior to this car.
Yeah.
I've ruined speakers
really?
systemically because I want to play things at loud volume, but
Right.
the speakers of the 80s or the early 90s are
Can't
not,
handle it, no.
like the factory speakers at least
Right.
are not designed for that.
Sounds like
level
a
of
fucking
bass.
Skrillex album.
Yeah.
I can't listen to that stuff. And also
Sounds like broken here.
like if I was playing like I would have issues. Like I play like the K-Flock album on my
Hell
car
yeah.
on my car speaker, and like by track 3, everything's like
Yeah.
When these-
and not intentionally.
when these
not like the
speakers
good
were
version.
invented, it was just the Sugar Hill Gang.
Basically,
They hadn't
Yeah.
anticipated K-Flock
no,
existed.
they couldn't have. They couldn't. It was unknown.
I like peas with my soup.
The
or whatever
German
fuck.
engineering mind could not comprehend K-Flock.
So when I get my when I get my car back from the shop, I'm planning on taking it to a speaker guy to get proper speakers so that I
Finally.
can listen to the
Hell
music
yeah.
that I want to listen to. At
It's
the
a
volume I
fucking-
wish
Damn,
to
that
listen
guy's
to.
got
get some-
a big day ahead of him.
Get some Velone rims on that bitch too. Come on now. Come on now.
4Gs, dude.
James, how lonely does it get here?
I got my TV and shit. I got my big screen, my small screen.
Which part, when you're the loneliest, which part of this apartment do you go to?
Right here. It's when I podcast.
Is that
Oh,
what
you
I'm
say you
loneliest.
jerk off there?
Shit.
Speaking of which,
Do you want me to move to the couch?
I would like to know what is on the Jon Caramanica sex playlist.
Oh, come on.
Is that Brian?
The rich man of north of Richmond?
No, this is okay. Sincere.
Dick
This
man.
is sincere.
The stick man.
Is it?
I am so scared for Jenna right now. I'm so
Nah,
scared.
she'll never listen. She'll never
She won't make
listen.
it
No.
95 minutes into this episode.
We are on the second question.
Okay, so it's a distraction.
what is?
Music.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
of course.
I
It's a
feel-
distraction.
I feel the same way.
It's a distraction. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys feel familiar, but it's
Blanket statement.
yeah.
No,
it's
we
just-
all
It's
agree.
a distraction.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's
It's not necessary.
Like I just like you think it through. It is just straight
also for
stretching.
you, like,
I'm
music-
also a close. Like I'm a close listener.
Right.
So I can't imagine anything worse than hearing a song, even unintentionally,
work.
like in the
It's your-
background. I can't imagine hearing a song and then be like,
Damn. The downsides of fucking with a critical mind.
It's like, no, bae, see, it's more about the systems of oppression, not the fudge rounds themselves.
Sir, we are having sex.
Now let me put it in your fudge round.
There he is.
that was James. James and Lawrence.
Yeah.
I actually just showed up. Everything prior to
Yeah.
this was I wasn't
This is
even
the
here.
boys only, and then you just popped in. Part of your job is attending concerts, right? You do live
Yes.
reviews.
Not as much as I used to, but yeah.
Pretty frequently. What's been your favorite concert that you went to this year?
This has been a strange year because we used to review. I actually was going through some old emails at the Earthlink address, from like '09, and I was reviewing genuinely 4 or 5 shows a week.
That is crazy.
Overnight reviews, like so, go get home 12 or
Right.
1, stay up till 4 or 5 and write, and wake up at 10 to do edits. I was doing that 4 or 5 times a week. Now maybe once a month I'll do a show review because we're really just doing the bigger tours. So like I was able to go to the opening night of Eras tour, which I thought was very good.
Is that just because it's like too hard to do that? Like,
No, well, it's more that we collectively decided that the story that we want to tell about pop music with our limited resources was maybe not best told through live concerts.
Right.
There are other ways to talk about music, essays, album reviews, etc.
dishes are done.
Yeah. Also, by the way, limited resource unless it's the opening night at the Eras tour.
I mean, hey,
Do you know? I mean, I don't know if you. Well, like, what is face value on those ticks, dude?
I do not know the answer to that, but I assume.
Yeah.
How
I
does that
assume
work?
very
You,
high.
just, you hit like does the New York Times has a plugsman, a plug
I
department?
mean, you get. What do you mean? They're press tickets.
Oh, press tickets.
Yeah,
Right,
of
right,
course,
right.
they're press tickets.
Yeah.
But I
press
have paid for.
pool.
Occasionally, I'll pay for a show. Like it happens. But like I thought the SZA tour was really good.
Okay, right.
But that was I think at the end of last year. I'm hoping to see Cash Cobain this weekend. I would like to see Cash Cobain. You were asking about what I listen to. I listen to a lot of like New Jersey drill, like club drill, stuff
Nice.
like that.
Can you do the Uzi dance?
Yeah. Yes, actually. As a matter of fact, yes, I can.
That's the one best thing about the single cam is I can do it terribly.
And nobody's going to see it. I'm not doing No,
I just
we're
wanna
not
carry him
doing
on a
it.
rock.
I refuse to become it.
We went to the Drake show. We went to the Drake show.
To go to the
twice.
Drake show. Where'd you guys go?
MSG.
I went to Barclays and MSG. He went to MSG.
Why'd
twice.
you go twice? Brand activation?
We got I didn't know if we were gonna get flowed, so I paid for my own Barclay, way overpriced. But it's just so
like
much
direct or you
in a
or
box,
resale?
in a box,
But
with a bunch-
resale
with a
or
bunch of people. Yeah.
A boy of his bought a box and then like doled out the tickets, like split them up, between like 15
I
people.
actually didn't know. I didn't even know you could purchase a box. I
put-
thought those were all like private.
No, you put the box on the
in
credit
bu-
card, you get the miles, and then you're like, I know enough people that I can sell like friends to, and I'll sell face, and like you just all hang.
interesting. I didn't know.
MSG is so much better for a concert, though. I mean, the sound is. It's honestly, why does Barclays sound so bad? I don't
It
get
is.
it.
It is unusual. I don't really understand. I mean, obviously Barclays hasn't been
Ho
around
fucked
as long
that
as
up,
MSG, but I do think Garden is a better concert venue.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, you want to talk about like the least pleasant show experiences.
Yeah,
of this
sure.
year. Like I went to Vegas for the Sphere.
Oh, with U2?
For U2 opening night.
Hell yeah, bro.
Which is a very, very bizarre experience.
Felt like I was on the season 2 finale of Entourage.
First of all, I have a dear friend who was in like the VIP balconies with like actual famous people, and she did describe it very much like
Really?
that. Yes.
My dad was
people
once
just
in
like zooted out their minds,
of
like
course.
kind of like going crazy. Like,
go,
yeah,
Irish
yeah.
flags.
There was one song about 4. So the conceit of the
Was it
Sphere.
cool? The Sphere itself? Forget
I
you
think
too.
it would have been cooler. So the seats
was
that
Cash
I was
Cobain.
assigned-
in the Sphere.
yes. I mean,
Truly.
So the way the seating is, it's tiered, but it's the what do you call this? The slope of it is actually quite sharp.
Okay.
So it's not like tiered in a casual way,
Right,
but it's like
okay.
goes very high. I think if you're in one of the cheap seats, quote unquote,
better?
I think that's better
Oh,
because
it
you
hits harder.
really
You get the whole
see
thing.
the whole thing.
Wow.
But I was low enough that I'm just sort of like watching. It's like watching U2 play like the New Jersey Pack or something.
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, there's like the stage is like the size of this room, and there's just
Yeah.
like 4 guys just like
Or-
wandering around it.
seeing like a little Yachty listening party at the Liberty Science Center Planetarium.
Oh, I didn't go to that.
Which was
Yeah.
actually kind of like the sphere before the sphere.
Damn, did James Dolan fucking
invented
swagger
it.
jack Patterson, New Jersey?
Wow.
Yeah.
Not now.
Think about
No,
it.
Not now.
Patterson?
No, that's in
Jersey City.
Jersey
Yeah.
City is where that is.
Yeah.
Patterson, that's where Fetty Wap's
That's where Angel
Yeah.
Diaz is.
Free
Yeah,
Fetty,
yeah.
by the way.
Till Freddy free.
Good Ice Spice lyric too.
We
So
were going to say good eye.
So this sphere was
eye.
not. So B.
there's
in the cheap
one
seats.
song in particular where if you're like watching the band, if you're roughly at eye level with where the band is, the way that the images on the sphere are moving, they're moving so fast you actually get seasick.
Oh wow.
And so there was one song where I literally was just like kind of like grabbing onto the side of the seat because I was like, just make it to the end of the song. They couldn't possibly do this for the whole show.
Big John
could
fall
they?
hard.
Yeah, can you imagine like having to go? I did once.
Coming out of the sphere in a stretcher?
Like,
embarrassing.
Well, first of all, I once was hospitalized covering a festival.
From what, dehydration?
Yeah,
Too much Mr. Pibb.
effectively, it was dehydration. Like I had vertigo.
Damn, what fest?
It was near Portland. It's like sort of like a roots music festival, and it was like outdoors in August, like 95 degrees.
Yikes.
I got home after day one. I had some food. I got back to the hotel. I laid down and immediately had like a crazy vertigo experience. I had to go to like the emergency room and spend the whole next day in the hospital, like getting like fluids and everything. It was absolutely terrible. And then because Oregon is a state where you have to pay the balance of your bill, I got charged like an extra $1,000. Like insurance did not cover all of it, and I had to pay like
Times
$1,000.
in fucking front that shit? Was this pre-times?
You want to talk to my? You want to talk
Vibe
to?
era?
No,
Stella.
this is the Times.
Damn.
Stella? Come on now.
Don't blame Stella. Don't blame Stella for that.
Are you guys unionized? No, we won't get into
right.
the
Yeah,
like,
we're not
inner
gonna-
politics,
yeah,
internal politics.
absolutely
Oh, there you go.
unionized, yeah.
So who do you think had the best year in music? Forget like your favorite albums or the best album, just like overall, because obviously, musicians and artists are more than just their music these days.
Yeah. And it's a game.
It's
and the game
probably
must have winners.
It's probably Peso Pluma.
Really?
Yeah.
on a global scale.
Bigger than fucking Tay-Tay?
Ebony?
Here's the thing. Okay, so both of those people. I mean, just because you're having a big year doesn't mean you're having a great year.
Poor Taylor.
Here's the thing about Taylor. Like all of the things that Taylor is succeeding at this year are, in essence, meta commentary or meta art on earlier versions of herself.
Sure.
Taylor's version of
Taylor's version
2024.
of older albums,
2023,
Eras
actually.
Tour, looking back at various time periods. Is there a Taylor Swift innovation of 2023? I don't think there's a Taylor Swift innovation of 2023.
Travis Kelce.
Is there a Taylor Swift innovation?
What's Taylor's version of Taylor Swift herself?
Don't we want to know?
I would love to know. Taylor, you're also welcome
Yeah,
to come on
she's
the show.
Taylor on the pod,
Yeah.
side by side with Ye.
Get on
Hey.
here and speak now, girl.
She's dating a podcaster now,
That's how do you?
She is.
Do you guys feel like y'all leveled up when you saw that?
Yo, white boys up.
I was talking to Travis Kelce's
Up
publicist.
1,000?
I was talking to Travis Kelce's publicist about him coming on the pod like before the season started, and I was like, "Hey, he's going to be playing the Jets in October." And then like the Taylor thing happened, and they're like, "Sorry, who is this?" Like,
Yeah, they were like they lost your number.
fuck
They
outta
lost
here.
your Earthlink address.
exactly.
So Taylor, there's no new innovation. It's I love the tour. The movie was like a little bit too chaotic for me.
Were you in a movie theater where like the kids were fucking partying? Hell yeah.
It took about like half of the film before the kids really felt comfortable. But like
Really?
the second half of the film, I was in like Alamo Draft House, and like there's that section.
The white
down
claws were hitting.
Yeah, like sorry, those are not one of my genders, but that section down in front,
Yeah.
like the kids were losing it in the second
course.
half. Bad Bunny, like. I don't think it's the best Bad Bunny record. It feels like a placeholder record. Same with the Drake record feels like a placeholder record. To me, when I listen to the Peso Pluma record, I hear the sound of something that's coming, not the sound of something that has already come.
Like the torches, maybe. So it's like J Balvin, Bad Bunny, and then.
I mean, when you think of like the way that Spanish language music is moving and evolving and adapting and incorporating, it's not just Puerto Rican, it's not just Dominican, it's now extended, it's not just Colombian, it's also extending to Mexico. That music to me feels the most innovative, and then talking to him and hearing him understand that basically everything that Bad Bunny has done is available to him plus new things. That's an interest, like to know that you are that level of success is possible for you.
Yeah.
That was really, really striking. And to know that at that age and at this stage of the career, I thought it was really impressive. And just having a little bit of a sense behind the scenes of what he's got coming in the next 6 to 12 months, like it's going to be a much bigger deal 12 months from now than it is now, and it's already a huge deal.
The audience at home should check him out. Sneaker shopping. Lock in.
He was on stage.
Yeah, I know he was.
Yes,
He had a huge year.
Did you see that I mentioned Joe LaPuma in my story on Peso Pluma?
I did not read the story on Pleso Pluma.
I did see
Joe
Joe
LaPuma's in
LaPuma
there.
highlight his name and post on his story.
Shout out Joe.
Yeah,
Look,
shout out
Joe
Joe.
also when I was with Peso
Spanish
Pluma,
for Joe the Puma.
Yeah.
I bet Peso
I
Pluma
thought
told
it
me
was-
that.
I thought it was French.
Pleso Puma.
I thought it was French for that, just for the record.
Maybe.
I don't know. Yeah.
But like there was a thing that happened when I was with Peso Pluma on the day of the interview. I was with him a couple days on the interview day. Joe had sent him a pair of sneakers that they had discussed on the show, like a rare pair of like Mexico dunks, Cinco de Mayo dunks. And Joe found like one of the only pairs in his size and sent it to them. So I had to.
Joe.
So I fact checked with Joe.
Wow.
Hi, Joe.
Hospitality.
Let's get Jon Caramanica on sneaker shopping.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I'll take 10 pairs of Black Cat 4s. All right, I'm done.
exactly.
And then like, wait, fuck, I forgot I got to pay for these.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, dude.
So besides Peso
10 LV trainers,
Yeah.
10 Black Cat Force.
besides your man's Peso Pluma building on the legacy of Bad Bunny and J Balvin and making his own shit, where else do you think like pop music is headed in 2024 on some macro level type beat?
Let's get a clip out of this.
Here's the thing. You want me to just like a tight 60,
I don't know. Yeah.
60 on it?
I don't know.
So here's the thing.
We're posting that 45-minute Kanye
That's a
one
YouTube.
reel.
That's a YouTube short.
Yeah, it's going to be on Quibi, dude.
Shut up, my
That
God.
was a Peacock original.
Last night it was a Zeus original, dude.
All right, so here's my concern. And,
Yes.
and I this came up a little bit this week on my podcast, Popcast Deluxe.
tune in.
I worry a little bit about now that there are so many more scenes that are kind of welcome in the pop ecosystem. Like people want to collaborate widely. They want to collaborate with people from other countries,
Right.
from other stylistic traditions, etc. A lot of those collaborations end up feeling really perfunctory, really forced. And so you have two famous,
like
talented
it's like
people.
fashion.
It is like fashion, right? No, but
Bars.
it's absolutely true. It ends up feeling really perfunctory and disappointing, and I think ultimately takes away from what makes each of those individuals special. And I'm worried you're going to see more of that. Not that I don't think people should collaborate, but I think they should be taken a little bit more seriously. And if you are going to bring people together from different worlds or different sonic perspectives, try to find a record that actually accommodates both of them. That to me is what I'd like to see. I'm worried that you're going to see a lot of people just like essentially wanting to have the name on the streaming list.
Interesting.
So
right.
that I did a show with you.
Yep.
It pops up on your feed. You pop up on my feed, and we both get each other's listeners.
Is that the record labels doing that? Where it's like, oh, we should get this fucking.
I think the cynicism is so thoroughly woven into the system at this point that I just don't think that. I don't think there's anybody who's playing at that level who's not interested in this kind of thing, except maybe Zach Bryan. And even Zach Bryan is doing records with Casey Musgraves and Noah Kahan and so on and
Casey
so
Musgraves'
forth.
song is fucking gas. And Lumineers.
Who
Not the,
was
I don't,
it?
not, that's not gas. I'm just saying he did that shit.
Was it Morgan Wallen and Little Dirk? Was that they? So is
Wallen and Dirk.
But did you like that, or was that like?
I think the first Wallen Dirk record is legitimately very good.
Because that to me is
Broadway
almost
Girls.
like the perfect example we're talking about, where it's like
But
Mad
actually-
Lib smashing.
It
for
is
the
a little
track
Mad
list.
Lib smashing, but
The Rolling Blazers and Target of music.
They deserve each other, dude. 40% off. Honestly, when you're listening to this, maybe 75% off.
Not touching that. Not touching that. So
He is litigious.
Quite.
you guys get the cease and desist.
No, it's listen.
just stating
gargle
facts.
my balls.
We're
Son.
stating
If you're
facts.
listening, you can suck my dick from the back and sue me, loser.
Sue him, not the pod.
Actually, don't
That's
do that.
Lawrence, that's Lawrence talking. That's Lawrence talking. What was the question?
The collaboration. So do you think they'll be more considered, or do you think it'll be even whacker than before?
No, I think that there's so much pressure to continue to put out new material. And it's not like you're on an album cycle, so you've got 1 or 2 singles leading up to the album, then you got an album, and then you take 6 months and you go into the woodshed and you live a little life and you go on the road. There's so much pressure to continuously put out new material that I think you're going to see a lot less considered material coming out. And I think the stuff that's going to be the least considered is the stuff where you're like, I only really have to show up at 50% because this other guy's on the record, or this other woman's on the record. Like, and I think because of that, sure, do you get a quick 50 million streams on Spotify or something? Like something
Bro.
Sure. But I don't think it actually helps a career.
The correlation that, like, you could be talking about fashion right now, where it's just like,
absolutely.
oh, like, whether you're a fashion house, you need to do a fucking 6 collections. Who is the you do 6 collections a year, continuously feed the fucking beast. You have shit that's just like derivative or is like clearly like just a rip of something else.
Honestly, when I was thinking about coming here, I was thinking way more about the commonalities between what's going on in music and what's going on in fashion than I do on this.
There's just too much, bro. There's
too much fucking money.
Well, there's too much noise, so all you can do to stick out from the noise is just to like be a participant in the noise. Who is the Phoebe Philo going to be of music?
Can I say one thing about Phoebe Philo? Like, yes. Okay. So obviously, I'm sure you guys bought the $12,000 check.
Of course.
I'm sure you
they're
did.
on their end row.
Well, we're not misogynists. Yeah, we bought it. Support all women.
It's interesting to see all the discourse around the pricing.
Right.
This is what I was saying. Keep going.
So, look, I'm not saying I spend loads of money on clothes all the time, but it's like if you are looking and keeping your eyes out at different different companies, different luxury companies, obviously those prices are aggressive, but they're not absolutely out of line with some of the more expensive stuff.
They're Bottega prices.
They're peak row or peak Bottega or peak LV prices, or a little bit above that, sure.
Which is
but
your
like,
competition.
if I had even like a modicum of Photoshop ability or like meme making ability, like I literally would just take like the Phoebe Philo drop photos, just put like a 4G logo on them, and they would just like absolutely be like, cool, no problem.
Go fuck yourself.
I saw this on.
Like, seriously, Vincent, please start selling Phoebe Philo.
Oh, he will.
Please, I would like to see.
But
it.
I will say, if you go on Twitter, I saw that a guy zoomed in on the sunglasses. Phoebe herself shot all of those photos on an iPhone.
I think that was Photoshop. I don't think that was real.
No,
Is that real?
really?
You think it was?
I mean, shit, dude.
I mean,
It
I
looked real to me.
have an 11, so I don't know like what the fidelity of the 15
Yeah, I
is,
have a
but
12.
What are some good collabs in music? Because when you're talking negatively, I just was like, wait a second. 2 people that I feel like helped each other level up was the Dave and Central C EP was really good because they're both trying to
another
like
good record this year.
out rap each other. And it's also, and that's like, do 4 songs. They all slap. Get your streams. Get some good competition there. Don't just like collab with someone for the sake of collabing.
No, but also Dave and Central C have a lot more natural like they're more naturally
The same
simpatico.
genre, obviously. Yeah,
there's a lot more
Right,
that
that's fair.
Their natural overlap is a lot higher. Obviously, the Drake and Central C on the Radar freestyle
combination.
I mean that shit rocked, dude. That was so good.
Caramanica.
No, it's just great. It's great. It's just great scene. This is great. I'm staying the night.
Turn the lights on. The sun's going down.
You and Costco are the madness and badness, dude.
Podcast combination.
Not no.
Not no.
Hey, Joe, I think we should go to McDonald's and get a number 2 combination.
Yeah, real talk. Grimace Shake and Ice Spice
that's right.
Munchkin drink. Very important stuff. We've hit all the pop culture.
We're gonna
How
get
many
all
calories
the
in the
snack
Ice
shit.
Spice Munchkin drink?
Dog,
Do you remember?
I don't know, but I mean, 800 or 1,000?
Like 8,000.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, it's out of control.
Wait, Grimace Shake was this year?
No. Was it? Oh, shit.
Bro, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it
that's
feels
right.
like fucking
This is-
10 years ago.
healthy boy, Erewhon Grimace.
You're so working off that
Fucking Mother Earth, Gramache.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about a collaboration that fucking slaps and we all know and love.
Oh, yeah.
Popcast, but more importantly, Popcast Deluxe, the video version
Like and subscribe.
of the Popcast podcast. How's it going? How's Popcast Deluxe going?
I feel it's been like a fascinating, humbling exercise because for 8 years prior to this, hosting a show, it's audio, the guests rotate every week, but you kind of adjust yourself to the rhythm of what it means to make an audio only show. You understand the limitations. You understand the limitations of it. You understand like what you can achieve and how to draw people out without necessarily like you don't have to look at them, but like you can draw them out interview wise. I think probably a little naively going into Deluxe, I was like, it's the same. Me and Joe, it's fine. Like we talk like this all the time.
Right.
You know, but the minute you realize how many other things have to go right for it to look good, how many things have to go right
Sure.
for it to actually have an hour of sustained conversation that feels listenable, and then also to have like highlights that like can get pulled out and like put on IG, like all that stuff was totally obscure to me. But so far, I think it's going really well. You know, we had our first guest, Maren Morin, recently. Maren Morris. We're going to have more coming soon. I think for us, how many more times can we tell the same kind of stories through print pieces, through written pieces? It allows a different kind of perspective, a different kind of intimacy. I also think one thing I learned, and you guys know this better than anybody, and I don't think it's wrong to say that we talked to y'all about this a little bit when we were starting. The relationship of people who are truly close listeners is still kind of shocks me even after all these years.
Yeah.
And Joe and I have a very natural ongoing rapport, and we always would have a punchline. It's like, oh, we should literally just record this, and that can be the show. And then when an opportunity was presented, I said, okay, well, let's give that a try. And like so far, I think it's going okay.
Well, what was the number one piece of advice you took away from the big brains of the Throwing Fits Creative Agency LLC when we had our meeting of the two families at Pinelli?
Do you want the genuine answer to that?
Yes.
Yeah, the genuine.
No, we want the fake answer.
No. The genuine answer is that hearing about the parts of your job that are business related, like small business related, actually seemed really stressful.
Yeah, the stress of being an entrepreneur or self-employed.
Like the extra.
You're like, I'm
stuff.
not gonna do that.
Yeah, like that stuff. Like if you have like a business manager or like an executive producer or someone who can do those things and kind of free you up to just make the show or make the art,
Just be talent.
That's a dream. But to hear you guys talk about all the things that go on that are not what we are doing right now, honestly, that was eye-opening. You know,
There's the
also like
nitty-gritty.
hearing that you guys made easily $7 million last year. Yeah. Like that was also really
$1 for every listener.
The nitty gritty and the glory, man. It's a combination.
Yeah, but I would say that was the most eye-opening thing.
I think I'll never forget, just personally speaking, what I walked away with was Lauren just going, yeah, bro, the numbski's going dumbski. It's like,
Free one, dude.
damn, this man's had a lot of mozzarella sticks.
What I took away was Big Things Coming LLC.
Big Things Coming LLC. That's true. Yeah. Register it now. When we set out to do it, we wanted to make sure that if you only ever experienced it as a total outsider, if you only watched it on YouTube, like, and you didn't really know the rest that there was a podcast regular, if you didn't really understand the New York Times culture coverage, it has to make kind of like vertical, coherent sense in that way.
Yeah.
But also we wanted to be like incredibly familiar to people who were coming in from a door that was already open. Right. But hearing you guys talk about what it takes to keep those people interested outside of the episodes, sweating just thinking about
Drake
it.
Discord
bro.
clips. Very bad impressions.
Yeah, we have it like I'm not in the Discord nearly as much as I should be. I'm not on the Facebook group.
Well, here's my tip. You want a tip?
Yeah.
The most important thing of being a member of any Discord community is first thing you do when you wake up.
Literally the first thing.
When you wake up at 3 p.m. is GM. Good morning to the court.
Yeah.
You gotta acknowledge that we're saying good morning to all the fellas, no matter what.
Sometimes
every day of the week.
How many people are Discord? Your Discord is pay. It's part of your pay. Yeah.
Yeah. You got
And how many people are in your Discord?
Well, the Patreon is like 4,800, but you don't have to join the Discord. I think Discord's like close to 4 probably.
Yeah, I can look right now.
I haven't etted everyone in a minute, and that's kind of the only way that I know how to figure out how many people are in the Discord. Just to send a notification of 4,000 people's phones. Just be like, "Yo, merch is live."
I don't know how you even see this, to be honest.
Doesn't it say on the main page, like at the top?
I don't know.
All we know how to do is say. I've even gone in.
Literally almost exactly 4,000 members. We're just like a couple away. Crazy.
So who has a worse diet, John? You or Joe Coscarelli?
Oh yeah, when we're at Finelli, these motherfuckers, it's like mozzarella sticks, hot dogs, and
chicken tenders. Don't skip on the ketchup.
And by the way, all those things are delicious and fire. But it is hilarious to see two grown ass men
Joe's like,
on
I'm
a
getting
fact-
married. I'm getting married next week.
Joe's literally also having a baby. His wife,
yeah,
Brent's
that's right,
having
yeah.
a baby.
Congrats to the
He
Coscarellis.
just put out the photo proof.
Yeah.
Who has a
He's got his
worse-
own Adonis on the way.
That's true. We're putting him to work.
What do you think of
immediately.
Adonis' his debut?
Grammy?
Feature and then the
Grammy,
full length.
Grammy incoming.
Beautiful gowns. So
Who has the worst diet?
who has the worst diet? I have a worse diet.
Okay.
I have to confess that I have a worse diet. Joe, twice, I think in the last 2 years, Joe has done Whole30.
Once for his wedding, right?
He told us that, yeah,
And
yeah.
I have to be honest, he looked so radiant. I was literally like the first time he did, I was like looking at him. I was
glowing.
like, you look incredible. Like you look like you just been on a beach. And he was like, no, I've just like eradicated like all sugars from my diet.
True.
And I was like, I can't even
All
imagine what
fudge
that would
rounds.
look like. It's unthinkable. I think probably on average, I have a worse diet, but some of his troughs are so
Yeah.
crazy.
He's like the Kanye of snacking.
It's so nuts. Like he'll be like I'll find something and I'm like, surely you've not had this terrible thing. And he'll be like, not only have I had that, but I've had like the 4 other flavors of that.
Right. Yeah.
And it's mind-boggling to me. But I think on average it's probably me. And
Are you guys
I would take pride in that.
Sweets or salts? Like, what's your vice?
I'm salty sweet. Oh, salty sweet. I like the combination
Like
of the two.
combination.
Yeah.
Our boy Chuck just brought you guys some Percy Pigs back. The
Those are
gummies
really
back
good.
from the UK.
Really good.
And shout out to our boy Chuck. We
Shout out,
appreciate
Chuck.
our little. We're just riding his coattails, so we appreciate the little TF shout out.
Yeah.
What is, speaking of snacks, what is like the best snack that you've had recently that you would love to put the audience onto? And by the way, if people aren't aware, John and Joe review snacks.
At the end of every episode.
What percentage of every episode is devoted to snackage? And what are the brass tacks? What does Salzburger New York Times think of that?
So it's the last 5 to 10 minutes of
Yeah.
every show.
And the show's like an hour?
Shows like an hour to an hour 15.
Nice, like-
so the last 5, so it's like 10 to 15%. Snackage. Okay, so I really liked the Buc-ee's beaver nuggets.
Okay.
Which I had not previously
Shout out to
had.
Texas.
Yeah, I had not previously had.
I don't like them.
You don't like beaver nuggets?
No, because the first time I went by a Buc-ee's, with my wife who's
Yeah.
in Texas, and she's like, we have to, and you're getting all the the nuggets, which is the big thing, not for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the coating or the texture? Or?
You know what? I think it's probably both. Like, I'm not a big Cracker Jack guy. I don't like caramel popcorn, that kind of adjacent
Okay.
stuff. Not for me personally. But you fucked with it heavy.
To me, we actually are still chipping away at like the mega bag that we got for the Maren Morris episode.
Yeah.
Like every week I have like a handful, and like eventually I'm probably like 3 or 4 more.
Handful's
weeks
not
in.
so bad.
Yeah. And then I really wish I could remember, but there's someone we work with who brought us some like honey butter covered almonds, like from K-Town, I think. Like
Sounds
some like
delicious.
pulled it out of a store like on 31st Street or something.
Salty sweet.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Like probably the best snack we've had.
Damn.
And it was out of control. I don't know what the brand is. I can send you a
Right.
picture of it.
5
Like,
mics.
Gotta hit
out of
K-Town after
control.
this.
Truly. So special. And also like I want
Such a special snack.
it really is such a special snack. That's sincerity right here. Also, like we were taking suggestions. We've had people drop stuff off at the office. I have colleagues who say that they're going to bring us stuff from their preferred stores and supermarkets and bodegas. So like, it's a never
right now,
it's never
number
ending
one.
quest.
Number one.
Honestly, it was the honey butter almonds was
Followed
incredible.
by the Buc-ee's.
Followed by the beaver
Nuggies.
nuggets. Those were the two.
What sucked so far or recently?
We
of note?
just did. I think they were Hong Kong Oreos. One is like mango flavor, maybe.
The stunt Oreo cottage industry is out of control.
Also, fruit and chocolate is a dangerous combination.
It's
Maybe
really,
cherry,
really
the
rough.
rough strawberries, but yeah.
The smell, like there were two, the mango one and then the other one. I don't know. It was like some kind of like red flour on the outside. I don't remember what it was. You know what it is?
Was it like Was it like the red bean paste?
No, it was not bean based.
Okay. Was it sakura? Cherry blossom
It
flavor?
was not.
Okay.
We did like the Google Translate thing on, it, but I'm forgetting. But anyway, those.
You want to try and pronounce the Korean?
No, because that clip we're not gonna have.
No, yeah. By the way, there's also a microphone for you.
Yeah. But those were rough.
Yeah.
Like really, really
But
rough.
speaking of cherry blossoms and giving flowers, Oreo, I feel like pioneered the stunt flavor, and now we live in stunt flavor. Like there's a new snack.
We're in Stunt Flavor Town.
Yeah, we really are.
Guy Fieri,
Yeah.
come on the pod.
Fieri.
Come on this pod and also come on my
every
pod.
pod, bro.
Come on, like honestly.
Come on my face, dude. That was John. That was crazy, dude. I can't believe. Hey, yo, what the fuck, bro?
Yo, what's Salzburger gonna say?
Shout out the fucking mayor of Flavortown.
What's on your Mount Rushmore snacks? Top 4 unranked all time.
Dude, I'll say anything.
Anything?
I'm so glad there's. I'm so glad.
Who was
there's
in Paris?
I'm so glad there's video evidence of this. Just in case.
Like, look at the
there's a
timeline,
court-
look.
In case there's a court case that ever
Well,
comes up.
let's make sure that the fucking prosecutor pays $10 to get the Patreon fucking
please.
video, dude.
All right, Mount Rushmore. No, $5. What's Mount Rushmore snacks?
Oh, 5 for the guest, right?
Doritos,
All time. Unranked.
Okay.
taquitos, Cheetos,
Double-
Fritos, Doritos.
Double stuff original Oreos.
OG. Would you dip them
How
in
do you?
milk?
Yeah. What's your
No,
process?
see, to me, that's like, why are you violating the structural integrity of the thing?
do you untwist and do the cream first?
Depending if I'm feeling, if I'm feeling saucy.
You crack it open and go cream first.
If I'm feeling creamy. Do you ever drink? Oh no, you don't
No,
drink.
I don't. I don't even know.
Drink.
Pharrell's cream, but with a Q.
No, because I don't drink.
Right. But remember that?
I do.
That was
I think I
awesome.
have
It
like
was
a promo something. Of
It was like strawberry yoo-hoo liqueur.
That actually, like, if I were to drink,
A
sounds
little
like
DJ Steve. If you want diarrhea.
something to clear the system.
A little queen, please.
Are we doing drinks as well for snacks?
Yeah. Sure.
Sure.
Like, do you,
What?
what's
No.
your guys? What's your guys take on YooHoo?
I haven't had it in a minute, but I'm sure it fucking is still incredible.
It slaps.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have Hershey syrup in milk.
Rather have a beer.
Oh, fascinating.
But also like Nesquik and Ovaltine and YooHoo. These are all, they're not chocolate milk. They're their own thing. Like,
Yeah.
YooHoo is you.
yeah,
So
YooHoo is like chocolate drink, but to
that's
me,
what you
like
want.
YooHoo in a can, there's something like extra chalky about
Damn,
it.
when was the last time I can't remember the last time I saw one of those.
They're
all-
probably still sitting around from the 90s.
Yeah, for sure.
Like anyone I've
I
had
feel
is
like
probably expired.
YooHoo is in every bodega.
No, it's
but
hit
in the
or
bottles,
miss.
but in
It's
the
hit or
bottles.
miss.
Oh, you mean like specifically a can of
Yeah,
YooHoo.
no, but even bottles are hit or miss. But the cans,
Crack a cold one.
Yo,
get a 12, keep a 12 pack in the fridge.
You coming home from a long day of watching concerts, and you're just like, babe, let me get a 6 out of the fridge. It's fucking YooHoo, dude.
Honey, the mountains are brown.
Oh man. The running joke on the podcast on Deluxe is that because I don't like spicy at all, but
Yeah.
I do like Cool
Ice
Ranch.
Spice.
I do
Okay.
like except Ice Spice. I do like Cool Ranch Doritos, but I find them spicy.
What are you, fucking
There's
Swedish?
literally
bro?
the word cool in the name.
Yeah. You Swedish? Like, what is that?
sorry.
Cool Ranch is for people that are like a normal Dorito
I'm
is
so
too.
sorry.
Damn, you don't like spicy snacks? That's a
Yeah,
whole fucking
dude.
I know.
realm.
You're missing
I know.
out. Crazy.
Like
It's
I
not worth
think-
the pain.
No, to me it's not. But there's like Joe, I think, is like saving up a couple of like unusual spicy snacks to absolutely ruin me
Sure.
towards the holiday season.
Like Paquito one chip challenge
Oh,
chips.
well, that's-
yeah, send me to the hospital.
Which are
That'll
now.
ruin it.
Do you think we'll do numbers if I absolutely am
die?
hospitalized? If I
If you
die
die
or
on
am
pod? Yeah,
hospitalized
for
on
sure.
pod?
On the record, Jon Caramanica has the palate of a colonial child. He would be killed by a spicy nacho cheese Dorito.
Sad but true.
Yeah.
Also, candy bars, Score bar.
What is that?
What the
dude?
fuck is. Wait, SKOR?
SKOR.
Oh, they're very thin, right?
Yeah, they're
fire.
thin. They're like a thin
European?
toffee. It's
I don't
fake
think
European.
so. Yeah, fake European.
So it's a thin layer of crisp toffee covered in milk chocolate. It's not complicated at all. The crack on it is so strong.
bracken.
It's like like in the
Cracking like
chiropractor,
Reagan.
on the chiropractor,
yeah.
TikToks. It's that level.
Cracks
of
like
crack.
a TikTok chiropractor.
Did you see the one with Did you see the one with Exhibit that was just going around the other day?
No.
Some chiropractor cracked Exhibit.
Crack my ride, dude.
It's extremely
How are you
intimate.
doing? How's Exhibit doing?
Apparently in need of a crack.
Yeah. Was that with you? So Cool Ranch?
Cool Ranch and
is
Score
good.
bars, double stuff Oreos,
And
Yoo-hoos.
YooHoo.
and YooHoo.
Honestly,
sounds like a
John,
night.
I was gonna say sounds like boy dinner, dude. Yeah. Straight up,
Boy
bro.
breakfast.
Yeah, right. Yeah, when you wake up at 3, basically.
What's your favorite thing about potting with the homie, Joe Pasquarelli?
Ooh.
The thing about I've known Joe for I've known Joe in essence since he was in college.
Too long? Have you known him for too long?
It's not a possible thing. But what I find
You knew
striking
him before he wore all black.
Nah, I pretty much mostly wore black. But it is I would like to hear your opinion on Joe's style.
It's uniform.
Yeah, I mean it's a chic uniform.
Yeah.
He loves to hear it.
It's the New York media hack.
Yeah, I would
right?
say it's the safe New York media fit.
I have tried to do a thing on every episode. I've worn a different pair of shoes or sneakers on every episode.
Okay, Joe the Puma.
I'm so sorry.
John La
I
Puma.
wanted to do something for myself to keep it interesting and keep it fun.
Yeah.
But every time I show up and Joe's just like wearing like a black sweater.
Yeah.
I've known Joe a really long time, and you think that I wonder if you guys have this. I feel like I can anticipate all his moves, and he still will surprise me. He'll still say some shit, and I'm just like, that's a bizarre fucking take.
He did just tell Guy Fieri to come on his face.
And like, how did you arrive? And also, like, who knows? And also,
I
like,
drove in a Camaro. That's how I arrived at that
you
one.
did. Also, like, you know someone a long time, you understand not just their current perspectives, but what it took, what they walked through to arrive at their current perspectives.
Through the wire.
Yeah, not no. And so when he comes out with a perspective or a thought that I'm shocked by, it makes me sort of momentarily question, like, have I actually, like, how well do I know you, even though I've known you for like 12 to 13 years? It's bizarre.
Yo, Joe,
Walk a mile, my black forces.
Yeah. Yo, Joe, you switched up. You changed, bro.
I will
takes
say,
the trash.
did Joe, I don't want to give away too much about Joe's sartorial side, but like when he was on the show, did he talk about the group chat that he has that's completely devoted to all black sneakers?
No. But
So
our
him
group chat
I'm not
with him
in
is-
that group chat, but it's a group chat with him and a couple of his friends.
Are they plotting B&Es? But Jesus.
But anytime
Tim
there's a
Cook on
new
there?
sneaker or a sneaker they stumble on that's all black, they
just
all
go
wear all
crazy.
black. So they
Triple
just
black
go-
boys.
But that
What's the
couldn't be
name of the
me.
group chat, real quick?
I don't pretend to
'Cause it
know.
can get problematic real
I don't-
quick.
I don't pretend. Wow. I don't pretend to know. I don't wish to know.
Yeah, that's when we do. You remove yourself from that.
I would like to be removed from this narrative. But from like, at least for me, I think at some point, probably at the end of the year, we'll do an episode where I dress as him and he dresses as me.
Oh, hell yeah.
That'll be
Does
amusing.
he think you loving style and
He thinks
fashion
it's
is
stupid.
facetious?
Yeah,
like,
he thinks it's stupid.
Like
think he thinks it's-
superficial?
No, I just think he thinks it's like a dumb thing to care about.
Okay. Yeah.
But versus like fucking like country music.
Yeah. I love how you're thinking of the dumbest genre of music. But it's surely not intelligent dance
But as
music.
a fellow,
That's not IDM.
as a fellow critic, he can't appreciate like the fact that you like the I don't know, like the
I just think that
warp and the weft of it.
no, there's got your warp in my weft.
Damn. That's what she said.
Yeah. I just think that it's a little bit eye rolly for him.
Okay.
Like it's just a thing that he doesn't seem to want to devote any mental energy
Damn, we should
to.
have had this on a fucking podcast.
What's his stupidest obsession?
Like in style.
No. Because you
Raising a family?
We all get along because we're kids.
Marital bliss.
No, this is
Unconditional love from a child.
We've always gotten along as long as we've known you because we are enthusiasts about a lot of similar things, but we have the fundamental, style element as a foundation for our friendship.
Yes.
But what's Joe's like fixation or hobby or enthusiasm that you think is the most frivolous?
Did you roll your eyes at?
Yeah. Does he have one?
I've really got to
He's
think.
perfect.
No, I've really got to think this through because there are things that he's obsessed with, and I share the obsession, but maybe not at the same fever pitch.
Yeah. Like what?
I hope that he will not find it unseemly that I say that there is no better sort of like plugged in gossip person that I know.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
I think he's like maybe 2 or 3 clicks more into it than I am, but I don't think it's frivolous at all. And if anything,
That's
I
like the basis
enjoy
of him and
it.
Nomi Fry's friendst right?
You got to ask them.
Okay.
You have to
Can't
have them
tell their story.
Damn,
You
who's the
wanna call-
little fucking gossip now,
I'm
James?
just simply saying, you're really
behind the
out here
paywall,
outing
right?
people.
You little
You're outing
fucking
their secrets.
cunt.
We're behind the paywall.
So I think that's something that and I see it not just as an obsession, but a skill. I think he's exceptional at it. Like it's legitimately
Slinging hot goss.
It's really like
He's like the
it's-
eunuch in
it's
Game
a
of
joy.
Thrones.
It's a joy to watch. Obsessions that are
See, like I don't know, like people that are into like Star Wars or Harry Potter.
no. I think
Trying to
he's
think
like
of what's
only
the
into rap.
wackest
he's
shit.
really like filtered out. He lives a very like monastic isn't quite right, but it's like he lives a very
Well, he fucks because he's a kid, so he's not a.
He
He's
lives a very
fucks once.
streamlined life.
Okay.
I think in terms of interest sets.
And you live a very maximalist life.
I do live a maximalist life, but I'm
John
trying.
lives hard, bro.
He
It's all those damn yoo-hoos.
he watches. I mean, we both watch a lot of reality television.
Ooh, what are you watching right now?
He watches a lot more movies than I do.
Ugh.
Like I
Not more than me, baby.
can't speak on it. We're both obviously like Golden Bachelor, Survivor, things.
How
like
is
that.
Golden Bachelor? It's not sad?
It's very sad. Are you
tear
kidding me?
jerker? Okay.
Oh my god. It's. I mean, this
Crying every
is.
night?
You should have Gary here. Really.
They're only 1 hour
First of all, they're
episodes,
definitely
right?
dressing. Yes, they're 1
Okay.
hour episodes. They're dressing Gary. I wonder if it's Laura Piana. Like I feel like they're kind of like spiffing him up. Those slip-ons, maybe. I can't tell.
But you're on the network
those
tip.
saggy
You're not on-
balls-
I
and
do.
some
I don't.
Keton.
I think if you're going to go reality television, you got to go OG. You have to go 1.0. You have to go CBS.
You guys are Survivor guys. I know
much
that,
so,
which
yeah.
like
We're
I
Bravo
can't,
boys.
I can't get into.
No, like Real Housewives, like after like the second season of whichever the first iteration was, I was literally like, "This is a hateful show." Like this is
Well,
like
you
best-
saw what Ramona Singer said recently? Yeah,
is
hate,
that-
bro.
Okay, I was like, this is actually potentially like bad for the country, and I just tapped out.
You are correct, sir.
That's why it slaps.
Yeah.
That's why Bravo slaps.
I had
Because
to
it's
make-
bad
I had to
for
make
your
a choice.
brain.
Bravo to
I know.
us is Kanye to you. It's like, bad for the country, but
Okay.
let's observe.
I
also
can't,
Kanye
I can't wait
me
for
as
your
well.
Bravo book.
Yeah.
Love that.
Are we
Speaking-
talking about clothes?
Yes, well, I want to ask you.
Okay. Phew.
Have we not?
To some, Joe Coscarelli, it might be eye-rolly, your obsession with clothing and fashion and style and menswear. But whatever happened to the Critical Shopper column, which is a fucking goated, vaunted column that you had for, I don't know how many
A lot
years,
of
but
years,
it's
like
not, it
almost
hasn't
10.
been around. So
No.
where's it at?
So part of that is pandemic stuff.
Sure.
Obviously, you couldn't physically shop, and a lot of things were closing. I've started to think about Critical Shopper kind of like Punked. Like Punked had to go away. No, seriously.
Dude, I love your brain, bro.
There was a certain point in like the Punked 1.0 arc where like
Did
every
Critical
cele-
Shoppers support Danny Masterson? Is that what you're saying?
James.
Okay. Punked 1.0.
So
Had to
Punked
go away.
1.0. So Punked 1.0
sucked.
Yeah, well, it had to go away because every celebrity, anytime something
Yeah,
even
yeah, yeah.
slightly unnatural
Like,
happened, they're like,
punked.
"Oh, is Ashton Kutcher here?" Like,
It became a verb. I've been
A victim
punked.
of its own
Yes.
success.
Yes.
Right.
And so one of the sort of conceits of Critical Shopper was that it's anonymous. And so at a certain point, I'd go into a store and get made. So that's
Yeah.
not helpful.
Sure.
But also you sort of like run out of approaches to the stores because I've tried, after 10 years, I've tried so many different approaches. There's like some old column where I literally wrote the column in the form of like a letter from like a child to his grandparent. Like I was like, just like trying
On your
anything.
Gabe said we're into movements type shit. Shout out
Really?
Chris Ryan,
No,
bro.
truly though.
Yeah.
Truly. And so I was trying all these different approaches, but also for the most part, I began to think that I couldn't honestly go into a new store cold, tell a story that hadn't been told. Like there wasn't enough turnover in the stores, and I felt like I couldn't do it, and I felt like I was getting made like here and there.
Right.
And I was like, it should go away. I was already feeling that. Pandemic obviously accelerated that. But it's like Punked in that. Could it come back?
Ooh.
Breaking news.
Could it come back? I'm
Do
simply
you want it
saying.
to come back? Do you think the time is right for it to come back?
I think we're on the. I think if not now, next year.
Okay.
I think we're like on the verge.
It's November.
I just woke up. How would I know that? Literally,
what
how would
month
I
is
know
it?
that? Yeah, I think sometime soon because also I want to be able to have new things to say about stores that are opening, and I feel like I'm finally seeing stores that are telling different narratives.
Well, let's name them. 'Cause,
No. I'm saving. No, I'm gatekeeping.
But so is New York retail? Are we so fucking back?
I wouldn't say we're so fucking back, but we're on the path to something.
I do think that the old fucking line that we had was like New York retail is fucking trash, it's terrible. But I do think that there are some stores that are doing things differently, are have like a critical eye towards like their buy and what they're stocking that is different and not just repetitive of like the same old
you
hits.
name one.
Colbo,
Yeah, of course.
Quava.
Oh, I thought you were saying Quavo.
The rapper?
Yeah, no. Yes.
Quava in the West Village. Shout out
Yes.
Justin.
Yes.
Colbo. Blue and
Colbo silhouettes, much more your silhouette than mine.
Sure,
I would
yeah.
say more yours than
Yeah, no,
Lawrence's.
definitely not mine.
Definitely
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool, but yeah.
I don't wear my pants at the titties.
You know, like like a lot of fabric texture there going
Sure.
crazy. I bought
Very
when
tactile.
Karu had a pop up there.
Yes, that's right.
I bought a jacket from him there.
Shout out Kartik.
Yeah, that's an important store. That's an important store that I've pointed people to, and like there are people who like visit from out of town, and I say if I know what their style is, I'm like,
absolutely.
there's like if it's a specific thing, I will just direct them right there.
I think there might be. They might have like overlap with like some CHCM, but like I think that their brand list is probably like maybe the only place in the city where you can find a lot of those brands.
Yes.
And touch them.
Yes.
You can buy them obviously.
And
in a lot of
they're-
I mean,
places.
one of
They're
the real
breaking
issues
brands too, yeah,
one of
for
the real
sure.
issues with a lot of like younger but high end brands is that there isn't anywhere you can touch them
Right.
anymore, and that's a real struggle. And I think part of the reason that I miss Shopper, but I feel like I'll interested in bringing it back at the right moment is I want there to be a critical mass, not just of new brands, but also new places where you can go and actually physically touch the thing.
Are you going to start wearing like a fake mustache just so you don't get made like Pete Wells?
No, I'm just gonna wear this hat, and people will think I'm lying. Yeah,
Like, oh, watch out, he's going to steal.
I too am 6'3".
yeah. On a good day.
Yeah.
The LVs
But
on.
that's but to me, like I think I do think of it like punked. Like I think it has to go away, and then when it comes back, if it comes
How
back when it comes back,
long has
special.
it been shelved since?
I think we've had a couple. There were a couple of like sort of one-offs in like 2021, but in terms of like full time, I think it's 2019 is really.
Oh, wow.
when we
Damn,
realized it. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
What was the last store to get the critical shopper treatment?
Fuck if I know. Do your Google.
I remember being with you in the Isaiah store and doing
Incredible.
critical shoppers. Like at the time, I was like, I've peaked.
It's incredible. Like honestly, like shopping with you. There's actually a really fascinating backstory that you don't know about that day.
What happened that day?
It's not that.
You
It's,
had one too many yoo-hoos, and we're like, let me call Lawrence, see if he's available.
Yo, we are. We're stanced up off the yoo-hoo.
Glowed up.
I will say this. That day, the context of that day was there was an incredible, like, long-running cloud of sadness that had been preceded that for like a couple of weeks. But like I was doing the column, I think pretty much every 2 weeks. Like it spread out as it went later on, but at that time there were so many stores. I almost felt like I was playing catch up. And going there with you was genuinely like such a pure joy for
Get
me.
in, loser. We're going shopping.
It was such a pure joy. No,
That's beautiful to hear,
It's
man.
fascinating. Like I know this is like an unexpectedly intimate and vulnerable thing to say.
Okay.
But it was such a moment of pure happiness for me to experience that store with you
Fuck
at
yeah,
that
dude.
moment in your life, in your career, and also me coming off of like a particularly weird 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, shit.
That intersection, and then walking out with a fucking $2,500 suede jacket. Incredible.
That's right. I remember being like, who the fuck is going to like pay for this? I was like, what is going on?
No,
This man
He's like,
blows
don't worry,
backs.
I'm ready for styles.
Don't worry, you're about to read 2,500 words on it tomorrow. But that is honestly, go shopping with your friends, guys.
It's honestly, I have too many friends who do not enjoy shopping, and I find it bizarre.
Yeah.
I once, you mentioned Chris Ryan earlier. There was a time when myself, Chris, Zach Barron, Sean Fennessy had taken a guy's trip to Palm Springs. And we drove back to LA and we went to the outlet malls. Like, where's that outlet mall? Like Palm Desert or whatever.
Maybe.
It's like where True Detective Season 2 happens.
It's
True Detective Season 2.
Vinci.
yeah. No. It's basically the Woodbury Common. It's basically the Woodbury Common of Los Angeles.
Yeah. It's high end shit. Like,
And it's all high end.
was
And
this you're out from your brain? You're like, this is my idea because Fantasy was a GQ guy.
all me.
Okay.
It's all me. And my main takeaway from that afternoon is I probably spent like 90 minutes in the Cuccinelli store. And with each minute, Chris Ryan was just like,
Come on, bro. Yeah.
I could feel even from outside the store, like I'm just in there like
He
trying
needed
on
the
cashmere-
husband cuck chair at every
Yeah,
fucking
no, but I'm just in there
Zara.
like trying on cashmere sweaters. I'm having a great time. Like, oh yeah, I'd love that cut of jean. I'd love to try that on. And I can feel Chris outside being like,
Daggers.
I will absolutely rip your legs.
You got to go with the right homie.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to
Homies.
pick your,
Yeah.
that's absolutely right.
pick your
Speaking of the homies.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of your style writing in the New York Times, why did it take so fucking long for your ALD article to come out, John?
Oh, that's right. That was dropped in July.
I honestly totally thought that was going to be the first question.
No, we needed an hour VA.
No. 'cause
Okay,
that-
so
yeah.
I did.
And that came out in July, and this is November.
Yes, no, but I did think just because it was, I know the subject of a lot of conversation for a long time. Okay, so as you guys know,
Also, we don't need a serious answer, but it's just our way to start talking.
But there's
about
a genuine, answer, which is
I don't want to get into trouble here.
No. I did a shopper on ALD, and that's one of the shoppers where I got made. Teddy made me. Like literally,
Teddy did.
Teddy made like himself. Like I walked, like I literally just like it was like
You got a hey, how you doing?
It was a classic early ALD day where outside there's like 200 people, and I'm walking by and I'm like, this is the perfect day.
Yeah.
I didn't have it planned,
right?
But I was like, this is a perfect day for me to go to the
Script wrote
store.
itself.
Literally, there's too many people. Nobody's gonna know. I'm just gonna slide in. It's gonna be nothing. I come in from across the street and I'm kind of like navigating through the crowd, and like immediately Teddy's like, hey,
Yeah.
and he's like, I know who you are, and I was like, I literally didn't even get to the sidewalk.
Damn.
And he made me.
It's good what he does.
To me, after that shopper came out, I had high hopes for what ALD would become, but I wanted to think about it and give a little bit of space to it. Once I realized the direction things were going, and I thought the design was coming together and growing and evolving, that was before the pandemic. So the business model of ALD changed a lot during the pandemic. They went from a kind of wholesale model to an in-house model.
Yeah.
And also, the store closed and then the temporary store opened.
Right.
And so I had probably like 2 or 3 time windows where I was like, now's the time. And then some big thing would happen. And I'd be like, this is a weird moment to drop.
This is the story of your fucking life, bro. Teddy, Kanye.
Yeah, true.
I don't think of them as
No time,
hand in
no
hand.
time like the present.
But when you do, but like one thing I am grateful
the
for.
timeline of geniuses.
But I am grateful to work at a place where they give me the latitude to say, okay, if the story's evolving, the story's changing, like we don't have to run it this week, like do it on the timeline that feels right. And so ultimately, when I knew Mulberry was reopening and understood what the scale of that was going to be, and also what it was going to look like and what it was going to say about the brand, that seemed like the right time. So here we are.
Got a question.
Why
A
am I
lot
there?
of luminaries quoted in that article. Why wasn't my buddy here to my left? Why wasn't he quoted in the piece?
Because he's on Flow Team.
yeah.
Oh, really?
But
Wait, so you were just like, he's compromised?
Yeah.
What's it's totally fair, but what's hilarious about
Dirtbag,
that?
on the other hand,
Yeah.
Anti-Flow Team.
Yeah.
anti-flow.
Anti-Flow.
Yeah. He takes his milkshake.
Yeah, like that. I didn't know actually if he would do it. Like I don't know him. You know,
Alex?
Yeah, I don't know him personally.
You thought he might be like, nah, I'm good.
I don't know. I don't know him like that. I never met him in person. I know you guys socialize with him.
Yeah.
Like I don't socialize with him.
Sure.
So I just didn't know if he would pick up the phone or if he would, and he did. And I thought he had a good spirit about it.
In any story, you need the other side. You need the villain or the other side.
But
right?
also, like to me, the villainy, and this is something it was.
Well,
actually-
I mean,
a multitude of voices.
But it was interesting.
Sure.
It was
Right.
interesting
Shannon
to
Hartman.
even over the course of the time that I was doing the story and spent with Teddy. Even I think Teddy's own approach to how stuff like that function, like in the meme ecosystem, I think initially was like,
Oh, yeah. We've seen it firsthand.
I'm just saying, like initially, like probably a lot more stressed about it, and at a certain point, probably made peace with it. And look,
Or the other
y'all
way around.
don't know.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
I'm telling you based on my conversations. But understanding that, frankly, if you're not having memes made about you, maybe you're not hitting.
Oh, right. Well, if you don't have haters, you ain't popping. I mean, that's a tales all the time. Just like I was continuously told that I was going to be quoted and then actually never was. In your honest opinion,
Is there just like real quick? Is there just like a New York Times ban on quoting Lawrence? Like he didn't get quoted in the Throwing Fits profile.
I'm doing terrible, bro. No, that's not even a joke, dude.
No, I know.
Fucking Ortonfed dubbed me. He literally spent more ink on James's pants than he did
Not these.
on the words from one half of the only podcast.
Can I ask a sincere question? Like, do you guys in any way coordinate outfits?
We have a lot of
There's
another
we have
process.
we have to uncoordinate.
Yeah.
That's the hey.
And
text,
what sucks
what's
is
up, what are you wearing?
as the host, you would think that I have home field advantage, but it's more that I have to wait until Lawrence shows up and then dress around
him.
Yeah.
But if we are going to like a party, it's like, yo, are you wearing? And then it's like,
It feels like a leather night. You wearing the leather?
Exactly. Depending on the weather, it's like, let's go through the roster of shared Johns where we both have the same thing and who's wearing what.
I have so much good leather. I'm really excited to start
Oh,
wearing.
dude.
So like I've spent
Actually,
the last year buying like off-season leather.
Yeah.
And like I'm
Today
I'm
was, it
going
used to be
hard.
hoodie and short season was the greatest time of the year. Now it's fucking
leather season.
the
weather.
The last quote I got in the New York Times was literally, I love the idea of a man in leather. So I'm not doing awesome. Which was not a misquote, though. Those words came out of my mouth.
Genuine,
I was
but
just like,
aren't you? You're quoted in that critical shopper, right?
I think I am.
Yeah, you're quoted.
Yeah.
No. The
Also,
reason-
that was not a profile about the show. That I know.
Look, that's take it up with Ortved. Look, you're on Flow Team, so
No, I was just using that
Wow.
to transition into this
I say this
idea
with
of,
affection.
in your opinion,
yeah.
do you think that Teddy will ever come on Throwing Fits?
No.
Right. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what I
I
told
don't
because a lot of people are like, oh, wait, get Teddy. I was like, it's never gonna happen. Absolutely not.
No, I mean,
He talks to one man and one man only.
That, honestly, bro, you had a monopoly on his because honestly, the fact that story was drawn out. Not that Ted does any press at all, but it's like now there's a road where we've blocked out. Like how long was that? Was that
I
2
would say
years?
I would say from like handshake agreement
Right.
to execute to delivery.
July.
Let's call it a little less than 2 years.
Power of Jon Caramanica, ladies and gentlemen.
Look, this is also just like I prefer, and if you are watching this and you want to do a story with me, or if you were, it's like anybody
Get in
knows.
line, loser.
No, well, look, I want to work with people who have integrity,
Sure.
who stand on their words.
Is that why you haven't done our profile?
He's on the damn show, dude. No, honestly, bro, I could use a redo.
Mulligan.
Yeah, you want me to get into CMS and just like add in a couple?
Yo,
quotes?
what about a profile in the music section somehow?
you guys?
The C section, baby.
Truly-
No, that'd
Music-
just be you and all your intros. That also just get fucking sidelined, dude.
I want to work with people who really want the thing that I think I can do. And I think that requires a little bit of a leap of faith.
Sure.
Because it's not simply,
Right.
hey, I call you on Monday, interview you on Tuesday, and the piece comes out on Wednesday. It could take a long time. And with Teddy,
Right.
from the beginning, I told Teddy it would be longitudinal.
Right.
And even, frankly, the original idea that I was working with ended up getting kind of fucked up by some COVID stuff, like
Okay.
how the story was going to be structured.
Of course, yeah.
I had a totally different, much more like embedded at the office, like et cetera. And it just like never quite came together. It was also just hard to, my life is I'm
Right.
traveling and doing a bunch
Sure.
of stories.
Pandemic.
But I think like even like the Ben Slacken thing,
Yeah.
I first mentioned that to him maybe in February.
And Mr. Slacken.
Mr. Slacken.
Ekes out.
I first mentioned that in February, but it took a long time for me to have the time to get the ducks in order in the office,
Right.
to get design right, to get
Right.
photo
Well, that's
right.
an interact. The layout of that is so
Right, but that requires a little bit of a leap of faith on his part because he could have been like, "Fuck you."
But people don't think you're a capper. That's not your reputation.
but like,
there
there
are
are-
reporters who
There
I
are
think
reporters
people
who
look
cap.
at that way.
Right, but I would love to be able to deliver everything on like a 1 day turnaround. I just can't.
Before we go to Ben, I just have I want to make one joke and then a two-parter about ALD. First is
this a joke?
Yeah, the first joke is who is responsible for writing the headline that appeared in print?
The headline on the cover or the headline on the text page? Like you mean the cover line?
Yeah, over the picture.
It wasn't me.
Can you share what it was for the people who aren't familiar?
He designs vibes.
Okay, so
And this man edited them.
and then the two-part question is Yeah.
Okay, so like
Do you get to push back on that, or is that just
Yeah,
like,
bro, like,
you
do you
submit your
know?
shit and
I didn't know until it came out.
it
The
was
way
over-
that at the times just to be a little inside just to be a little inside baseball because there's just things that like I have control over and things I don't have control
Yeah.
over.
Just like life, baby.
There is so like it is very much I have control over the text and I have input into some of the display copy online.
Yeah.
The print hub, which is a separate department, handles the creation of the print section.
fucking print nerds.
And so that process is opaque to me. And
You can't like
yo,
be like, you
Gutenberg, you fucked up.
can't be like, yo, you want some fucking free 550s if you want to, change the vibe, shit. Like,
I
got-
can't. You guys are
Instead
gonna
of designing the vibe, let's redesign
I
his
did
head.
not. I did not. All I can say is I did not see it.
Okay.
I didn't know. I didn't
it's
see
like John
it.
Cena, baby.
And then the real
vibes is a tough word.
Yeah,
vibes is tough.
and then the real sincere two-parter is we talked about Ted clocking you and making you right out the gate.
Yeah.
Then spending 2 years like pretty embedded and close to a subject who clearly respects you so much, you respect him so much. Is it ever an issue where you're like, damn, like now I'm profiling my boy?
Too close.
To be honest, like even though we did connect several times, and also like I probably wouldn't spend that much time profiling a person who I found repugnant.
I would hope not. Yeah.
Right.
No,
But
of course.
Well,
But
you're
don't
writing a
think-
book on.
But I
You would write a book on him instead. Oh,
No,
God,
we
his
got, we got
ass.
5 more hours.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
That's true.
Damn,
About
that's
two
fire.
two changes of clothes for this.
I'm not gonna bust out the ring
I don't
light.
think
It's getting dark in here.
I don't ever think of it in that term. And here's something that I try to be mindful of, which is if, God forbid, someone who I've profiled or someone who I believe in creatively does a gruesome thing tomorrow, I'm also going to have to write that.
Yeah.
And I have to have critical distance, reportorial distance that will allow me to see those things clearly as I see their creative gifts.
Right.
And so I don't think of it in those terms. And it doesn't mean that you don't sort of think about your subjects in a way where you're like, I sort of enjoy spending time with them. But like, on God, I have not seen Teddy since the story came out.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean I'll never see Teddy
He's a hard
again.
boy, and he's also a hard man to get hold of. You know.
But it doesn't
Very
mean I'll
important
never
guy.
see Teddy again.
No, of course
But
not.
like, I am very aware, and I think this actually sometimes with certain subjects actually ends up being weird because their expectation, especially from not doing a lot of press,
It's like you're my friend.
their expectation is
You
that
fucked me,
there's
John.
more there's
Yeah.
more ongoing relationship, and it's not that I don't wish
Yeah.
to have an ongoing relationship, but sometimes the closeness of like, hey, I'm going to check in and
Right.
we're going to talk once a
Yeah.
month or whatever is different than like we're working on.
Or I got to
something.
imagine when you're checking in and like doing your job, and I don't know if this has actually ever happened, but I have to imagine. And then they think you guys are tight, and the story comes out, and you're like, "Yo, what?" And they're like, "Whoa, this is not."
You know,
Whoa, I wasn't even
it's-
quoted in my own profile.
Y'all are gonna have to wrestle that out.
No,
It
me and
hasn't-
Ordved need to wrestle it out. That's what he's asking.
This is the other thing, and this I remember this coming up of all places with Chris Stapleton, the country singer, who was like maybe the like kindest, most warm, like super neutral person of all time. I'm at his house, and he's like, they're all ordering food like from some restaurant, and they're like, "What can we get you?" And I was like, "You can't get me anything." And he's like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "You can't buy me dinner." And he's like, "What? Like that's ridiculous. Like we're ordering from the place. Like just like tell us what you want." And I was like, "No, you're not allowed. Like New York Times ethics rules. Like you're not allowed." And I was like, "I'll give you $30 and like you can add it to the
what's
pile."
your Venmo, Chris
Yeah,
Stapleton?
like basically.
Yeah.
And I had to explain to him. I was like, "Here's the thing.
We're
Like
not
if you
homies,
buy me,
homie.
I was like, if you buy me dinner." You know what's coming next. No, if you buy me dinner and then this piece comes out and you're like, I can't believe he mentioned this thing about me or this thing about my wife or used this quote or so on and so forth. You're going to go on your next interview and be like, I bought the guy from the New York Times dinner.
Yeah.
And then he said that.
I
And
refuse
fuck
to be
him.
blackmailed over raising canes.
No, it's like a running joke
Yeah.
with like publicists who I'm friendly with. You want
How
to
do
get me a glass of water, get me a bottle of water, get me a Coke, no ice.
Sure.
Fine.
How does
But,
it
like,
actually work though? Are you like, yo, here's actual $30 and then I'll just like get a number 6?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
right.
Or I'll just do a totally separate order.
That's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Just like if I'm hosting you and you're like, no, I gotta order again after
Yes,
you.
it is super annoying. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It is annoying. It's
But
inconvenient.
important.
Yeah.
It's ultimately the right thing to
Beds
do.
only.
Yeah.
Or
Like today.
or you just don't eat.
Damn.
Like you just wait until it's done, and then you go to the drive-through on
That's
the way
the
home.
Lawrence method.
Damn. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's true.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that like like if there's like a candy dish that you don't like take a Snickers bar or something.
John, careful.
Whoa, someone
Candy.
just tricked himself into a little treat, dude.
Whoa.
what is
Damn,
that?
dude.
Where-
Okay, so
where'd all these Snickers go?
So a fun size Snicker, but a king size
Hey.
violation of ethics rules.
Could be.
What if it's a fun size sticker that's in the freezer? Because then you take the action of opening the freezer. You know, that's more deliberate than just like
That is
taking
more
out
It's a
the
deliberate.
bar.
goddamn deposition.
The rules are firm. And
What are
the
the
rules
precedent?
are firm,
What's
and
the
they're
precedent?
look. They're firm. And they're firm for a reason.
Right.
And again, it's like I'm not saying. Look, Bill Cunningham used to say, "Don't take anything from them. Don't take anything from them. Not even a glass of water." I will take a glass of water. You know, it's like, but
I will wash it after too.
Yeah.
if they would let me. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's tough. Like I've had situations like you be at someone's house for hours and hours and hours, and they're eating and they're doing something, and you're just just running tape.
Yeah.
All you're
Fucking
doing.
starving.
And then 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11
Drooling.
o'clock. And then by the time you get back to the
Fly on
hotel.
the wall is hungry, bro.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
Yeah.
And
So
do you
that's,
is
it's
that-
destabilizing headaches and.
Is that where your love of snacks came from? You just need to travel with mad snacks
I
just
do.
in case?
I mean, you jest, but like literally, if
No,
I know,
I don't.
No, but I know if I'm.
How
assi-
dare you think I jest about snacks, sir?
If I know that I'm in. If I know that I'm due for a long day of reporting, I absolutely will
Snack
have a
up.
pocket full of like granola bars.
I'll keep
candy
that
bars.
motherfucking thing on me.
I really do. I will always have stuff.
man.
100%.
Wow.
I also like. I mean, I
Followed
have,
by the trail of Mountain Valley fucking crumbs, dude.
Also,
I know
like-
Caramonica's been here.
Here's the thing that I think James maybe might know about from your like weird outdoorsy thing. Are you up on caffeine chewables?
No, just trucker pills?
So it's
Gas
basically like
station
they're like caffeine. They're like black cherry flavored. They're from the Cliff Company, like the
Okay,
Cliff
yeah,
bar,
yeah, yeah.
But they're like a 6-pack of chewables. They're designed for like trail runners and hikers and
And
stuff.
it just gives you immediate injection of fucking sweet
So
calf.
like not all of them have caffeine, but the black cherry flavor does have caffeine. So
Nice.
I will literally order a bulk and have that in my house. And if I know I'm gonna be out on the road and I know I'm dealing with stuff, I'll just carry a few
Those
of
sound fucking fire.
Is this
So,
why most journalists
Am
are
I
just,
not spawn?
is this why most journalists are just fucking cokeheads? Like, sounds easier than getting some Cliff Bar black cherry poppers or whatever the fuck. Yo, just get poppers, bro. Just let that asshole drag.
Yeah, you want to feel like you have vertigo all the time? Get some lunch.
I wish I had some of those when I was laid out in.
Yeah,
Honestly,
In the hotel
honestly,
in Portland.
poppers are fire.
I want to bring it back to ALD.
Yeah.
Do you think ALD, Ame Leondor, is the unequivocal leader?
Is that how
in-
you pronounce it?
Ame Leondor?
That's how you pronounce it.
How do you
pronounce it?
pronounce it?
M-A?
Oh.
No,
Ame.
I thought it was like
Ame.
M-A?
ALD.
Eme?
M-A Leon.
Okay, we'll go back to
ALD
ALD.
if you're nasty.
Yeah.
Do you think that ALD is the unequivocal leader in menswear right now?
Do you mean stylistic? Or do you mean like in like
What do you
how
mean,
are you
man?
using
What do
that?
you mean?
He
No,
said
no.
unequivocal.
If you had to point to just like the most influential brand, besides Ralph, besides Supreme, besides fucking Balenci,
LV or something like
LV. I'm talking about kind of this like middle tier of menswear, not like the high fashion and not like the fucking street shit, but like, you know, that the middle tier. That
It's
that sweet
the
spot.
I mean look, it's the obvious bridge brand between those things. That's clear. And I
Missing
think
link.
to me what's actually really striking about ALD at this moment is ALD is so honed in design wise as far as the story that it's trying to tell. And yet it remains, I would venture to say, heavily unknown by like large stretches of people. Certainly, like I work with people. No, not in your
Like
world.
Hicks?
Not in your
Like
world.
fucking
But even like
idiots?
people I work with who like theoretically have thought about clothes, maybe are not totally plugged into ALD. Obviously, I'm not coming on your
like
show.
Willie Stally? Like who are we talking?
No,
I'm
Willie
sure.
definitely knows.
I don't know if Willie knows.
Really?
Well, Willie probably
Willie,
looks.
if you've made it this far in the episode,
Willie looks at the crowds on Mulberry. And he's like, "What the fuck? I'm trying to park. Hey, I'm
in
trying
my
to park
days, he's like,
here."
in my day, you didn't
Yeah.
wait. You only waited online for gasoline in my day. I do think that there's a huge upside opportunity to tell that story to an even broader part of the population that isn't up on it yet. Do I think that they are the unequivocal leader? I don't know what the answer to that is because I don't know what leadership really means. I
Everyone
don't-
copying your lookbook bar for bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, in that
Everyone
case,
has a
absolutely.
motherfucking chair in their lookbook.
Yes. And I also think Teddy and ALD have an opportunity to do something that a lot of like luxury brands don't. Like luxury brands have spent the last X amount of years being like, how do we maintain our price points and how do we maintain our like luxury aesthetic while also like down marketing the product somewhat
Yeah.
and trying
Logo
to
tees.
reach
Our
What?
customers
Logo
are
tees, logo
dying.
tees. Yeah. And so like
Let's get
how
some
do I
kids
get
up in this
right?
bitch.
So how do I get a 27-year-old
Yeah.
to care about my brand?
Right.
You can say LD
We don't
did
want
it.
kids just making our clothes. We want kids buying our clothes.
But now
Yes.
now ALD can get the people with actual money to buy their clothes.
No, what I think
olds.
to me, what it is, it's that if you're starting up here and trying to come down to an audience, to a
trickle
new
down
audience,
driponomics.
that's hard to do.
Right.
ALD is starting here, and I think piece by piece is going to earn an audience that's going to grow with them into a more classic luxury positioning. So I think ALD might be the first brand 5 to 10 years from now that successfully maintains hold on where they are right now, but also is rethinking what an American luxury brand actually can be. And so I think it's going to be easier for ALD to do that and trend upwards than for a classic LVMH or Kering house to start here and move downwards.
That's totally fair.
That to me seems like if we're going to revisit the ALD story 5 to 10 years from now,
The sequel. Big
to
budget
me,
sequel.
we're starting today. 5 years, 5 years of reporting. But
It's
I
called
think
Heat 2.
basically,
Yeah.
But if we do that, I think what we will see is, in essence, a classic Madison Avenue part of that business while still maintaining the Mulberry part of the business.
Yeah.
And I don't think any of the Madison Avenue brands can reverse engineer. a
No, right,
Mulberry.
exactly.
They can certainly try.
I mean, but look at Ralph. You know, you have Double RL, you had Black Label, you have Purple Label. Like, you add these other parts of your business. So, like,
Are you gonna model in the ALD Sport?
if I'm invited, baby, if I'm invited, dude, I'll get my Tyson Beckford on. AK, I will not be wearing blackface. To be clear,
what, John,
I just meant generally speaking.
where do you think, okay, kind of macro from ALD, like where do you think menswear is headed in 2024?
I was thinking a lot about how dedicated of dressers a lot of the young kids I see like on TikTok or like even just outside downtown or in like the times that I'll go to Ridgewood or Bushwick, or whatever, but like
Kids that put that shit on.
and in so many different ways. And what you're seeing is like a deepening of commitment of a number of different aesthetics, but no single aesthetic that's really unifying.
It's
people.
fragmented.
It's very fragmented, but within the fragments, people are so committed to it. And that's when I was thinking about the similarities between what's happening in music and what's happening in style. That is, I think, what you're really engaging with right now is people are going incredibly deep and committing to a sound, an aesthetic, a silhouette, whatever. And not really worrying too hard if it's in dialogue with a bunch of other people. And so
So you're
Like-
saying getting dressed for yourself,
or getting dressed for like your 20 friends.
your tribe.
Yeah, like super small cliques.
Yeah.
To me, if we're thinking about 2024, I don't think that there's a macro trend. I think what you're going to see is a continued deepening of a number of
Doubling
micro
down.
trends. And everybody kind of walking roads that feel very, very considered, but aren't necessarily in discourse with everybody else.
Well, that's almost why the leadership question's so hard, because it's like leader of like
That's
a
sort of-
motley crew or
That's why I'm struggling with it. I mean, I think ALD is probably as close as a brand can come right now to some kind of cross-generational, cross-scene
Well, it's like
solution.
it's streetwear, prep,
Yeah.
Americana, a little
There's a
Gorpy.
little
choose from.
Gorpy, and also like a little bit like every now and again, like a real attitudinal piece. Like I was at Luke's the other day, and
it's
they
the
had
leather.
they had the leather, and I tried it on. And I was like, it's just a fucking good jacket, and it's like
I feel
not
like
real-
Clint right now.
Yeah, real talk, truly. I almost wore the Cortez pink things just for that.
Yeah.
But
No, but you're right. You can buy the Yankee hat with the script logo. You can buy the uniform sweats.
Yes.
You can get a New Balance collab where it's like, yo, this big fuck you coat. You would have no idea, but this is from.
See,
the
you
same
should have
place.
quoted this man. He's a fucking
Yeah.
ALD. He's an ALD dick riding
Damn,
machine.
Larry.
Wait, so are you thinking next year it's just people are going to commit harder and deeper and more esoteric and like to separate themselves from like defining themselves even harder? Pause.
yes, I also like you guys go to Rogue, like the store.
I haven't been there in a minute, but I was
shout
on the
out
phone
Emma.
with Emma today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
She's
like,
the homie.
so like one thing that I've when I first started going to Rogue or keeping an eye on Emma, whenever last year or 2 years ago, obviously you're seeing like kind of the birth of a Y2K aesthetic. Like you're seeing like sort of like a home station for a lot of kids who are really into that to like gravitate and organize
Mothership.
and organize themselves around. But it's been interesting to watch, even with her events, her pop-ups, her closet sales, etc. The types of folks who are now Rogue adjacent are taking a Y2K as a jumping off point, but making new garments or building closets that are kind of in discourse, but not like Jinko. They're
Right.
not wearing
Yeah, yeah,
Jinkos
yeah.
necessarily. And so just seeing even the fragmentation amongst people who are like 18 to 24 or something, building on what we would have thought would have been like a dominant idea.
Right.
But actually it's already splintered. It barely had like 2 years to form before kids started like moving off in a different
Well,
direction.
that's hyper trends in a nutshell, right?
Absolutely.
But, but this is the positive side of that.
Oh, to me, it's not a negative.
No, right.
Like,
I just want to be clear.
And frankly, it's like a lot more work to keep up with. Like, I'm sure if you're paying attention or trying to keep up, it's a lot more work. But to me, I find it fascinating.
White dreads when? That's when we know it's
How
time
close
to.
are we?
Yeah.
Wow.
When we start seeing the twins in the Matrix sequel, that's when you know it's time.
I mean,
for a little
honestly,
bit of reset.
I feel like you see. Have you guys had Jared? You haven't had Jared Murrows on, have you?
No.
Like I feel like when you
he
see
gonna
some
be
of the
getting
kids.
dressed?
Well, no, I just think when you see some of the kids at Jared interviews in LA, you're just kind of like, oh, you're probably like 3 months away from that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey.
Is he the little Swagapino kid on TikTok?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. The people. I mean,
Everything,
honestly, like
everything avant-garde, incredible. That guy,
real.
yeah.
Before we
Chef's
get into
kiss.
getting dressed, because I feel like that's like he's really interviewing the fucking freaks that I think are probably out in LA because I don't know, they're just freakier out there. But
Just freedom.
real quick before we get into that, what do you think we're leaving behind in 2023 that isn't going to make it? Its expiration date is December 31st, 2023.
I mean, I think this has already been happening, but obviously when we think of the rise of like classic streetwear, like sort of like Supreme and Supreme adjacent stuff, like, and that's nothing to do with like the specifics of what happened with like Tremaine this year or anything like that, but just in general in terms of like how arcs are moving, like I do think some of that stuff is becoming, it's threatening to become like the Abercrombie and Fitch or the Gap of the 2020s, which is to say, like, a lot of people wore it for a lot of time, and it's going to come to visually represent like a time period.
Sure.
But I just don't know if in 2025 or 2030, if it's going to occupy that same place in the overall discourse.
So, like,
But I don't know if
legacies being ruined by the customer base and over proliferation.
I mean, it's tough when you are,
because you can't control who buys your shit.
no, and but this is a problem that like everybody, Supreme has it, obviously, like Supreme or Palace or whatever has it. Teddy has it.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like this is it's a problem that's not particular to them, but I do think that 5 to 10 years from now, we will come to understand the late 2010s and the early 2020s as the peak of like quote unquote the streetwear moment.
Right.
And
you're talking about like a stereotypical close your eyes and imagine the prototypical hype beast.
yeah, like kind of like yes, like kind of.
You don't think that person's
beast.
already dead?
Yeah,
Or that
well-
archetype's already dead?
Or is
I
already
think
a
you guys,
whipping boy.
I think you guys and the people who listen to you have obviously been moving beyond that.
Oh, so we're
for
talking
at
about
least a
people
year
that
or
wear
two.
Yeezy 350s with Supreme on the side. Okay.
Right now.
Alibaba Express.
Right now.
Alibaba Express.
And they're like, I'm putting that shit on.
But I do think that I do think you're starting to see this past year and maybe in 2022, I think you're starting to see people recede from that as an ideology. And it became a real shorthand, I think, for novices to sort of be like, I'm into fashion.
Right.
And then what happened is
I'm wearing the logo.
Right. And then what happened is, especially you look at rappers who use Supreme as an entry point. Now they're wearing, you know, like
Balenciaga?
Alexander DiGenova or
Oh,
whatever.
sure, okay.
You know, that moved really, really fast. And I think this era where those things were shorthand for like I'm a young cool guy, I just don't think that's happening.
But don't you think
anymore.
that even like Amiri is going to age worse, or like Kim Jones Dior? Like we
I
really
will bet you anything that in like 20. First of all, yeah, Kim Jones Dior, no.
Can you guys make the bet right now and then set a Siri reminder for 2030?
Yeah, no, but I will bet anything.
Lawrence's corpse owes me $1,000.
Here's the thing. I will bet anything that whatever like the Dime Square or Ridgewood of like 2040 is,
Oh, no.
they're gonna be wearing a
Des
Miri.
Moines.
They're gonna be
wearing a Miri?
They're gonna be wearing a Miri.
I hope
Market.
So you're just talking about the 20-year cycle?
Yeah, right. Which
no,
is damn.
absolutely. I
But
mean,
but not with the Supreme BOGO.
no, not with the Supreme logo.
That'll be 2035.
But I think like, you know, Amiri, such a defined and crisp aesthetic, not my aesthetic, but like such a defined crisp aesthetic.
Crystallized.
And for a certain period of time, let's call it 2 years, had a certain segment of popular culture in an absolute chokehold.
Yeah, drug dealers.
Yeah.
The entire scammer chic, scammer chic, and Lil Baby.
Joe Coscarelli's book, just in its entirety.
You should have done like a special Amiri cover
Amiri,
edition. It's all shredded.
That
And there's
would-
Python. Collect a coffee table edition.
I'm gonna tell Joe he should do that.
$5,000.
Wood cop.
Read it in my Amiri. We're gonna read it in my Amiri chair.
Yeah. I could fit like 30 books in my Amiris.
One genuinely great Amiri piece, though, we should say.
Yeah, go on.
There is a pool ball cardigan that came out like a year and a half
I know
ago.
exactly what you're talking about. Shut up, dude.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. Isn't that a ripoff of a Stussy?
Sure, still good.
Piece?
Material was really good. I tried it on the store.
Have you
I tried
ever
it on the
bought
store.
any Amiri in your life?
No, never, not
All
once.
right, there you go.
Critical shopper Amiri.
Catch me next year.
Go.
The last time I was in we were in the Amiri store.
Yes.
And we saw
We were
Carl
in the
from
Amiri.
Summer House.
That's like a real thing.
I forgot about that.
You,
Jeremy.
Angela.
Angelo and Jeremy.
What was Carl trying on?
No one recognized him besides me. You guys had no idea what I was talking about.
Yeah.
What was he trying on? I don't know. Fucking jeans. Whatever.
No, he was hitting that
sneakers.
8-ball cardigan. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm simply saying beautiful material,
Coke problem.
sat really well on the body.
All right. John,
Are we okay?
Put down the
we're about
dust
to talk.
jacket.
We're talking about getting dressed.
Okay, I thought you were going to talk about how the denim tiers like sweatsuit is the new Nike Tech.
Yo, for real.
yeah.
I thought that's what you were going to ask.
Can white people wear denim tiers?
So, phenomenal question. I asked Tremaine this specifically.
What'd he say?
He said yes. He said he likes it.
Yeah, if they pay for it, right?
Well, I mean, of course.
White people buy sweatpants too, dude.
That was Lawrence. That was Lawrence. Can I just have a soundboard? Yeah. It's like every time Lawrence says something, it's like
L.
that was like
Larry.
no. I'm just like very struck at how wide that aesthetic has moved and spread, and now it absolutely feels like it's the new Nike Tech.
Have you seen the white kids doing the Spider-Man emoji with they're all wearing denim tiers full sets?
No,
Did you follow Complex on Instagram, John?
no. Shout out Aria though.
Great follow.
It's how I get all my news.
Well, shout out Aria, but no,
That's how I
don't,
see all
don't
my
know.
celebrity Halloween
Yeah.
costumes.
Maybe I do. I don't know. I follow a lot of people on Instagram.
How many people do you follow on Instagram?
Like 6,000.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Well,
That's a lot.
How many guys do you follow?
Like 2,000? Do you ever go through and just like cull the herd?
No.
Really? You
Because you
only add on?
never know when a person that you followed like 3 or 4 years ago might have an incredible creative breakthrough.
What if they like
Like Michael Amiri and his pool car.
I'm being totally serious.
his second act?
2,700.
6,875.
Damn. Are you an unread emails guy? How many unread emails do you have? Or are you inbox zero?
Oh God, no. I mean, the question is, how many read emails do I have?
6.
Yeah, no. I had up until maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, I tried to be the equivalent of inbox zero, which was either I opened it and replied to it,
Yeah,
or I
right.
deleted it.
Oh.
And at a certain point, I mean, I get probably between 500 and 1,000 emails a day.
Because you just read your
No, but like, they're press releases, but like even so,
Right.
Bro, unsubscribe.
No, but those are like like tell publicists to unsubscribe me. Like
Yeah.
I get everything. I get all the emails. And so at a certain point, I only open 10 a day.
It's a fucking block.
And that's all.
I get all the emails.
I get all the emails. But I open maybe 10 a day. But no, inbox zero, no, that seems it would
Impossible.
take me a half hour a day to get to inbox
You
zero.
can just go do select all mark as read.
I don't even want to honor the email's
Okay.
exists
Right.
by taking it that
You're
seriously.
just in an infinity war with Earthlink.
Yes, that's true. Buying extra storage, paying
Yeah.
for extra gigabytes.
I'm spending a Miri money on Earthlink.
God damn, that's
true.
$69 a
Yeah,
month.
John,
Fuck.
you have a new series for the New York Times style section
Yeah.
called Getting Dressed, which you get paid a lump
call
sum.
one step again. One step ahead. Sorry, one
What?
step ahead.
Where do I get Getting Dressed from?
Get it. It's the headline is getting dressed with Ben Slacken, but the actual column name
One
it's
step
confusing.
ahead.
One step ahead.
Okay. Well, shout out the design folks who made that so clear to me. The series is, quote, devoted to some of New York City's most provocative dressers. So my question for you
Strong
is,
word.
Yeah.
are you prepared to have that much blood on your hands by encouraging people to dress out of their fucking minds just to get your attention?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think like are people gonna like
People.
Ben
I mean,
Slacken,
people are already hollering at me. I mean, people are already like.
Oh, they're
trying
pitching themselves.
Ben Slacken set the bar high.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I
he
will
first
say.
came to our attention, I think, when Ed Bravado was like, he's
Yep.
like, yeah, this guy Ben Slacken downtown be dressing crazy.
Yeah.
And then we immediately started following him, and he heard the shout out and was like, yo, let me come on the pod.
He should come on. You should have him on.
We'll go to his apartment.
You should.
How's it smell in there?
Yeah.
I mean, the truth is, it's a lot. It reminds me of what my apartment used to be like in my 20s.
When you were full hoarder mode.
How's your apartment looking these days?
Yeah.
Half hoarder mode.
Because of the bazaar.
Yeah, that's true. So the
Shout out to you,
origin.
the customer.
But did this strike a chord? I feel like this must have gotten the eyes of a lot of like motherfuckers who be putting that shit on there. It's like, yo, I need the Caramanica spotlight.
I felt like the follows in the immediate, like the 24 hours after that posted, like my IG follows was just like all kids with like crazy IG handles and like insane put that shit on.
yeah. Yo, we got to follow Unc.
Real talk, truly. 175 years old over here. Part of my thinking with that column was, I mean, obviously we don't do pure New York street style. Like you can't replace Bill Cunningham in any pure sense.
No.
We do street style like in a fashion week context, like there's photo diaries and things like that.
Party reporting.
But to me, bin slacking is the reason that I came up with this idea, because I was like, here's someone who I'm
Patient zero?
basically.
Wow.
And here's someone I'm fascinated with the aesthetic. It's fully cooked. It's fascinating.
It's sauteed and flambéed.
It is flambéed.
Let them shits drag.
But the thing is, I was like, telling writing a profile of him doesn't communicate how wild a lot of the fits are. Like just me talking about them. So I was like, okay, it probably should be photo driven. And then once I realized
he was wearing 5 pairs of jeans doesn't hit the same as a photo of him wearing 5 pairs of jeans.
And so once I kind of knew that that's what I wanted to tell it visually. That's when you get the photo department involved. That's when you get the design department involved. And that's why it sort of took a while. Like those photos were taken maybe 2 or 3 months ago, but all of that stuff to come together took quite a long time. And I realized that maybe this is going to come out, who knows, 6 to 8 times a year, something like that. And I want to be able to.
Why not once a month? Oh, you don't have the time?
I don't have the time. I mean, partially it's me. It's like I have all the time.
How much reporting went into the Ben Slack?
We did probably 2 real interview sessions in addition to.
Oh,
the
I guess you gotta take all the photos.
There's photo shoot, and then I did probably 2 interview sessions. And I think it'll be more streamlined. Like the more I do, it'll be more streamlined. But to me, I feel like I see people. I wish more often, but at least once a month, I see someone. I'm like, wow, like it could be just a gesture. It could be just like how the pant sits on the leg. It could be like how one top layers over another top. It could be like one piece of jewelry in dialogue with like a glove or something.
Is there a short list in your notes of like who's on Deckington?
Yeah. Like I know the next one has already been shot.
Oh, yeah?
And I feel like I know who the 2 after that are.
Wow, okay.
Oh,
and
well,
then
you shouldn't have.
I know. Thanks, dude. We really appreciate it.
Woo, baby.
And
Maybe
then
Lawrence can get a quote.
I also want to do it in a slightly more broad-based way, which is like it's not just going to be people who dress like who are 22 dress in like the most forward thing.
I was going to say
it could be someone who lives on like 78th and Madison,
some old bitch
who's that was James.
Old woman.
It could be someone who lives up there but does like really unusual things with tailoring,
right?
Something along those lines.
Gotcha. So if bin slacking been the blueprint, it's not necessarily going to be kids that are just wearing like the most expensive, crazy shit in like the craziest way.
But like, I feel like there are other people in that space who like I think do really great stuff and could end up in the column, but it's not going to be like a new bin slacking every month.
Right. There's no new bin slacking. Bin slacking is one.
No, and also like we're at the point where he's been
original.
active long enough that you see the younger generation coming up under him and like mainlining some of that.
What, just piercing their hands?
Coming up under him or just getting caught in his fucking wake of literal garments being dragged on the street.
Yeah. It's actually really striking to see it happen in real time. But to me, I don't like it can't be a column that only focuses on like this. You know, we talked about niches and we talked about like everybody deepening their relationship with a specific aesthetic. Right. It's not a column about that kind of aesthetic. It's a column about people who are the most extra within their specific.
What are some other, if bin slacking is the aesthetic, is the archetype, what are some of the other?
I don't want to give away. I truly don't want to give away.
No, not individuals, but what are some of the other like aesthetics or columns if we're going deep? You don't have to say the figurehead at the top.
I see what you mean.
Do the vertical integration of aesthetics. What are they? If Ben Slackin
the silos. Name the silos.
Yeah, unhoused core.
What? That was Lawrence.
Also, there were photos taken in his house, right?
There are
supposedly, in the fucking fake failing New York Times.
Wow. Are you guys subscribers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep getting asked to bump up. I'm like, yo, I'm good, dude.
I want my
You don't
dad's.
want-
I'm
you
sorry.
don't
No,
want-
I'm good where
access
I'm
to
at. I'm happy
games?
where I'm at.
You don't-
Yeah,
you
no,
don't-
but Jenna is a gamer, so she does the game.
She does Wordle.
Yeah, and all the other crosswords.
Connections?
Crossword.
It's a
Connections?
little over my head.
too
Yeah,
hard.
what's the new shit? Is that
You guys make it too hard.
It's too hard.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, it's too hard.
Well, then it's like
okay,
these
so what
four
are some
words
other-
were in a fucking Jane Austen novel. What?
This is a God. I almost don't want to give it away.
What?
Oh,
But this-
no,
even the
I'm-
silos?
Oh, you got to subscribe to the New York Times.
No,
or
I
some
just
shit?
I feel like there are stories I still want to tell. I can't just
All
be
right,
giving
all
away.
right. We're not
I
gonna
don't
twist your
want to be a
fucking
dick,
arm,
but
bro.
like I feel like there's still some
it's all
stories I still want to tell. Like there's things that I'm working on or things that I've been like slow cooking for a while.
Like Sock from Bushwick. That's a fucking silo, right?
What from Bushwick?
Sock from Bushwick.
Who's
Your he-them roommate that
Yeah.
doesn't do the dishes.
Yeah.
But wears tabbies.
You know,
Come on.
Sock's wondering if she can get an extra bump of Ket this month.
How many hours we've been doing this?
2.5?
2.5.
How many people do you think honestly will have listened?
Oh,
all
we
the
always
way
were
through?
like, yo.
It's like a 99% completion rate.
Oh, yeah. And also,
I'm not joking.
Are you being serious?
I'm not joking.
No,
That's
we
incredible.
crush. Oh, well, also, this is like when John comes on. People that are familiar with the report, they know when you come on, it's a marathon.
His pen is like erotica.
That's unbelievable.
The boy is ours like Brandy and Monica.
I think there's a listener that will never want it to end, especially when it's Sonica.
His name rings off, baby. Come on. That's a bar.
Just asking for validation from the genius critical mind
Do you-
that is Jon
let me ask you
Caramanica.
guys a question.
So,
Okay.
How dare you?
yes,
truly.
yes, we will come on podcast.
True, yes.
Whoa! don't,
Oh,
just
sorry.
wait.
Hey, slow roll. You guys interview a number of people, and you interview people
say
who
that.
have defined aesthetics.
Yes.
Do you ever find yourself unconsciously gravitating towards the aesthetic of a person who you either are interviewing or have recently interviewed?
Yeah, for sure. I think that Lawrence and I, we're not like, of course you're influenced. Like nobody's objectively moving through this
Yeah.
world and thinking up shit on their own. You see everything, whether it's on your phone, whether it's the people you listen to
Yeah.
or podcasts with or what, or come
our
into
case,
contact with.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were going to do a bit. I don't know if we ever did it of just like guys that actually influence our style that have like, 1,000 followers on Instagram or like guys behind the guys.
Our own like real best dress list.
Yeah.
You should do that.
And it's like some of those people maybe because we also have different opinions on that. Some people have
Yeah,
been on
of
the show,
course.
some haven't. But yeah, no one's immune to fucking. You see a cool dude, Joe, you're gonna dick ride.
Yeah. Like I love the way Hugo Mendoza dresses, but I'm not going to be out here in fucking, 20-inch inseam jorts and Timbs.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
Shout out Hugo.
Yeah.
Shout out Hugo, the mayor.
Fucking
A
balls.
very, very
big balls.
a very solid, a narrow and solid aesthetic.
10 toes down.
Like just very like.
But I've seen it evolve over the years for sure.
I feel like I've seen it grow a little bit, but I also like.
Well,
It's
there's a
like
lot
if
of-
I
it
were
went
to
from
see
Stussy
him
to Awake.
If I were to see him like from behind, from like half a block away, like I would know it was Hugo.
Yeah.
Like just the look.
Also, as a New Yorker, it's very familiar,
Of
right?
course.
But it's very right now.
Well, it's familiar, but it's dialed, like because he has
Very
fucking great
specific,
taste.
really specific.
I mean, my thing, I don't know. I respect good taste, and if you
Who
have
influ-
it, I'm a fucking fan of you. And of course, I want to, by osmosis, if you're on the show, of course, I want to fucking take some shit away from that.
Who
I'd be a fool
influences
not to.
you? Jon Caramanica?
Lawrence.
Really?
Well, look, he just posted those Stussy leather pants, which I
Bought them?
then immediately looked up and bought.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Like they just arrived the other day. They're
Nice.
incredible. They're like as heavy as that Wilson's jacket.
They're beasts.
I think the thing that I find myself constantly in search of, and
Damn, I'm talking about Larry clone? Both in voice and aesthetic?
Oh, dude.
one thing that you said to me when you, I think maybe when we did that shopper or in that ballpark, is you said something very simple, which is just like, I really love trying new trends.
Yeah.
Or like I'm not scared of it, right? There's nothing that's, and I
ain't
think as
never
I've gotten
scared.
older and more fundamentally comfortable with myself,
Yeah.
there are things that maybe I wouldn't have put on 10 years ago, but now I feel like I can find a way to make it work for me. Like, do you guys see the, what is it, Cecile or Cecily Bonson Asics? The kind of,
Flower ones?
yeah, the flower ones that are transparent.
Yeah.
With the
Oh,
crust.
those are gas.
Yeah, like maybe 10 years ago, a version of that I couldn't have done because I was too busy trying to dress like it was still 1995 or something, you know? But now I'm just like, there's a version of my 1995 self that could find a space
Yeah,
for something.
That's personal
like that.
growth, baby.
I can only hope so. And so I think often when I'm encountering an aesthetic that's not mine, I'm often trying to say, how can I take a tiny piece of this and still make it look seamless on me? So like around the time that I did the Ben Slacken interview,
I had one cheek out.
I was. Were you there that night?
Yeah.
No, I was at Luke's and there was a pair of Balenciaga flare denim that was like not as crazy as something Slacken would wear,
sure,
but kind of relatively straight, but like very, very, very baggy around the ankle.
Pooling.
Yeah. And I happened to be wearing a pair of shoes that day where it worked. And I put them on, and they also had the LV shark clogs, and I put them on with shark clogs, and I was like, okay, I can kind of see this. And I took them home, and I've worn them a few times, and it's like,
you bought both?
No, I didn't buy the clogs. I just bought the Balenciagas. I just bought the jeans. But like finding the shoes that I already had that made sense with that silhouette of denim, to me, that was like a meaningful way to like be in personal dialogue with what someone like Slacken is doing without being like, I've got to go all the way over the top and have crazy heel bite and yada, yada, yada.
How are your eyebrows pierced? I can't really see it.
Yeah.
No, it's the parts of me that are pierced you'll never see. Yeah.
I pierced all three of my nipples.
Damn, dude.
I pierced my Skims bra.
From a young man to Mr. Motherfucking Put It On, bro. You grew up. You're more comfortable with yourself. That's honestly, I feel like there's probably a listener of a certain age that thinks they are past some imaginary line of demarcation they've set for themselves, and that is literally the best advice. Which
it's
is like
literally the opposite.
Fucking,
it's also like, look,
go for it, baby.
As someone who really genuinely believed that like I peaked style wise in like 1995 or 1996, finding
you was there.
I was, but finding new things that deepen, thicken, accessorize, optimize, amplify that silhouette, but with new designers or new pieces, that's something I really genuinely enjoy. And so
beautiful.
Know thyself, grow thyself.
And also like you look at what like Martine Rose is doing.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is this a good time to do my wish list?
Of John's you're looking for?
Yeah.
Let's get into Jon Caramica's wish list.
And we just do knee-jerk reaction to whether we think it's classic or trash?
Yeah, you can say if it's trash. I don't mind. Oh my God. I can't believe we made it this far. If you've made it this far and you have any of these pieces.
We still got, I would say about, I don't know,
like 4 hours to go.
A third of the show. A quarter.
Okay.
How long is this list, by the way?
It's about 10 things.
Okay.
Let's run through them.
Okay.
Rapid fire.
Vetements plaque logo boots from 2019, I think. They're the combat boots
This
with
is the
like
Slacken influence right here.
No, this predates that. I just never been able to find them in my size.
How big is the sole?
It's actually not that big. The sole's not that chunky. It feels almost like it looks almost like a high top Doc Marten, like a relatively like.
Do you fuck with the brother? Great IG follow.
The what?
The Demna's brother.
No, I don't.
Gurum?
Should I?
Gurum?
Yeah, I don't.
He just goes, yo, do you fuck with the brother? Dude, he's a psycho.
Is he?
He was. There's a piece on him in the Times.
I know. I read that, but I don't know.
Oh no,
I don't.
Oh well, dude,
in that context.
he's incredible. He's so much cooler than
they
Demna.
said he was.
Come on the pod.
They said he was. They said he was despicable, but his money Gurum.
Doesn't even make sense. Wait, did he do IG?
My last day on
money
Earth.
grew.
My last day on Earth. This is great. Okay, Vetements plaque logo boots, 44.
Size 44, not 4400.
No. I still want Ass Pizza Tim's. You telling me that you did not have Ass Pizza sign your Tims, I still think about that a lot. But the Ass Pizza Tims where he like branded Ass Pizza.
How much are they? How much do those go for?
They're just not. They're just not.
You would literally, if you ran into him in the street, or like
just wear Tims, then he'll stamp them for you.
And have him sign. I mean, honestly, I want fucking Chrome Hearts Tims, dude. That's all.
I would like Chrome Hearts. I would like Chrome Hearts Carhartt double knees as well.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing to admit, but I'm with you.
Hellstar Rodman 2021 release or 2020 release.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so Pharrell worked with Henry Taylor for like this upcoming collection, the artist. But no one ever talks about the Henry Taylor Etudes collaboration from about 4 or 5 years ago.
Because no one talks about Etudes at all.
Yeah, I understand, but they had Henry Taylor on like sweatshirts, t-shirt. They had like
I just
5 or 6
making
pieces.
fat Vans. That's like what they were. That brand.
There is good Henry Taylor stuff. And if anybody's sitting on any of that, I'm really curious.
Oh, I'm thinking of the brand 80s. Sorry, Etudes is like was like They were like making graphic tees when we were at
Yeah,
Complex.
no,
that
it's
people were
not
wearing.
like it's. I sort of don't understand where that brand sits in like the overall matrix of
I
things.
couldn't tell you.
But they literally did some very high quality Henry Taylor
did it
pieces.
first.
They did it first. I thought I didn't. That didn't make it into my Pharrell LV story. I had to take it out, but I took it out. What do I want?
Take out the call out.
Vetmont Levi's, the double side, like front black in the back, denim in the front.
but it's
Like
like,
the XXX Tentacion hair.
The half splits. I'd love some like good like Martine Rose floral denim.
okay.
Like larger size, or the crinkle denim. Like I feel like those are tough to come by, at least in my size.
A lot of jeans.
I'm
Don't hunt for a
in
lot
a
of
pants
jeans.
era.
Jeansman, yeah.
I'm in a
He
pants
do be
era.
wearing pants.
I mean, I did buy some great footwear this past week, but like,
What were they? From Martine? The Shocks?
No,
The Shocks heels?
actually, okay. So the two things I did buy is also from Luke. I feel like I've talked about Luke like 4 times, but he had the Hermes Calia clogs,
Okay.
like the studded clogs.
Are you ever in a period where you're not buying? Like, I'm personally in a
No.
buying slump right now. I actually just broke it this morning, but before that, I hadn't bought shit in like a mad long time. But you're always copping.
What's a long time for you?
Honestly, like, probably a few, besides like essential shit, like a few, maybe like 2 months.
Yeah, I might go a month or two without
Okay.
buying something.
Wait,
But
can I be so gauche to get a price check on the Hermes clogs? Because I would love a pair and want to know what the market is. But you
Okay.
you were 10.5, right?
I wear 10
So
and a half. These
44.
are 44s. These
Okay,
are
I'm a
44s.
43.
He was selling them for 400, which I thought was actually underpriced, respectfully. I also traded in some Dries shoes for credit. So I had some credit.
I like that.
And then, so I think I ended up paying like $250
Wow,
with the
dude.
Dries shoes.
How did they fit true to size?
Yeah, they're true to size. They're beautiful. I almost wore them today.
They're so good.
Were you influenced by Tremaine?
I think that was the first time I even knew that they had men's. I didn't know they had
By the
men's
way,
sizes.
breaking news. You know who had him first and influenced Tremaine is Angelo.
Angelo Urrutia.
Oh, that makes total
They're
sense.
boys, and
Of course.
Angelo has
Makes total
definitely
sense.
had him first.
And Angelo's one of those guys where you spend time in his presence and you're like, damn, I wish I could kind of bring some of that sauce over onto my
To
plate.
go
So
back to
there
that
you go.
question, exactly. You'll be with Angelo. He's been on the show. We hang out with him. Obviously wears
Like,
a
you
lot
know
of
what?
4S,
I need a
but-
fucking turquoise cuff link on my
Yeah.
wrist.
or how about just I need to buy more 4S
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
it's on sale.
Yes, when it's
or
extremely pricey.
I need to chrome out my Birkenstocks.
Yeah.
I would love.
Sure.
I would love to do that.
Damn.
I would love to do that.
Chromed out the Boston like the fucking. Well, I was gonna
So
make
here's
a
the thing: the
joke
price
about
check
the
is
parade.
Boston Bomber? No.
I've never
'Cause
seen.
I think it's ball bearings in a pressure cooker. Maybe I don't know.
All right, so here's the thing: I've never seen a men's. I've never seen a men's 44 except when they originally came out. They were originally on the Hermes site. Never seen them on a resale site. I've been looking for a year. I would say women's roughly resell around 800.
Yeah.
I don't know why these were priced how they were priced,
Damn,
but I am
what a
grateful.
deal,
I
dude.
literally
Oh,
was
you
like,
got them. You got them.
I was on my couch in sweatpants. I saw Luke post. I texted him immediately. I was like, "Tell Mateen to hold these."
Yeah,
I'm
couch.
literally like bringing something in, and I'm leaving the couch right now, and I will be there in an hour.
Couch cop?
That's how important it was.
I'm gonna piggyback off of John here. I need a 43, so anyone holler at me.
I want some throwing fits loafers.
Oh,
Oh,
in a 44.
44, 10 and a half.
interesting.
Wow.
The ASAP Yams off-white shirt with him on the horse.
Yep.
Like that one.
From Yams Day.
Yep, I want that.
That should be pretty easy to find.
It's hard to
on
find.
Grailed.
It's hard to find one that I feel comfortable is legitimate.
Oh.
Like 'cause they feel like they're often bootleg.
Have you gotten scammed before?
I got scammed. I mean, I got refunded, but I got scammed on a Vetmont piece
It was like a
on
Fugazi.
eBay. It was Fugazi.
Damn.
But I did get refunded. So
What do you think about like Zoomers like just being okay with copying dupes, where they're just like whatever, like it looks good, it looks real on IG,
You mean
and
like
apparently now it's a millennial thing too.
Yeah.
you mean like a straight dupe in the sense, not like a straight dupe.
Not an homage
Not-
from
yeah.
Zara or
Not
H&M.
like a rip, a
literal-
dupe.
They're reps. They're called reps.
Yeah, reps.
Dupes.
Spiritually, it doesn't sit right with me, but I feel like it is generational. Like I just think that
You're
like
more of a bootleg guy.
look at Lawrence's shirt.
This
Yeah.
is real.
Look at the fucking.
No, no.
Look at the Drake
It's
20.
not from Alibaba. No,
Look
no,
at the
yeah.
Drake 21 T I bought you
I
outside of
appreciate
MSG.
that. Yeah, I like my bootlegs authentic. I don't know. I just think spiritually, if you know where it comes from and like,
But you can only afford the fucking.
I
Doopy.
think kinda-
Rep culture is its own community and
Is it?
subgenre. Yeah, because I think kids want, because of opium, They want the look, but that look is not
Super
cheap.
expensive, of
But
course.
like just getting like fake Rick Ramones is like that's like a huge thing.
My
Reps,
favorite
that
thing
thing.
are you
The
on
juicy
TikTok?
doopy.
On TikTok, are you seeing the folks who are doing greedy reps from a company called I think it's called Walker in
Yikes.
Vietnam? But they're
How
literally
cheap are
doing
they?
like the
front-
greedies with the side zip joints,
or the front zip or the back zip or
yeah,
whatever.
I mean, not the PL2s,
Right.
but the other ones. I think
The Fweeties.
The whole point.
yeah. Literally,
The whole point of buying Greedies is that it's like the best made
the best made, and
that also is
like
like,
a
you know,
73-year-old Italian woman. Is
But for
like
some
offering
people,
them.
now the point is just to wear it on fucking IG or to get in one step
Yeah.
ahead.
Someday. We'll see with the first rep guy in one step.
Yo,
We'll
my
see.
whole shit is reps.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I would love the Beastroy Samsara hoodie,
Yeah.
Okay.
which I should have just gotten when they put it out. But
You're a
I
historian. You just want this shit for like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
art.
I
archive.
want. Yeah, very much so. I
Not
would
the
like
Beastroy school shooting hoodies because those were those are crazy.
next topic.
Okay, sorry.
Born and raised Levi's.
with the Eagles.
Bro.
Are those not hard to find?
I haven't been able to find one.
The
of my
homie had them on
size.
at your birthday party.
Who had them?
Oh, fuck. I said the homie because I don't know if I forget his name. He worked at Grilled.
Who's that?
I
Want
saw-
us to hit fucking Bradley Carbone?
There
We
was-
just had him on
yeah.
the podcast.
Can a white? We asked Bradley, can a white guy wear certain? Can a white guy wear born and raised Levi's?
He said yeah.
Yeah.
Bradley
They're
said
fine.
that.
Bradley said yeah.
There's a bunch of different versions.
The white member of Born and Raised exec said that. Yeah.
Okay, well then I guess
I'll
I
text
guess
you,
we're
Tom.
Okay, and then
are
the
sick.
last thing is, for years and years and years, I have searched for a vintage Ralph Tresvant bootleg T-shirt, and I've never found one in my size.
Is that your number one white whale?
At this point in that space, yes. Like most of the things that I've wanted, I bought or I've seen and chosen not to
What
buy.
John wants, John gets.
This is why I'm hard to buy gifts for.
Right.
True.
But if anybody has a legitimate, like early '90s Ralph Tresvant solo T-shirt, that's not like
Bang this motherfucker's line.
like an 18 pit to pit.
Yeah. Sure.
Please let me know.
What about a dipskate tee? Is a dipskate tee
schmediums.
on there?
I'm honestly, I'm so mad. I really just shouldn't have looked a gift horse in the mouth. I should have just given you $100.
Yeah. You fucking
You were like
idiot.
haggling?
No, bidding war.
I
bidding war.
wasn't. I just sort of had
Oh,
that
that's right,
moment.
'cause Luke got it.
It
Yeah.
was like, it was at the beginning of the sale.
You're like 100. I was like, if it's still here at the end of the day, I'll sell it to you for 100. And
And it
then
was
Luke
just
comes
like-
by and he's like, yo, 101.
Yeah, no, it's just like at the beginning of the sale, and I was like, I haven't made any money yet. Like, should
Yeah.
I just be like outlaying
And
money?
when it came to the showdown,
Well, you
wasn't
were one of the
there.
lucky chosen few who were
Yes.
able to sell your wares at the Throwing Fits Bazaar.
transition.
Thank you so.
God.
And first of all, thank you so much.
Do you have,
guys.
do you have fun?
I had so much
you make
fun.
money?
I made. Yeah.
I know, I know you put Big Buf to work, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out Jay Buford. Shout out
What's
Jay
some
Buford.
shit you would never ever part ways with?
Besides
Just like
these pants?
a quick short list.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Besides these pants in the last 3 hours of your
My
life.
these pants and the Isaiah jacket that I bought with Lauren.
Yeah. Did you saw that suede joint?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Crazy.
it's really, really good.
But what's like-
unfortunately, I think I've gained a little bit of weight,
Yeah.
so it doesn't fit quite the same, unfortunately,
But
but
it's
it's really nice.
in the closet.
Very much so.
Do the fucking ASAP bar that shit. Snip out the ass.
Let's add a little extendo in the back.
Okay, so there's two T-shirts that I probably won't part ways
Pray
with.
tell.
Sentimental reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I have like a really, really, really good old Selena T-shirt that's like before people were spazzing about Selena T-shirt. You know, I bought it for
Was
like
she
80.
alive?
No, I mean the shirt. The shirt is from that era. Yes.
Okay,
the shirt.
it's
I
not
didn't buy
an
it
in
then.
memoriam tee.
No, I didn't buy it then.
And it's not when
but-
she became almost like a micro trend herself.
Right.
Her tees. Yeah.
And so it was, before people were like, we're going to pay $900
Sure.
for this. I probably maybe paid 80 or $100 on eBay or something. And it is so, it's like paper thin at this point.
Gauze.
It's, but it's beautiful. And I'm very, very careful about when I choose to wear it and when I don't choose to.
Oh, because it only has maybe so many miles left before,
We're talking like once a year, maybe.
and then
At
it
this
goes
point,
in the
twice a
rafters
year.
or something.
Yeah.
How do you storage that shit?
I don't store it separate from my other t-shirts, but I
t-shirt.
have t-shirt storage.
Okay.
Like I
But
have,
you're not-
like,
it's not like
I
fucking
have
in like
custom
a-
built. I have custom built shelving designed for my t-shirts.
Wow.
Excuse
Yeah,
My man
I'm
wrote a
sorry.
fucking
Well, for
New
many
York
years,
style-
I had like a kind of patchwork of a bunch of bullshit of like IKEA and like other stuff. And about
Same,
2
brother.
years ago, I just was like, I need to grow up and
Yeah.
like get a big boy thing.
Okay, well,
so I had someone
for
come in,
shit.
do measurements, and do the whole thing.
That's fire.
Yeah, it's really.
So wait, so the tees, it's like a custom drawer?
It's so basically, if you imagine this kind of space broken up and let's say into 3 verticals.
Yeah.
And then within each vertical, there's like 6 different like slots, almost like a record case or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then within each of those, I maybe have like 20 to 30 t-shirts.
How many t-shirts do you think you own, period?
Oh.
Including storage?
Let's say in the crib first. Let's start there.
400?
Okay.
That's
and
so many.
with t-shirts. Is your fridge just full of fucking t-shirts?
Or oven or whatever. New Yorker
400,
mode?
and I probably wear like 100 of them regularly. Like
That's
they're in
Every day,
rotation.
you wear 100 at a time, like been slacking.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. But probably 400 in the crib, maybe another like 100 or 2 in storage.
Okay. Damn.
100 T like rotation of like action.
I got 100 tees.
I got
Shout out Young Dolph.
100 T's. That's true. My
100 T's.
my
He's
T's
from-
got T's.
100 T's. He's from New York. That's so many. I maybe do.
Is it?
I maybe do 20.
Oh my God. I
You
didn't
wear the
think I
same
would
shit
come
over
here
and
to
over.
feel
Yeah.
shamed.
No.
No,
I'm a teasman. He wears the same shirt 3 days in a row.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not true.
The other shirt is, and this one's actually literally just hanging in my home.
Yeah.
Because I just scared to fuck it up. Is, Jodeci is like one of the most meaningful groups to me, like in my creative and personal life. And I got a great Jodeci t-shirt from Brian Brissell many years ago, and I'm happy to wear it from time to time, but like literally it hangs like the door that goes into my home office. It just hangs like directly
on
over
display.
that door.
Gets its
For
own
a
real
reason.
estate.
Yeah, I just see it like the things that I see every day. It's like I see that.
Shout out
Very
fucking
important.
Brian King.
Yeah.
Please come on the show. I love you.
You mentioned that you
And all my Black Cat 4s.
And what?
and
Oh,
all
yeah.
my Black Cat.
How many pairs of those do you have?
I mean, I don't really wear them very much anymore, but I probably have like 4 or 5 pairs in like varying states of disrepair, and then probably like 4 or 5 more on ice.
Damn.
And then I probably have, and of the ones on ice, some are the reissue and some are the original.
Yeah.
And then I have maybe 3 or 4 pairs of the Olivia Kim black hair ones, like the pony hair
pony
ones.
hair, yeah.
Although I think I'm going to let go 1 or 2 of those on
Yeah, I would say
on StockX.
sell those,
Yeah, I
right?
think I'm going to sell them. They're actually like kind of going for a lot right now. So
Yeah.
like I think I'll let those go.
And you know why? You know who fucking wears them all the time?
Tell me.
Ian Connor.
What's it feel to be like on
You
that side of
really
history?
there's so many third. The amount. The amount
That's
of
why you pay
third-
for the video, folks.
The amount of third rail shit today has been out of control. Unbelievable.
One rail for every hour.
I came in here with such I came in here so like open hearted and
Well, it's time
vulnerable.
having fun.
it's time to rail you even more, John.
Hey,
You talked about how your personal style peaked in 95, right? But like
Regrettably,
you're always
yes.
going to be 95, but like
Yeah.
iterating on that.
Yeah, sure.
What's a personal style phase you went through that you would think is the worst shit that you were putting on at the time, or like that you regret the most looking
Okay,
back?
this is
Hindsight being
I
2020.
actually was engaging with this idea not that long ago and there's 2 answers to this question. Okay, so in the early 2000s probably into the mid 2000s,
Tough time for us all.
I had kind of like unusually long hair.
How long
long
are we
are we
talking?
talking?
Like but like
You have
also
good
like
hair,
I
though.
didn't like shape my beard at all. And it was like, so I had like a little bit of a patchy beard. I had long hair. It just like in the photos,
You were
it looks
a dirty
terrible.
hippie?
It just looks bad in
were you
the
like
photos.
were you like a DMB like hacky sack ass
No,
motherfucker?
no, never
Okay.
that. But like, I just, I remember like, this is when I was writing for Double XL a lot. I was writing for Vibe, and I would just be like traveling the South, like interviewing rappers, looking like this. And
Were you,
in
were you on
retrospect-
your Rick Rubin shit?
yeah,
Low-key.
but like in retrospect, I'm like, what the fuck was
So
I
what
thinking?
in that moment? Can you remember what I
was wearing?
No. What you saw that made you be like, "Yo, this is the fire look."
I think it was like a combination of
Combination.
like. I think it was a combination of.
combination.
I felt like I didn't.
You gotta look up a different word for combination, bro.
Combination.
I felt like
It was an amalgamation. Amalgamation. Yeah.
I felt like it was a melange.
That kind of already sounds like
in
patois.
being in my like mid to late 20s and be like, I'm answerable to nobody. You know, it's like it doesn't matter.
the
Like I'm
man.
out in the streets. Like I'm just doing whatever.
Yeah, just meet Elliot
that
Wilson.
combined with actually like sort of what was happening in downtown New York, which like felt like a little bit like rock sleazy. So like the
That's
intersection
no
of those
ass
two
shit.
things. But like I would have that look, but I like wear a blazer and like no lie, a custom shirt from like Says Servant in like 05.
Wait, so you were kind of like, you had a look, dude.
It was a look. It's just a regrettable look.
Okay,
Dude,
right,
but it
right.
Are
was-
these photos like?
I don't want to talk about the photos. I don't want to talk, but there are photos, but I don't want to talk about the
Send
photos.
us one.
I'm like, there's like a funny photo of me with like another rap journalist at some like event. I can't remember, somewhere down south. And I'm wearing like a relatively expensive like V-neck black cashmere sweater, but everything from the neck up is fucking crazy. It's totally wrong.
The South had something to say. That was fucking.
Please
get on the
get
plane.
a
Shape up, bro.
Literally get on a plane and return home with that shit. The other thing, and I feel like people will say this a lot, but like the all over print era, but like, number one, that's coming back. It is coming back. Number two,
Are you about to bust out your peg leg hoodie?
first of all, I just, no lie, within the last week, busted out the Leroy Jenkins all over zip ups.
Leroy Jenkins.
So I have two Leroy Jenkins. First, a shout out my guy Damian Scott, who
D. Scott.
when D. Scott was an editorial assistant at Vibe, we went to Montclair. I drove to Montclair, New Jersey. It was there was a store, a skate shop there. That was the only store that carried Leroy Jenkins like in person.
Okay.
I bought two zip up hoodies that day, which I never sold and I never got rid of, and I busted them out last week, and one of them still goes. I'm about to bring that back.
What's the print?
It's
Floral.
like floral grandma curtain.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like that, but like more floral, like even more. Floral.
So it's funny because there's the Leroy Jenkins meme, which is what he was doing. I had to Google this because I didn't even know
You don't know about
what
this brand.
was this.
So
Do you remember this?
I thought when you're thinking Oliver print, I wasn't thinking florals. I was thinking like the peg leg gun fucking print, right? Or like Oliver Star print.
No. I know, but this is like in discourse with that because this is 2006, so it's not
right,
that far.
same time.
It's in discourse. I'm sort of talking like this
This
era,
is so bad, bro.
this era.
Holy shit.
This shit for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean Supreme Power Corruptions and Lies fucking hoodie. You know,
John, you know what I
that's
saw
a
in Bushwick the other day was
This joint.
that you might be. I don't know what you're going to think, but I saw a disturbing amount of echo.
I actually
2006.
Would anybody like to buy? Okay, so you're
This is what I
story.
like to buy. Can I tell you what I like to sell?
I like to sell. First of all, I have a number of things I'd like to sell.
Are they all echo?
I do have a bunch. Okay, so in
Hold on. I have to. So this article from Hypebeast. Okay, this is December 23rd,
Written by Jon
2006.
Caramanica.
Yeah, I know.
Can I read the first line?
Ken?
Dem Jenkins boys are back at it again for another round of fresh overall print hoodie releases.
Oh my god.
Woo! Anyway, I'm done. I had to do it.
Okay, I will make you guys a promise. When this episode drops,
Yeah.
Dem
I
Jenkins
will
boys are back.
put
at
on
it
one of
again.
those hoodies and post a photo.
What size are they? Are they
They're
big?
sort of like
Were they like
they're
made to
wide
be?
and they're like a little bit like wide but short. Damn. Also, I do think this might be apocryphal, but I think his earliest or their earliest hoodies maybe quite literally were cut up curtains. So I do think some of these. Anyway, I will post a photo.
When you do,
I will show hoodie.
There's only when you put it on. I think officially we can say that Dem Jenkins boys are back at it again.
John's
Just
goodie in
never-
any hoodie.
Here's the thing. Never let it be said I did not put that motherfucking shit on.
That is a fact, bro.
Never let it be said that I didn't.
Are you gonna Are you gonna be buying your way into the new 555 Soul relaunch?
Oh, yeah.
I've actually been buying up old 555 Soul.
Of course you have. Of fucking course you have.
True story. I bought an old 555 Soul t-shirt on eBay like 4 or 5 months ago, and I get a DM. Can't make this shit up. From Wale's former manager, and he's like, "I just sold you the 555 Soul
what's
shirt."
his name? I know who you're talking about.
Dan.
Yeah, Dan. No.
Dan?
We'll confer off mic.
I can't remember, but like
His old
and-
manager Leroy Jenkins.
First of all, matched Leroy Jenkins with the LV floral embroidered.
Honestly, he'd be going crazy. dude.
Go crazy.
He's gonna have to write an article about yourself, dude.
It's so fire. I had to write an article about myself.
One step ahead, baby.
Yeah. Wait, so you were buying? So you were investing your retirement into 555 Soul?
Yeah.
You were saying what?
Yes.
You know what's kind of a shame is I used to fuck with Academics, the brand, but you can't
Yeah.
wear that now because of DJ
Yeah.
Academics.
Is that come on?
Well, if you wear an Academics and it has the K, like it's gonna look like you're wearing DJ
but
Ac
can I
merch.
say I have an incredible
What did DJ
no,
Academics
but I have an
make?
incredible true story. I have an incredible academic shirt, like an amazing shirt I've only worn once back in the day, but I recently pulled it out of storage when I was actually looking for stuff for your sale.
You're like,
I
this
went to
isn't gonna fly
storage.
with the fucking
No, but I was like, oh, I'll actually bring this back, and it's just a huge letter print and just says "Do you," and on the back it says "I'll do me."
That's awesome. That's
hard.
We're bringing it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, people, and honestly, a lot of people need to read that front and
Yeah,
back
a lot of,
because
exactly.
Yo, do
a
your-
lot of y'all might learn something from
A lot of
that.
y'all need to do your Academics.
Here's
I feel like Antonio loves
like James
Academics.
once said, I can't remember what it was in regard to. And maybe it was in regards to the what's the brand of tortilla chip associated with the Tacombe or whatever.
Oh,
and it was like a
gas.
rebrand, but you
So
were like,
fire.
it's low key
Los
not
Hermanos.
bad. And
No, they're
then-
great.
They're the
right,
they're the
but-
best chips in the game.
Right, but you were basically like, but because the branding is separate from Tacombe, and you were
Right.
like, a lot of y'all might need to learn something more. Like, like there was something that you said that was like so distilled and precise and cruel that it really like it stuck with me
Because
emotionally.
if they were Tacombe branded chips, it wouldn't.
I
Even if
wouldn't
they
hit.
tasted the same,
it wouldn't hit.
Are those the chips you get at Tacombe?
No, these.
Why would I? How would I know that?
Ooh,
That was
trick
a test.
question.
That was
Trick
a test.
question.
Have you had, dude? They're the best tortilla chips in the
I
world.
have had
Well, they're
them.
readily available in the West Coast, and
You can get them here.
the
I'm gonna
the
find
trick
the brand.
is there's a drop of soy sauce. It's like corn, salt, soy sauce.
Is that really
Those are
what
like
it
the-
is?
Yeah, it's for that umami, baby.
Interesting.
Vista Hermosa.
Yeah,
Excuse
Vista
me.
Hermosa.
I was just
Wow.
yeah.
Although, so I bought a bulk order, and I didn't realize what I was buying, and I ended up buying like 56 bags of them. And so I kept them in a garbage bag. Unfortunately, the oil leaked out of the plastic bags and through the garbage bag, and there was just like a fucking oil stain in like the wood on my floor.
Dude,
In
they're
this
s-
apartment.
In my old one. So if I were to go back and find out what I said, because I remember posting about this, I would have to go back years.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. We'll find it.
Damn. Dude.
Anyway, whenever you casually dismissed Tacombe talking about those chips, it was art. It was
We
really
don't
beautiful.
diss you, we dismiss you.
It's true. Totally true. Really beautiful stuff.
Those chips are so
Poetry.
Speaking of beautiful stuff, it is time to get into
Oh yeah.
ass.
Sucking and fucking.
Meats and cheeks.
Sex and dating.
You're tried and true vamp, right? Bedtime
I don't even know
4:30.
what that means.
Vamp. You keep vamp hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
vamp- you're
sure,
vamping.
sure.
Up
Yeah,
geeking
yeah.
hard, you're a real vamp.
Yeah,
Does keeping nocturnal nightcrawler hours make dating hard typically? We know your wife now, but like, just
Yeah. Or
generally
even
speaking.
spending time with your girl. Yeah. Is that hard?
I mean, it helps when you have someone who is on a similar life cycle.
Oh, if they're like trading on the fucking Asian stock market, like
Historically,
There's a bull run on 555 Soul.
exactly. The drops are coming. The 1 a.m. drop, the 1 a.m. EST drop.
yeah, put all my stock into PNB Nation.
Wale's old manager's getting evicted. I gotta get to work.
Seriously, if Wale's old manager is listening to this, could he send me a DM again with other options from the closet
Oh, right.
from that era? I'd like to. I'd
you
like
need,
to have
you
first
need the
crack.
fucking Nashville vintage system
Yeah.
of
Wait,
like
but we didn't even
Wale's
talk about that.
manager
Why
has,
we got on that, which is that
Why did we?
in the year of our Lord, 1997, I wrote a profile of Mark Echo.
Yeah.
And at that point, that was for a magazine called Trace, which no longer exists. And at the end of the interview, this was in New Jersey, he says, "Hey, do you want any clothing?" And I was like, "Oh, no, that's cool." He's like, "No, it's fine. Go in the warehouse and you can have whatever you want." And I took maybe 3 or 4 t-shirts and like a pair of pants. And I wore that pair of pants for a long time. But I never ever touched the t-shirts because I never really liked the t-shirts. And I recently rediscovered them in storage. So if anybody would like some dead stock,
Like Rhino
90s
logo.
Yo, honestly,
yeah,
send me
or
some,
like graffiti, even more graffiti era.
stuff?
Yeah,
oh, like his
Rhino
video
and
game.
graffiti stuff.
Send me some pics because I might have to fucking wear them out to like a Ridgewood rave or something.
This is 10 years before
Did
the
you ever
fucking
go
video game.
Did you ever
too.
go to like
Jesus.
the sample sales in Tribeca before Tribeca is what it is now, where it's just like shit that had fallen off the back of a truck, and then you could just steal whatever you wanted. It was always like Echo, 555 Soul, Academics.
No, that sounds
South
great.
Pole.
Would have made a great critical shopper.
Nietzsche?
It would have been the most fire critical shopper.
been-
But this
no.
also was 2000, the year 2000.
No, regrettably no.
Wait,
Yeah.
did you say NS? It's a Nietzsche, right?
I said
It's
555
actually
Soul.
technically it's NYC.
Yeah.
What?
It's NYC.
Oh, but you didn't say any
But I
of
didn't
those.
say that. No, I
okay,
didn't say
okay,
that.
my bad.
No, technically
I
it's
wanna know-
NYC.
I just wanna know how to say it.
everybody calls it a Nietzsche.
Right, when I'm in Richmond, I want to know how to pronounce it.
Okay.
Right. Well, those people don't know it's NYC.
No.
Those people think it's a Nietzsche, but really
Right.
it's NYC.
They're like E-Nice.
Wow.
E-Nice, yeah.
NS.
The answer to the question is it helps if you have someone who has a similar tolerance.
Right. For insomnia.
Yeah, yeah. And also for the idea that like magic of various kinds can happen at that hour.
Ooh. Wow.
Like that's something
The world is quiet.
Yeah. No, I'm
might go
picking
on.
up what you're putting down, brother.
I'm just simply saying there's a lot in the world that's
Sure,
going
sure,
on
sure,
that's
sure.
not available before midnight, but that is available after.
Right.
I love making love to the sound of garbage trucks just beeping. John, could you ever date a woman who has trash taste in music or a taste in music that just conflicts polar diametrically with yours?
I think that it's important to be committed to the aesthetics that you choose to be committed to. But if you are uncommitted
What
to
if she
an
hates
aesthetic-
Outkast?
like hates Outcast or just
Hates Outkast.
doesn't
Hates.
like disrespects Outcast?
No, hates.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah. All right.
That's going to be tough. I think it's possible to have either a not fully formed aesthetic opinion on something or a general lack of interest in.
Okay.
That's fine. But to actively dismiss great art, one of the things about being a critic full time is trying to have an open heart, ear, eye, etc. to
Right.
beauty in a number of forms. And I would only hope that anybody who I'm close to in whatever capacity shares that. I'm often the thing that is like a real turnoff is when people are just like, I don't fuck with blank and not having a good reason.
I don't fuck with music.
Yeah. and not having a good reason for it. But if you don't fuck with music, but you do fuck with books, or you don't fuck with books, but you fuck with art, like I'm interested in someone who's passionate about the things they're passionate about as much as I am.
John
about
couldn't
things I
date a
am.
deaf bitch.
That was Lawrence.
It's like, yo, she's throwing up gang signs now. That's ASL. She's,
What's the number one? What would be though? Okay, forget about open heart, open mind. Beautiful, sincere answer. Sorry for steering it into a bad place. What would be like the number one red flag? Like, what's something that you personally dislike so much that if someone's like, "That's my favorite band," you're like, I can't. I can't.
It's more. I have like an incredibly high tolerance, even for things that I
Pain
find
threshold.
like. If someone thought like, this came up on podcast recently, but like, like Lumineers or Mumford and Sons,
that hey
if
stomp clap music.
Yeah, like if someone was like, this
SC
is
wedding music, as my wife calls it, which is
and if they were
awesome.
like, this is my preferred music and also my preferred hat aesthetic,
Ooh.
like that would be.
Would
a
you
real
rather
challenge.
have it be your hat aesthetic or like the music you listen to the most?
You can't date a bitch with a bindle.
No, I mean like, because I'd
Hop
rather
in the rails,
I'd
ass,
rather have
bitch.
to listen to the music than wear the hat. The hat.
You want a hat?
I
You
think
don't-
the music. If the music is
Is
if
worse.
it's got to be no, the music is better
The
than the
hat,
hat.
you're prejudged wherever you go.
Yeah, the music is
you're-
better than the
Yeah.
hat.
Why does your hat have a door on it?
Yeah.
Speaking.
Like, what, with the cuckoo clock that comes out. I was picturing something totally
Oh,
different.
like a newsie?
More kind of steampunk.
Yeah, that's the fucking hat, bro, with the door on it.
Wild Wild West.
It's just
Yeah.
like such a comically tall hat.
Yeah.
It's like it's not a top hat, but it's tall.
Abraham stinking.
Yeah.
Like imagine all the felt that had to die to make those hats.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
We
Unjust.
used to make hats with doors in this country. Yeah.
It really did. No, I
Who
think
has
the
to
music
sublet the fucking room in my hat for 2
I
days?
snuck you into the concert.
Yeah.
I snuck you into the Mumford show. Got you right in there.
I'm in the hat, dude. In the
Yeah,
sphere.
I think someone who dressed that aesthetic would be a real challenge. But I look,
Like
you
a-
guys travel, you
Annie
spend time
Hall type chick.
but you spend time in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
When you're in, and I know you go
Regrettably.
down south sometimes. when you're down south for like 3 days or 4 days, don't you start to like reorganize yourself mentally at all?
Well, but then it's like seeing family, and it's like
Start saying certain words.
Like,
you
honestly,
wouldn't say up north. You know what I mean?
I just feel
if
like
anyone's made it this far, I'll say this: like the last time I saw my father-in-law, he had never done this before. He was wearing his first pair of Hey Dudes. I'm not gonna. What am I gonna hold it against him? He's old
But
man.
what I'm saying is you start to see things as part of like broader holistic aesthetics when you're embedded in those spaces. So like, if I go to like South Carolina for 3 or 4 days, you start looking around and you're like, okay,
yeah.
I kind of like, it's not for me, but I sort of understand it.
Yeah.
It depends.
Like I was in Dallas, Fort Worth a couple years ago. You've been to the Lucchese store in Dallas, in Fort Worth?
No, I never really go to Fort Worth.
Only in Aspen, brother.
Oh, that must be nice for you.
Actually, it was a Tacoma store.
That's not nice for you.
That is completely.
First of all, the Lucchese store.
Lucchese.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Dallas, specifically.
In Fort Worth.
Fort Worth.
So good. But like you spend 30 minutes there and then you look at everybody else and you're sort of like, could I do a
I could do
version?
this.
Oh,
I could do this.
yeah, for
Could
sure.
I do
Yeah.
a essentially
also-
like a swagged version of
But you're
this?
talking about like something that is inherent, an archetype that is inherently awesome, that is inspired.
Yeah, but I
There's
think
also
obviously I'm
really-
not going to wear Hey Dudes, but like you
Well,
start
that's why I
to
started
like,
wearing PFG. Is literally my wife's
That
family.
makes sense.
Like
That
that.
makes-
So I'm like,
but like if I was in South Carolina long enough, I'd go to Ben Silver if that still exists.
But that's like, but there's like
I'd
good
sniff
shit
it
up
out.
in there. Yeah.
I'd sniff it out.
Great
You figure-
catalog, dude.
Incredible
If it still,
catalog.
if
Goddamn.
it does
Still
still
exists.
exist.
I used to be
Goddamn
on the
truffle
mailing
pig
list.
over here.
Yeah. He'll sniff it out. All right.
John, speaking of red flags,
Oh my God.
as
Yeah.
a hoarder,
Yeah. That
has a woman
no
ever
pushback.
Has a woman ever been inside your apartment? And if so, how did you explain the metric fuck ton of vintage Johns that were all just niche, hyper specific references?
Usually you start with a 6-hour lesson, piece by piece.
You're gonna sit your ass down and listen.
Yeah,
Yo, dude. That's
learn.
That's
Piece by
mansplaining at its
piece.
It's a
finest,
word
dude.
today. This is my Earthlink radio TV. My Earthlink radio internet t-shirt.
Yeah, right, dude.
Bought by someone.
Bought
I love,
by, yeah.
by
Yeah,
someone I love
true.
very
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
If you love me, you love my things.
Oh,
wow.
yeah. Don't. What is it? If you don't love me at my hoarder, you
don't
can't
deserve me at my
the
Beyonce.
Park Slope or whatever version, my custom shelving version. of
Yeah,
John.
sort of.
something like that.
Like I guess I've had phases where my things were like far less organized, and maybe like they're more organized now than they were 10 years ago.
Sure.
But there's always been a lot of stuff, and I feel like I hope if you're the type of person who likes me, you like that I have like a feverish passion for things and for discovery.
Do you ever purge?
Yeah, I sell. I mean, I have a Grove account. I have an eBay account. Like I
You
sell.
ever go on like, I guess like the Throwing Fits Bazaar?
Yeah.
You were like, oh yeah, let me, you're like,
I did. I actually got
Alan
rid of it.
Gallagher did the sale at fucking
Yeah. Like so
Leisure.
I've done a sale each of the last 2 years. I like having ready access to a bunch of stuff. I like being able to come here and be like, I just unearthed the Leroy Jenkins hoodies. That to me, that part of the bit is like worth having them like stored in the back of my front closet for 15 years.
You are your
bit.
own archaeologist.
Yeah,
Seriously,
live the bit,
and
bro.
even like in saying what pieces I'm interested in, like I'm interested in like backfilling
Right.
things that I couldn't quite get along the way.
Oh,
that
yeah,
to me
that's
is the
the
way.
bet. Yeah, that's
that's
great.
my preferred way to do it.
That's fire.
No, I think. Look, if I go to someone's home, whoever it is, friend or more,
Or foe.
or op,
Yeah.
but you see what you see is the you see the literalization of their brains,
Sure.
and their hearts. And I love things. I love to touch things. I love to own things. I love to display things.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is a joy. And I can only hope that anybody who is afforded entree into my life
Okay.
will find joy in that.
So
Right there with you, buddy.
A woman has never been inside John's apartment. Good to know.
I live.
Besides loving,
I have lived alone for a long time.
besides loving your tings, besides the tings loving your things, what's the way to Jon Caramanica's heart? Besides being a double stuffed Oreo.
At hour 4, you looking a little like a double stuffed Oreo.
Double stuffed.
I think we got 39 minutes left in the video. So
Okay.
we might get to
What-
4.
An unending curiosity and passion for whatever realm it is that they care truly about. Covered that.
I really gay.
You care about stuff?
I kid.
Humor?
I mean, that's sure. Like those are like entry level stuff. That's like 1.0 stuff.
A woman who brews her own yoo-hoo.
The yoo-hoo plug.
My yoo-hoo plug. My yoo-hoo boo.
Yeah. Yoo-hoo boo-hoo.
I think that having, again, an uncommonly vulnerable answer, having a broad amount of emotional empathy, I think being able to see the needs of people, whether your partner, your family, your friends, being able to see them independent of your own needs, and being able to speak openly about either things you want or need, or also things that you may perceive other people as wanting or needing, like being able to have a direct line to that kind of discourse. That to me is, I find, really appealing in any person, and a friend or more. I think it's easy to like stuff. It's easy to dress cool. It's
Is
like
it?
You do make it look easy.
Thanks, bro.
Look at that belt. That belt, the tip of that belt's practically on the floor.
He is not overcompensating for anything with that belt.
That belt's like bin slacking pants. That's all on the floor. I think those things are like, I think when you're young, those things feel like proxies for connection. Like, oh, we share an interest in blank, or that person reads this book, wears this outfit, watches this movie, therefore they must be intellectually simpatico with me. And I can tell you, since I'm 175 years old, like I can tell you that that is actually not true. And I think the sooner you, as an individual, unlearn that, and instead try to forge a connection that's premised upon someone's emotional capacities, that's where you go. But like, obviously all that other stuff feels like shorthand when you're young. Like I remember a good friend of mine many years ago was just, really into hip hop. And he's like, I just want someone who like is into hip hop. And
I
I
want
was
to rap
like,
shouty.
yeah. And I was like,
I'm trying to cipher, dude.
yeah, literally. I was like, if that's what you want.
He literally wanted shouty boo.
He did.
Yeah.
Ski.
Gangsta
He
boo.
wanted to ski. But that's not it.
Right.
And so I think as you get older and like unlearn a lot of that, that's the key thing. I don't know. What have you found?
Well, we do have to keep going here, John.
Look, Lawrence has been married for 25 years.
Yep.
It doesn't count.
They both love Twitter. No, I think you're right. It's like
you share a love of tweets.
you can't just.
I hate Twitter.
You can't. Well, you guys met on Twitter.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's about not connecting over like the stuff in commonality. It's about like understanding and loving the person that they are.
Exactly.
But like, have you found that people gravitate to you because of in essence
I don't
ends
know
up
what the
as
fuck
superficial
people gravitate
reasons?
towards
Trying
me
to fuck
for.
him for the clout, dude. Get
They want that yo-ho, you know what I mean?
Is James getting clout? He's getting clout.
He's getting clout pussy.
No.
I kid.
No, you don't.
My
but
IG's on
do-
private.
But do you not find that there's like a level of person who is drawn to you for the perception that you put out based
Jimmy?
on all of this?
I think girls like Jimmy.
I would imagine they do.
No, girls
Yeah.
ladies love Cool James.
How long have you been sitting on that?
3.5 hours. Also, to your point, you know who we get the attention from is
The boys.
young men just looking for a father figure.
Daddy.
Daddy. The
Daddy.
boys. The
Lawrence,
motherfucking
but you've been.
boys.
Look, you're the only one of us at the table who's married. What's
Yeah.
the secret?
Do what she wants.
Someone who is hilarious and is fun to be with. That's all.
Time spent
So
apart.
then, why does she like you?
Hey,
yo.
Why? Because I'm fucking rich.
And got
sexy.
podcast money. No, do you think that it's really just that?
My wife and I have like barely anything in common, right? I could not get her to watch the movies that I watch or listen to the music that I listen to, and I don't want to read the books that she's reading. With that said, I mean, there's some things we both love, like Olivia Rodrigo, the queen.
Yeah, great thing to share with someone.
So when it comes to spending time with that person, right? It's not a superficial interest connection like you're talking about that, of course, you gravitate to when you're younger. It's about who is this person? They are kind. They are loving. They make me a better version of myself, and they're hilarious and fun to be around.
I think create a person who creates the space for you to learn more about
Sure.
yourself, even in misstep ways.
Yeah.
But also affords you the grace of a misstep in terms of like personal growth or whatever. Like that to me, like having someone who is patient and generous.
Yeah, compassionate.
Like that is so far and beyond the types of things I think we were probably all drawn to at age 21.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Or James, or last week.
Oh,
Or
actually, I'll
James.
say my wife's ass is incredible.
Is your wife was a cheerleader?
Yeah, for the Spurs.
I literally-
two-time NBA champion.
I didn't know that until she posted about that.
Silver
She
Dancer.
lost her rings. She got rings
So
off.
I thought she had
like
lost
Sonic.
one in a move, and I was like, I'm gonna kill you because it's like the craziest memory. Like you have two NBA, like the lowest level NBA championship ring, but still official. And she claims that she still has both, but I feel like she's lying and only has one. But she won two. Shout out fucking the big three, dude.
Yeah.
Timmy Dunks,
Tim Dunks.
Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, great rapper. She was in a Tony Parker music video.
And wow.
Big four. You forgot Jenna Blackwell.
And Jenna Blackwell. Yeah, of course.
well, Robert Horry, big shot, Bob.
John, that was a
Can I ask a question? Do you run your girlfriends past Jenna?
no. What? No.
But it's
Just just like not for
she's
approval,
met
just for curious,
them.
just to be
Yeah.
like,
She's met some.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, but John, that was a beautiful answer. Truly,
truly.
You know.
you didn't think that.
no,
It's more that we're coming
need
up.
to hear that shit.
It's more that we're coming up on the memory card time limit.
All right.
But to go from the beautiful, vulnerable, super, much deeper answer than we normally get on this thing, perfect segue into my next
people
question.
usually
How much
say?
money do you make?
First of all, how much what do people usually say?
They say, I'm not telling you that, the answer to that, which is crazy because also.
No, as far as what do they say about the love thing?
the way to their
Oh,
heart.
it's like humor, you know.
Food. And we also don't ask everyone if we don't give
Yeah.
a fuck. With
Yeah,
the-
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The answer is I'm a journalist and I don't make enough.
Seems to be book writer.
Hence book deals.
I mean, obviously that comes with additional money, but I perversely, I don't think that's why I did it.
Oh, bro, this is the worst. That's the worst. If anyone thinks you're gonna make money by writing anything, you're a fucking bozo. Talk shit instead.
It's really serious critical labor is undervalued in the marketplace, and I think will continue
All they
to
want
be.
is
Men used to go to war in this country, by the way.
Go to war with stands.
Yeah. True. The barbs.
I'm deploying in Stanistan.
Yeah, the Swifties. As you know, it's.
Do you want to
How
make
much-
more money? Do you want to make double what you make now? Or are you?
Well, of course he will.
No, well.
I'm trying to think. Do we make the same amount of money?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I think you guys make more money.
I think
than
we talked
do.
about this at Finale.
Yeah,
You're
I
pretty
think
transparent.
I think you guys make more money than I
What
do.
was my question? What's the biggest bag you've had to turn down because of the New York Times ethics rules? Or do people not even approach you
I
with those
think at this
opportunities
point I
anymore?
don't get approached. I actually randomly bumped into someone. I won't say who, but I bumped into someone who sort of in our universe, but now who works in an advertising company.
Oh, making big fucking bills.
And I was sort of like joking about salary and, money and et cetera. And I was like, oh, LOL, just, advertising gigs probably like make more in a week than I make in 3 months or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, I brought your name up for a few things, but like, we always frankly just assume like we can't afford you. And I'm just like, first of all, that's amazing that you think that I would be worth that much. That's
You
so
definitely
beautiful.
afford me.
But like,
I'm for sale.
But then when you start thinking that, you're like, oh, like how much money is out there in a different kind of universe? Where
lot.
How much money is out there?
Parallel timeline fucking.
You couldn't do like an
Don
artist,
Draper.
like an artist bio or something. You can't do that. You can't do anything.
No, and I
release.
also don't want to because here's the thing. When I write about ALD, I'm writing a John story about ALD. When I write the Ben Slacken thing, I'm writing a John story. When I write a Drake review, I'm writing a John review about Drake. When I write the Kanye book, I'm writing a John book about Kanye.
You're only doing what you can do.
I would rather do that for less money than do someone else's version of labor for more money.
Taylor's version.
Yeah.
Like, you read like with the Britney memoir that just came out, there was a piece we ran that identified who the 3 ghostwriters were.
There were
over
three?
three different phases of the project. Do you want to be the person who like, I just, to me, do I want to write something, spend 6 months of my life on it, and then
Yeah.
famous
You
person
disparage
attached to it.
ghostwriters, but there was a ghostwriter in the New Yorker that wrote some shit about like actually ghostwriting.
Oh,
is like
JD
a,
Moringer.
what? I don't
JD
read.
Look,
I don't read
if JD
bylines.
Moringer, I would love to talk to JD Moringer.
All right.
I
Because
very
you fundamentally
fascinated.
disagree with his.
I think
or her.
he's the elite. He's the A+ of the game. I think if you can do it the way that he describes doing it.
Oh, you wrote the Prince Harry book. That's what it
Yes,
is. Yeah.
and he wrote the Andre Agassi book.
Yes,
and the way that he
yes.
describes doing it, that sounds really
Great
appealing.
fucking book.
But
Where it's like
up
you
un-
into like you kick it and like
You smoke meth with Andre.
and at a certain point, like you are steering, like you're not simply just receiving dictation.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
steering the conversations. You're steering the interviews.
Speaking of ghostwriters, wait, does Drake follow you on Instagram?
Should we check?
Does he?
At some point,
I wanted to ask this earlier when we were talking about For All the Dogs because I feel like he might. And then you should be commenting on every post. It's the great
Why?
because you could only people he follows are allowed to comment on his Instagram.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Yes,
But what am I going to comment?
awesome shit, dude.
Hi, baby.
No, better IG bars.
No, his IG bars are fine.
I must be.
Yeah, bro.
There it is.
Bro, you have been. Oh, can I comment something from you on Drake's Instagram?
Literally no. Absolutely zero.
Dude, you do understand, but you know
Is that a
you-
violation
What?
of commenting on?
I don't know. I don't comment on anyone's
I will
Instagram.
say, though,
I wouldn't even know.
this
It
is-
probably is.
This
But I don't
is-
know. I don't
you
know.
have
gotta
been
be.
you have been given a gift from
You're spitting in God's face,
from the
according to
sixth,
Lawrence.
sixth God from the sixth God himself, and the
Unbelievable.
fact that you are not commenting on every post of Drake's is like 70 comments. And it's just from the real dogs of which you are one. You're in the pack, and you're fucking abusing your privilege. It's more offensive when you don't use your
Well,
privilege.
the technique of
Shane
Lawrence
Gillis said
is
that.
just like whatever emoji, right, is like black hearts, goats, king, crown, fire emojis, just to have your name there so that people can be like, oh, who's this guy? Tap on his
No,
name
no,
and
no, no, no.
potentially
And by the
follow.
way,
That's the technique.
If Drake followed me back, I would be commenting beautiful, heartfelt, sincere messages, not just dropping 3 emojis.
Okay.
'cause
Well,
it's Drake.
You'd
for like
be
a week.
transcribing what I said about being in love with someone and just posting
Yeah,
it under
100%.
every
Drake,
posting
give me
under-
the grace to misstep.
I can't. I knew it. And I can't believe you. Wow, dude.
What a grace to misstep.
Great power comes great responsibility.
Well,
you got to
Thank
use
you.
it.
I will file that away for future.
John,
thought.
despite not despite not leveraging this God-given talent of being
Unbelievable.
followed by Drake and being criminally underpaid, you're doing quite amazing.
Yeah.
We'd like to
I
see you
hope that you're
do.
right.
We'd like to see you do even better.
I know. I was looking forward to this because sometimes I find myself at wit's end wondering what other things might be out there for
Right.
me. And I know that the tax of being here for 4 hours of my life will end in you telling me how to improve it. So let's go.
Constructive criticism time. Take it or leave it. I just take it.
Let's go. I'm ready.
The Popcast Deluxe set,
Yes.
fucking elite.
Sick.
Do you like the chairs?
Yeah, I like everything.
Like genuinely? You
The
like
whole
it?
setup is fire.
Okay,
Why
good.
don't you make like the he, them, sock, and Bushwick and sublet it out for a few hours at a time and let us rent some studio time in that elaborate ass, beautiful set that the New York Times has already paid for. And
do
you just
you-
pocket the cash.
Every
Do
month?
you want, so basically we'll do like a Venmo type thing. where
Every
you just
Monday.
like-
Yeah.
Whatever you
Have you
want.
seen Monday?
Cash.
Well,
still
we
get-
record on Mondays, unfortunately.
Well, you're gonna have to move it. We were.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, now
well,
you guys.
what time do you record?
You're the
How
captain.
long are you gonna-
You're the captain now.
What time do you record for? Or record at?
In the mid afternoons on Monday.
What? How long? What front
Let's
to back?
call it 90 minutes.
Oh,
That's
first of all, have some fucking respect for the craft. Yeah, we do 90 minutes of pre-pro just to make sure that
We do more pre-pro than pro.
just to make sure that the hate speech is really perfectly
Dialed in.
borderline.
Yeah, it's okay. It's really dialed in.
No, that's fucking fire. No, we'll do a little prep.
So can we
Yeah, so what's the
rent it
deal?
out, sublet it like a sock?
yeah, how
Boston
flexible is your
Bushwick?
schedule though?
Our schedule is not flexible. But if you are willing to come and record an episode seated side by side with us, like in the chair,
Yeah.
Oh, like at the same time.
100%. Oh,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you and I both were synchronized. You're synchronized.
Yeah.
You and Joe,
We'll
you
do-
got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Wait, but you and okay, but you're doing podcast while we're doing TS. Okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, all right.
Make sure the mics are
Like
directional.
Like literally like one mic coming in
Yeah.
this way and
Yeah.
another mic
I
coming
need a
in this
one
way.
mic.
Yeah.
That's actually, I mean,
It's a great idea.
so who uses it when you're not there? Just real quick, anybody?
It's a storage space.
Okay, so we need to fucking, you guys need to fucking
Manhattan mini store.
monetize.
That's where my other t-shirts are.
yeah, honestly, dude. Okay, so at first I was gonna be like, You should have us on Podcast Deluxe, Ultimate Tag Team Crossover. We'll talk about whatever you want. Could be fire. I have had the pleasure of being on podcast.
Yes,
James has not.
that is true.
We'd love to come on.
A great episode, by the way.
But now it's I need you to comment on Drake's Instagram. Follow at Sartorially Inc.
Not throwing fits. See, this is the
Sorry.
difference.
Okay, say follow Throwing Fits. Their next step out of Atlanta, and then if TF had honestly, he's right, because then TF has the ability to self promote like no.
Yeah, we just comment links to the fucking podcast episodes.
Dude, that would be. What if I was dying and I was like my Make-A-Wish just comment on Champagne Poppy's Instagram.
How close?
Well,
I mean, we're all dying.
well,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm smoking a lot, dude.
No, but how close? Like,
What
A
if
week.
I said if you don't do it, I'll kill myself? Oh shit! I'll fucking
Yo,
John.
yo, he's not-
fucking do it, John.
Yo, he's not joking, bro. He says this all the time, and I got to do whatever he says. He does it.
including all the back end for
Yeah.
T.
I had to child safety lock the balcony door.
I might do something crazy, John. I'm feeling crazy. Follow Throwing Fits. Their next up out of Atlanta on his next Instagram post, please.
You can delete it after 5 minutes.
Yeah, as long as we get
But DJ Ack will take a screenshot.
Yeah, maybe we go from Jonah Hill Day canceled to Drake
Day,
OVO Fest.
Aubrey Day.
Yeah, I don't know.
I will.
Just an idea.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
take it or leave it.
I'm gonna consult with legal.
You should consult with Drizzy.
All right. Well, John, where can the kids follow you on the Instagram account that Drake follows?
Here's the thing: if you have made it 4 hours into this episode and you do not know where to locate me on the internet,
fuck
I
yourself.
perhaps cannot help that person.
No. Yeah.
That might be a person that might be. I just
lost
don't know.
cause.
Listen to podcast. Watch Podcast Deluxe.
Here's the thing: perhaps the most exciting thing that's happened in the last week, besides buying the Hermes mules,
Being on the show.
is finally having our own dedicated YouTube channel, which we have been living
Right.
in the New York Times ecosystem, and now we have a
Do you get to
dedicated channel
fight for that?
It's not. It wasn't a fight so much as just like a logistical. It
was a war.
It's just it's like paperwork and yada yada. And
Told Stella, if you don't get a YouTube channel, you're going to kill yourself.
Lawrence ghost wrote that email for me.
Yeah, super unhinged, all caps.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Really
John.
effective. So youtube.com/popcast.
Yeah, follow,
that's
like,
me
and
and Joe.
subscribe.
And also all the audio episodes, nytimes.com/popcast. I'm not going to do like the Hot Ones thing where I'm like, please watch my movie. Like,
Yeah, bitch,
God
because
bless.
you don't have a movie.
That's true.
Also, you don't have the palate for hot ones.
I don't. My
Wing
Hot
one
Ones
dead.
Yeah.
Literally, my Hot
like
Ones
DJ
episode,
Khaled?
the Khaled episode.
Oh,
He
absolutely.
tapped out of what, 3?
Which
Maybe.
I think I couldn't even make it to number 3.
Have you ever had a buffalo wing?
Yeah, I dislike
like
them.
Frank?
Yeah, like I dislike them. They're unpleasant.
Dude, I love
Damn.
Buffalo Wings.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I was at
get some wings tonight.
a wedding pre-party last week.
Yeah.
And there were sliders, and I said to my friend, I was with Hua, and I said, he's like, the sliders are really good. And I was like, what's on them?
Pulitzer Prize winner.
Pulitzer Prize winner.
Like
That's-
James.
so
That's
you
a
think,
prof.
frankly, he would have gotten this right. I said, what's on the sliders? And he said, it's just like, like a burger with cheese. And I was like, great. I grab one and I bite it, and I'm like, something's off.
Jalapeno.
Pepper Jack?
Jalapeno. And I said to him, I was like, there's something crisp on this. And he's like, oh yeah, there's jalapeno. And like literally 20 minutes later, like my stomach.
You don't do
like,
salsa?
No.
Pico de Gallo?
Bro, so you go to Popeyes and you get regular?
Mild, yeah. I know.
What sauce in Popeyes?
Honey.
Just honey.
I like
with
honey.
the biscuit or on the chicken?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah.
you see my
you know
you see my Popeyes forces over there?
Wait, where?
I'll show it to you on the way
hidden, yeah.
out.
Oh, no. I'm,
See, and you're fucking missing it because the great bite is hot sauce and honey. And you never...
I will never know.
You'll never know.
Salty.
but if you're interested in Popeyes, here's a collaboration that nobody knows about, or at least I don't know if it's collaboration,
Breaking
but
news.
Avi, Better Gift Shop,
Yeah, shout out Avi, our
Toronto,
boy.
did a DSM thing a few years ago, and there's a Popeyes t-shirt in there. I think it's unofficial.
Sure.
But go find that. I have
Fire.
it buried in my
Shows
Avi.
it's off the
closet
list.
number 4.
All right, John, thank you for coming on to the longest episode of 2023 of the only podcast
Wait, are we-
that matters.
we're done?
Well, we got the afters.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
We're
So
on borrowed
stay
time,
tuned for
though.
that. But in the meantime, Chef, take us out.
Thank you, John.